Do you like Kingdom Hearts videos? Do you like sleeping? Well, I got the perfect remedy for you. I've compiled videos that I made over the past year or so into a 4-hour-long thing to help you guys sleep at night. Hold on, let me wake this guy up so we can work on it.
Buff Riku.
Coming up in this video,
Sora has fucking elephantitis.
also Happy New Year.
Did you ever notice this detail in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep? In the English version of the game, Master Ericus and Master Xehanort are voiced by Mark Hamill and Leonard Nimoy. Mark Hamill obviously being Luke Skywalker from Star Wars, and Leonard Nimoy being Spock from Star Trek, the two biggest sci-fi franchises of all time. And because of that, the debate has raged over the years on which one is better, Star Wars or Star Trek. Tetsuya Nomura apparently specifically requested them to be in the game. And since the two are at odds in the game, it's kind of an emulation of the age-old debate, which one's better, Star Wars or Star Trek. Knowing how the story goes, I guess Trekkies for the win? If you like either one, make sure to like this and tell me down in the comments below which one you prefer. I really wish Square Enix did this. One of the coolest additions to Kingdom Hearts 2 was the ability to dual-wield Keyblades, obviously with Roxas and Drive Forms. Just looking super badass, because 2 Keyblades instead of 1, come on. Well, according to the screenshot right here, the original design for dual wielding was supposed to be completely different than what we got. The screenshot shows what's essentially 2 Keyblades glued together at the hilt, with each blade sticking out on either side, having one massive dual-sided Keyblade. One of the most obvious comparisons is Darth Maul's dual-edged lightsaber from The Phantom Menace. And knowing how many subtle other connections Star Wars has to Kingdom Hearts, I would not be surprised if Nomura and the team were inspired by this when making this design. And it just looks objectively cool. I mean, come on. Having a dual-edged Keyblade, that would have been so badass. I wish they would have included both in there. Every reason Sora resets to level 1 in Kingdom Hearts games. In Chain of Memories, Castle Oblivion stole all the memories and powers from every single party member, replacing them with the card system, removing all skills he had from the past. In Kingdom Hearts 2, since he was asleep for a year and lost all of his memories in Castle Oblivion, all the skills that he gained in Castle Oblivion are gone. In Recoded, that version of Sora is a data version based off of Jiminy's journal, with no memories of the current Sora, so basically a blank slate. In Dream Drop Distance, as part of the Mark of Mastery exam, they had to go to the sleeping realm, meaning none of their current powers can transfer over and they have to start from scratch. In Kingdom Hearts 3, also during the Mark of Mastery exam, Xehanort almost made Sora his vessel, which means that he stripped all the power that he had gained at that point, starting over again. And finally, for Kingdom Hearts 4, Sora slipped in the shower, I guess, I don't know. But also, Yuzora killed him, so, you know, that didn't help. You ever wonder why Mickey Mouse is barely in the original Kingdom Hearts, only showing up as a silhouette at the end of the game? Well, this is why. Disney's Magical Mirror, starring Mickey Mouse, is a point-and-click adventure game made by Capcom, of all people, for the GameCube. You guide Mickey around this mansion trying to solve puzzles to find pieces of this said magical mirror. And that's pretty much it. You could beat it in about 2 hours, not that much to it. I mean, for a basic kids game from the early 2000s just meant to occupy your kid for a few hours, it's not horrible, it's fine. It does its job, it's just really basic, that's all. It's also kind of weird, too. A lot of people said this game creeped them out growing up. Well, since this came out around the same time as Kingdom Hearts 1, and it seems they got the contract before Square to use Mickey Mouse, they were denied the uses except for that one scene, stripping him from the main game and all promotional material for it. Seeing as we're now on Magical Mirror 13, Modern Mickey Fair, I think we all know how that turned out. Did you grow up with this game? Tell me down in the comments. I would like to hear what you have to say. My dude, I got 5 interesting facts about Kingdom Hearts 1. Let's go. In Deep Jungle, as shown in some concept art, Sora was originally supposed to have a different costume, basically the same as Tarzan's, with just the tarp thing on, and yeah, that would have been weird. In fact, that was the case for some of the other worlds too, if you look at some of the art. Kind of along the same lines. As you know, Goofy has a knight's outfit in the beginning of the game. Well, as shown here, Goofy was supposed to have a full set of knight armor. Who knows, he may have worn that for the entire game. That kind of would have been badass, honestly. If you, for some reason, are having a hard time with the first enemies in Divers of the Heart, if you get low on health, the game will just give you potions to restore your health back again. I don't know who would encounter this normally, but as Destiny Islands is getting swallowed up along with Sora, if you look in the background, you can see a piece of wood that kind of looks like a chocobo. Cute. And finally, we've all seen the art of Sora that he was originally intended to be a lion in the game. Well, there are actually some in-game screenshots of what that would have actually looked like, with him having orange pants and black and white hair. And the screenshots look fairly deep in development too, so maybe this was cut right before the official reveal of the game. But it was ultimately changed to match the color of Mickey Mouse. How's that for some facts? Dude. One of Sora from Kingdom Hearts' most staple features is his shoes, being comically oversized, but have you actually seen what those feet look like underneath those shoes? Well, we finally have our answer with this recently unearthed piece of art. As you can see by looking at Sora's feet, in all actuality, Sora has fucking elephantitis. Bro, I got 5 interesting Kingdom Hearts 2 facts. Let's go. In the original English version of the game, inside of Ansem's secret reports, Dylan's name is misspelled and Alias is missing an A in his name. Braig's name is mistranslated as Blague or Black.
Stupid Black.
It was fixed for the remixes though. This was the original concept for dual wielding in the game. Instead of having 2 separate keyblades, they'd be glued together at the hilt. Likely inspired by Star Wars, which is what Kingdom Hearts does a lot. In the themed command menus in the game, there are often some hidden Mickeys in there if you look hard enough. This is the original concept art for Twilight Town. As you can see, it's much different from what we got in the final game, with it having much more of a forest-like theme and maybe even suspended in the air, but you can still see the Twilight theme in the background there. Alongside that as well, we have the original version of Roxas, having a much smaller jacket compared to his final version, being close to Sora's design actually. I'm assuming they changed it to make it less obvious that he's just nobody at first, and I much prefer the version that we ended up getting. Bonus fact, this game is the GOAT.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
This is one of my favorite details about Kingdom Hearts ever. The logos for Kingdom Hearts games are some of the best in gaming, period, with such attention to detail given to each one to kind of reflect the mood and theme of each game. Plus, that font is just sick as fuck. But have you noticed this detail before? If you look across the logos and look at the K and the S in Kingdom Hearts, you start to notice that the curves in each of the letters are either really short or straight, or they're really long. And if you pay attention to which ones have the short and long versions of the logo, notice the games with the shorter version are the ones where Sora is the main protagonist, and the ones with the longer version are where he's not. Like all the numbered titles, as well as Chain of Memories and Recoded, have a short version, and other games like Union Cross, Birth by Sleep, Days have a long version. I couldn't really find any deeper meaning to it. I think it's just a cool little design quirk that Nomura put in there. With Kingdom Hearts 4 indicating a logo change for the series, maybe they'll find another way to pull that in there. Do you think that there's a deeper meaning to this? I'd like to hear what you have to say. That time when people thought Kairi wasn't Kairi. Looking at the secret ending of the original Kingdom Hearts game, Another Side, Another Story, at the very end, there is a redhead girl on a beach looking at shooting stars in the distance. And in the Kingdom Hearts 2 reveal trailer, a girl with red hair is walking down a path, but she's in a schoolgirl outfit instead. To us nowadays, it's obvious that that's an older Kairi than Kingdom Hearts 2. There's actually a lot of people back in the day that didn't think that was the case. Due to not showing her face, having a very different design from Kairi in the first game, and some confusion from Ansem's reports, people started labeling this girl as RHG, or red-haired girl. You can look back at forum posts from as far back as 2003, 20 years ago, talking about this, speculating on who it could have actually been. I saw some saying that it could have been Tifa because her hair kind of looked black, and a whole host of other Final Fantasy characters or some original characters as well. Speculation was rampant, but of course now we know that it's obviously Kairi. You think Kingdom Hearts theories are crazy now? Trust me, they've always been. But for real though, I would love to see a full version of that design that they had in that ending right there. I think it looks so cool. Guys, I missed something. A video I posted a couple days ago talked about something in Kingdom Hearts that I thought was really cool. Basically, logos for Kingdom Hearts have a short version of the K and the S in their logo, for Sora being the main protagonist in the game, and long versions when he's not. But there is even more to it than that, it turns out. If you look at certain games like Dream Drop Distance and Recoded and even the HD remixes, you notice that the K and the S in the logos are not exactly straight or short, but they're like halfway in between, like halfway reaching the heart. This is to signify that yes, Sora is playable, but you play as more people or he's not the main protagonist. Like in Dream Drop Distance, you play as both Sora and Riku, and in Recoded, you do play as Sora, but not the real Sora. It's even there for the Kingdom Hearts 2 logo, because obviously you play as Roxas during the first part. Thanks for pointing it out in the comments. I did kind of notice this before posting the original one, but I wasn't 100% sure. Didn't want to give you guys bad info. Made some mistakes in the past, and I want to improve on that. But thanks for letting me know in the comments anyways. Really appreciate them. I'll be better next time, I swear. Kingdom Hearts draws a lot of inspiration from Star Wars. Here are 5 big examples. Xemnas' lightsaber hands in the final boss of Kingdom Hearts 2 are pretty on the nose. Mark Hamill, the person who played Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy, is Master Ericus in the English version of the games, specifically requested by Nomura, by the way. The original version of dual wielding in Kingdom Hearts 2 is very reminiscent of Darth Maul's dual-edged lightsaber. That marks the 3rd time I've talked about that. Some shared story elements like a light and dark side, a specific weapon only certain people can wield, killing of a master, a force that connects all living beings, just to name a few, and traveling between different worlds in a spaceship, usually with one biome only. Bonus reason, they're all owned by Disney. But for real, I would love to have this inspiration come full circle and have them put Star Wars in Kingdom Hearts 4. That would actually done. Bruh, I got 5 interesting Kingdom Hearts 3 facts.
Let's go!
Though just a concept, the first gameplay trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 indicates that there might have been live moving models for the character icons in the game. Nomura said that he deliberately made the requirements for Kingdom Hearts 3's secret ending much easier than previous games, so more people could unlock it and understand more of the story. If you just want to be an asshole in the game, you can walk right into the Heartless and they'll stumble and fumble around. You can bully them around in the game, basically. Shout out to Regular Pat for that one. If you look closely at the Grand Chef Keyblade, artwork on the wine bottles is actually from a canceled Costco and Disney promotion to sell Ratatouille-themed wine in their stores, but people thought it would promote underage drinking, so they canceled it. In the game, Demix famously says,
Demix time.
This is thought to be a reference to an online series that was called Demix Time, where a person cosplayed as Demix and just had some fun. Also, I think this game is good, flawed but good. Okay, bye-bye. Should Kingdom Hearts get its own show? This is something that's always interested me ever since I saw the original art for the canceled 2002 show and the posting of the full pilot back last year. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Very cool adaptation of the Kingdom Hearts story to a TV show. But now that we're 20 years out, there's a lot more things going on with Kingdom Hearts now. Could they even adapt it to a TV show, and would it be good? Dude, in my opinion, yeah, I think it would. Should it be a straight, full adaptation of everything in Kingdom Hearts? No, I don't think that would work for a kid's show. But if they stuck to the concept that they had for the original version, just going to a new world each week, experiencing the story of those movies, and having the Heartless and the Keyblades and stuff like that, if they kept those core values in there while not making it too complicated, I think it would be a really good kid show. Or they could go down a preteen or even an adult route if they want to go deeper into the Kingdom Hearts lore, explore some of those more mature themes, and do a lot more plot lines like that. If they did a show like that in an anime style, dude. There's rumors about something going on, but I've not seen them come to fruition, so who knows. Here's an interesting canceled Kingdom Hearts game. Before we had big mobile games like Unchained Key, Union Cross, Dark Road, we had Kingdom Hearts Fragmented Keys. This was a mobile game under development by Wide Load Games, a subsidiary of Disney, back in around 2013, early 2014. Described as a mobile free-to-play action RPG, the game was to take place in quote-unquote battle arenas based on many different worlds. There is no gameplay footage, and we don't know what the story would have been like, but there are some screenshots and lots of concept art from this game. Here's the title screen right here, and another kind of in-game screenshot kind of looking thing. There's lots of world concept art though, like for Game Central Station, also connected to a new world called Newtown. Worlds for Frozen and Tangled before they were in Kingdom Hearts 3 and Wreck-It Ralph, which haven't been in the console games yet, and some for a Star Wars world. That's all we really know about this game. Don't know why it got canceled. Square was never involved with this project, and all the designs are not Nomura's either. It's from a separate company. Or they just decided to create a port of Key to mobile, and they didn't want to have two different mobile games competing. I don't know. That's just my theory. My guy. I got 5 interesting facts about the Kingdom Hearts series. Let's go. Square Enix actually lost the original source code to Kingdom Hearts 1. So when it came time for 1.5, a lot of the game had to be recreated from square one. Also in Kingdom Hearts 1, the famous Final Fantasy summon Bahamut was originally going to be a summon in Kingdom Hearts 1 as well. There's some code for it in the game, and you can activate it by Game Shark, but it just crashes the game. Too much for that little console. In the early versions of Birth by Sleep, Aqua's design was pretty much the same except for one thing. Her back was a lot more exposed. And as we all know, backs are way too sexy for the general public to handle, so they covered it up. There were plans for Utada to create songs for the non-numbered titles as well, but for some reason, those plans fell through. Why, dude? Very early in development, Square Enix wanted Mickey Mouse to be the main protagonist of Kingdom Hearts, but Disney had a different idea. They wanted Donald to be the main protagonist. But as a compromise, they created Sora, and the rest is history. Pull out some of those facts into function, and I guarantee people will be coming from all over. Not like that, though. Let's talk about this cool little mystery in Kingdom Hearts 2. In Memory Skyscraper right after the Roxas boss fight, if you go to the right of the skyscraper instead of the left to continue the game, you can find a crashed shipping truck. No fancy design, no crazy thing, no, a modern shipping truck. You can even interact with it too, and just says the path is completely blocked. I mean, duh. Of course, the world that never was is based on like a modern city. It has skyscrapers, buildings, AC units. But this does kind of seem like out of place. There's no other cars around. Fun fact, Xemnas has multiple DUIs. But seriously, there's a lot of mystery surrounding this as to how it got there, what's the story behind it, why is it here among all this other crazy stuff. But here's the crazy part. Some people are theorizing that this might be a hint towards Kingdom Hearts 4. In 2006, HMK has a good theory on this, but there's some speculation that apparently Xehanort as Xemnas might have based the world that never was off of Quadratum. We are truly in Nomura's world. We just don't understand it. Don't even get me started on the blocked off rooms. What happened to Sora's mom? Seriously, what happened? She was there for a second and then she... As you may remember in the original Kingdom Hearts, in the opening section of the game, during the cutscene where things start going wrong on the island, as Sora leaves, a voice, presumably Sora's mom, calls for him for dinner because it's ready. And it never gets referenced again. Never. Who was she? What was she doing? What was he about to eat? Does he have a dad as well? Did she die? Nomura usually does things with a purpose in mind. So what was the purpose behind this to have it one thing here and then never reference it again for 20 years? Really, it drives me insane. There's like a certain section of my mind that just thinks like, what was Sora's mom? We have Pixar moms, but damn it, we need Square moms. But I have a theory. I've connected the dots and I've come up with a theory. It's been staring us in the face this whole time. Sora's mom is... Yo, mom. No, but make the Master of Masters Sora's mom. Make that acronym work in some way, and that would just be so perfect. What that implies, I don't know, but it would be funny. Listen up. I got 5 interesting Kingdom Hearts facts.
Let's go. Marluxia was originally intended to be a female character, but due to there already being a female trader in Chain of Memories, they decided to make him a male. Marluxia kind of be fluid though, to be honest. There is concept art for this Wild Wild West themed world for Kingdom Hearts 1, but no one really knows what it's supposed to be. Maybe original one, Toy Story, maybe? Not really a fact, but some people forget that Sora does not collect key blades, he collects key chains, and the key chains changes the appearance of the key blade itself. Same weapon, just different keychains. Riku from Final Fantasy X with 2Ks was originally going to take the place of Yuffie, but due to them already having a character named Riku, they decided to switch it up. If you look at Sora's room and Roxas's room side by side, you can tell that there's a lot of similarities between the two. Not exactly the same, but very similar in a lot of ways. Big facts keep on turning, Kingdom Hearts keep on burling, rolling. I own this really cool piece of Kingdom Hearts history, and I want to share it with you guys because I think it's cool. For the few who don't know, backstory. Back in 2002, there was an attempt to make a Kingdom Hearts TV show. It was made by this guy named Seth Kersley, same guy who made 8 Crazy Nights, by the way. They pitched it, and it just wasn't picked up for various reasons. Pilot was lost for the longest time, but Seth decided to upload it onto the internet if you want to go check it out. Well, about 5 years ago or so, Seth decided to start selling some of the panels from this animatic pilot. I was one of those people who reached out to buy one. And lo and behold, here it is. It's about like 3/4 of the way through the pilot. He says right there, the solution to all of our problems. Because in the pilot, they were going to go rub Genie's lamp, and they said it's the solution to all of our problems. This is my prized possession. I keep it in a frame for obvious reasons. And Seth is just a really cool guy as well. It was really nice talking to him during this whole process, so shout out to him. Also, this thing almost bankrupted me. That's a story for another time. Tell me down in the comments if you also own one of these. I'd like to know what other people have one. This Kingdom Hearts world will
Never come back.
Deep Jungle was one of the original Disney worlds in the first Kingdom Hearts game. Obviously based off the then recently released Tarzan movie. And it's a world, you know, it's just there. Probably my least favorite in the original Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 1 was the only game to feature that world. Not Chain of Memories, not Recoded, not even Melody of Memory added in there. So what's up? Well, sit down, kids. It's copyright time. So for the majority of Disney movies, if they didn't create it themselves, they're based off classic fairy tales, which makes them fall under the public domain. Tarzan's a little bit different. Tarzan is a more recent character, relatively, and so the estate of Edgar Rice Burroughs, the author of Tarzan, owned the copyrights of characters and stories and all that stuff. While in recent years, some Tarzan stories have entered the public domain, the trademark for the name itself is still owned by that company, and they like to protect it, let me tell you what. So Disney did not renew the license. Thus, no more Deep Jungle for you. Let's take a look at this removed Kingdom Hearts world. Even though I played Birth by Sleep much later because I didn't own a PSP, I still have a lot of nostalgia for the worlds in this game. I like how they use a lot of classic movies like Peter Pan and Cinderella because of this game taking place in the past, kind of fitting with that theme. But there was another classic Disney movie that was planned to be in the game but ultimately didn't make it in, but it was very close to. In the files for the Japanese version of the game, you can find an unused Jungle Book world. As you can see from this footage from Key to Truth, there was a good amount of work put into this world. There's only about 4 sections to it, but it has a lot of its geometry laid out, and the throne room is actually fully modeled and almost complete. It's clear that this world got very far into development, and it seems like they were heavily considering it for the game, but they decided to cut it out. I could not find an answer as to why it was cut, but my best guess is that it was too similar to Neverland with the whole tree forest theme going on there. Or maybe there's just too many worlds and they decided to cut it down. I think it would have been a cool world. You know, I liked the Jungle Book growing up, so I think having that in there would be very nostalgic, very fun. I think it's an interesting place to dive into if they want to use it in a future world, so that would be really cool to see. I may make a full video on unused Kingdom Hearts worlds.
Who fucking knows?
Is the Kingdom Hearts story actually that complicated? We all know the meme of Kingdom Hearts being overly complicated. We've all seen the charts of the timeline, people saying, oh, but there's like 13 different versions of the same guy. Which is true. That is true. But at the end of the day, is there any truth to that statement? Kind of. I held a poll on this on my community page to see what people thought about it, and I have no feelings one way or the other. The general consensus in the comments are saying like, yeah, if you explain it to somebody, it's complicated. But if you actually play it in order and actually experience it yourself, it's not that complicated. You may have to do refreshers every once in a while, but that's kind of all serious, ain't it? And I agree with what they're saying there for the most part. But here's my take on it. Kingdom Hearts is campy. Obviously. For it to be a Disney game, it kind of has to be. For some people, it might be a turnoff, but if you just go in, embrace the craziness, just go head first into it, you have a fun time, you get sucked in, and it's a really enjoyable experience. Embrace the chaos, and you'll be fine. This is one of the strangest Kingdom Hearts facts I know. Look at the box art for this game right here. Peter Pan on the PlayStation 2 by Garbageworks King's Phoenix Games. Do you notice anything about it aside from the fact that it's absolute tripe? If you don't know much about Phoenix Games, watch some categories videos, but basically, they put out garbage game after garbage game, and calling them a game is super generous because it's basically just a movie with some basic mini games added in. And the movies themselves, oh god.
Let's sit down on Big Ben's hand.
Again, notice anything about that cover art that's strange? Look at the background there. Let me just remove the there it is. Yep, they just straight up used official art for Destiny Islands from Kingdom Hearts in the background of this cover. I don't know exactly how this happened, but my best guess is that they just looked up Fantasy Island on Google Images, and this was one of the first things that popped up, and they just went with it because, fuck it, we're Phoenix Games. Who gives a shit? Of course, this was done without Disney's approval because... just look at it. But Phoenix Games don't care, and I don't think Disney even noticed. But it's just so strange that Phoenix Games and Kingdom Hearts, of all things, are related in some way. That's just so strange to me. Kingdom Hearts game titles explain. Let's go. Kingdom Hearts is the heart of all worlds and is something that powerful people seek. Chain of Memories refers to the connections that Sora has with other people and the memories associated with them being broken during this game. 358 days over 2, that's how you say it, referring to how many days the story covers and it coming from the perspective of two people. Coded because it's on a computer in data worlds. Yeah. Birth by Sleep because pretty much every character in that game ends up in a horrible place and needing to be rescued from that, and Sora rescuing them from that, and some of the wise calls it the Birth by Sleep. Dream Drop Distance, aside from being a pun, being in the sleeping worlds or dreaming worlds. Drop referring to the drop mechanic, and distance because Sora and Riku are separated throughout the story. Kingdom Hearts Key, as in Keyblade, the most powerful weapon in the series. Union Cross referring to the unions in the game and the powerful attack that Sora uses at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. Dark Road being the dark path Xehanort follows throughout the game to make him the villain. Melody and Memory because it's a music game, and we're going back to the series history. And Missing Link meaning the link between the past and the future of the series. Oh yeah, can't forget 0.2 Birth by Sleep for fragmentary passage in Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Kingdom Hearts character names explained. Let's go. In Japanese, Sora means sky, Riku means land or shore, and Kairi means sea. In Latin, Aqua means water, Terra means earth, and Ventus means wind. Xehanort without the X is an anagram for a throne, and Ericus is an anagram for Square, the makers of the game. All Organization 13 members are nobodies and vessels of Xehanort, so their names are an anagram of the original with an X added in, like Xigbar being Braig, and Sayax being Isa. In turn, Roxas being Sora's nobody is an anagram of Sora with an X. Axel's original name Lee, meaning bringer of good news. Namine in Japanese means sound of ocean waves, and Vanitas means empty or emptiness. The four colors plus Lushu in Latin reflect the 7 deadly sins: Ava, greed, envy, Gula, gluttony, Acid, sloth, Ira, wrath, and Lushu, lust. We don't know the Master of Masters name yet, but there's some speculation that it's super, as in pride. Strelitzia is a type of flower that means birds of paradise, as well as Lorium. Ephemer meaning lasts a very short amount of time, and Ginsid is Disney backwards. Oh my! Organization 13 members' names explain. Let's go. Xemnas is an anagram for Ansem, and his title is the Superior of the In-Between. But it's not the real Ansem, though. It's just Terranort pretending to be Ansem, so. Xigbar is the Free Shooter, and his somebody name is Braig. Zaldin, the Whirlwind Lancer, is Dylan. Vexen, the Chilly Academic, is Evan. Luxius, the Silent Hero, is Alius. Zexion, the Cloaked Schemer, is Ienzo. Sayax, the Luna Diviner, is Isa. Axel, the Flurry of Dancing Flames, God, that's such a badass title, is Lee. Marluxia, the Graceful Assassin, is Lorium. Larxene, the Savage Nymph, is Elrena. Roxas, the Key of Destiny, is Sora, since he's Sora's nobody. Gion is an anagram for number I, which is a representation of an imaginary number. We don't know the somebody names of Demyx or Luxord, but speculation is that Luxord, the Gambler of Fate, is Ludor, which means to play, so there is a lot for Demyx. The Melodious Nocturne, but the one I like a lot is Medi, coming from Medley, his whole music thing going on. Or maybe it's just Demyx, and he's too lazy to change it. It could be that too. Here's 5 more Kingdom Hearts misconceptions that need to be cleared up. Disney is not some tyrannical overlord over the Kingdom Hearts series. They're actually pretty lax with what they do over there at Square Enix. They do own the series, yes, but they have a lot of respect for Nomura and the team. Doesn't mean Disney's great, but in this case, it's okay. Kingdom Hearts 3 was not in development for 13 years. There was a 13-year gap between 2 and 3, but actual Kingdom Hearts 3 development started around 2012, so around 6.5 years. Tetsuya Nomura was not drunk when he came up with the idea for Kingdom Hearts Coded. It was a mistranslation of an interview. Hell, I even repeated this one. That's how widespread this one is. And finally, the reason that Sora can dual wield is not because of Roxas, but actually because of Ventus. At least the last time they commented on it, that was the case. Who knows? They could have retconned it at this point. Thanks for all the suggestions on the last one. That one did really well, so thank you guys so much for that. Who knows, maybe part 3, but maybe running dry at this point. How to win the Riku race on Destiny Islands every time in Kingdom Hearts 1. This is my personal method and the one I've learned from other people. So the first thing you want to do is not follow Riku to the bridge. You want to go straight down instead to the water. You don't swim, so you don't lose any momentum. And he even knocks down that thing on the bridge for you for later. Go straight up the stairs and just keep going straight. And once you get to the top of this hill right here, don't jump on that first platform. Jump straight to this second platform. Touch the star. Don't be like Riku and jump on the trees. Just go straight down. Jumping only right here, and that's super easy. You can either take the water or the bridge here. You're so far ahead of Riku, it really doesn't matter. If you want to rub it in his face, take the bridge. And bada bing, bada boom, you just beat Riku super fucking easy. There it is. That's all you need to do. Works every time. And each time you win, you get a pretty stone, which is worth 30 money each, so you can be a baller by the end of this. It isn't the fastest method, but it works. Does Kingdom Hearts need Final Fantasy anymore? This is a debate that's raged in the community for quite a few years now. Ever since the absence of them in the base Kingdom Hearts 3 and kind of shoving them at the end of Remake. They've been there since the first game in the series, and they've been in multiple games since. Kingdom Hearts originally being sold as Final Fantasy with Disney. People grown attached to them, people love them. But 22 years removed from the first game, Kingdom Hearts is its own separate thing now, its own separate entity with its characters, story, its own little mess over there. So the Final Fantasy characters have been removed slightly over the years. Tetsuya Nomura, the director of the series, has stated as much in interviews that they've been reducing them. But I still see a lot of people wanting them in there, so does Kingdom Hearts need them anymore? No, it doesn't need them. But should they be in there? Sure. I don't see why not. It's nice to have them in there. I'm not saying that they should be removed completely. It's just that they don't need them. Need and want are separate things. They're going for a more realistic direction with Kingdom Hearts 4, inspired by Versus 13 specifically, so we could be seeing some more Final Fantasy elements come up. But like Nomura said, there's a lot of original characters at this point they need to focus on. And it's a Disney franchise, so some people hate to acknowledge that, but it's true. It's a Disney franchise, not Final Fantasy. Nothing you can do to change that. Is Kingdom Hearts cursed? Well, a part of it might be. Dive into the Heart is one of the more iconic sections of Kingdom Hearts games. It serves as a tutorial for many games in the series, and has many iconic elements like the stained glass windows, the disembodied voice, and the music. The song that you hear in each Dive into the Heart is called Destati. Written by Yoko Shimomura, it features a dark and foreboding atmosphere, matched with a prominent choir, with lyrics in Italian relating to the story of the game, Destati meaning awaken. The chorus isn't just used there either, it's used in other songs too. And according to Shimomura, this song is cursed. In the original Kingdom Hearts Ultimania, Yoko Shimomura states, that chorus is a phrase that expresses the dark side of Kingdom Hearts, and it was used in several songs. However, once we tried loading the chorus data in when we were creating the songs, something bad would happen. The worst thing that happened was when the electricity to the building was cut off. That was just one example, but I'm sure there's other examples that they didn't mention here. Maybe someone tripped, or there was a big bug in the game, or just general bad luck. So the next time you play Kingdom Hearts, just know you're inviting a curse. 5 interesting facts about Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Disney originally wanted Donald to be the main protagonist of Kingdom Hearts, but Square wanted Mickey. So as a compromise, they created Sora. Does that mean he's the love child of Donald and Mickey? Not only was Sora originally supposed to be a lion in the game, but he also had different hair colors as well, having black hair with silver on top, and different colored outfits too to match the lion theme. Though the series has lasted for 20 years, throughout the entire series up to Remake, Sora's only aged about 2 years. If he were to age along with the series, he'd be 36 at this point. On the start of the second day of Destiny Islands, Sora is seen jumping onto the dock, but if you look at it closely, he starts in mid-air and then jumps. My man must have got arrow early in the game, I guess. In Huey, Dewey, and Louie's item shop in Traverse Town, there's a scale in there, and Sora can get on it, and it weighs him, actually. Sora weighs that. Whatever that is. A secret in Kingdom Hearts 1 has been found. Kingdom Hearts 1 is the game that keeps on giving, isn't it? It holds up over all these years, it's still so fun to play, and there's still things being found to this day. The discovery that happened just recently exemplifies that fact. Huge shout out to KH Guides who initially posted about this. The Trickmaster boss in Wonderland has a move where he lights his batons on fire on the stove to throw fireballs at you and just make it a harder attack. What made this boss very annoying back in the day? Well, it has been discovered that if you go to the stove and cast Blizzard on it for about 100 seconds, you can prevent the Trickmaster from lighting up his batons. I love this discovery so much. It really shows how much detail and love they put into the original Kingdom Hearts. There were some Reddit and forum posts talking about something like this, but I don't think it was ever confirmed. But now to have it confirmed and have another little element to Kingdom Hearts, that's so cool. Again, huge shout out to KH Guides for this discovery. You've saved my skin multiple times playing Kingdom Hearts, trust me. Here's 5 Kingdom Hearts facts that you might not have known before. According to a Square staff member, the original plan for the meeting of Sora, Donald, and Goofy was to be a musical number. Nomura also wanted parts of 15 to be a musical as well, so I guess I'm not surprised by this. EGM, for their annual April Fool's joke in 2007, announced a game called Mushroom Kingdom Hearts, joining the worlds of Mario and Disney at last. It's me, copyrightel! In Kingdom Hearts 3, if you press R3 during some of the attraction flows, it actually goes in the first person, so kind of like you're riding the ride. It's there to give you that authentic Teacups experience. The voice actress that plays Alice in Kingdom Hearts 1 is the original Alice voice actor from the original movie 50 years prior. She was 64 when she reprised her role, and she's also Kyra's grandmother. Hey! One of the credits in Kingdom Hearts 1 is Foley by Warner Brothers Hollywood, but in 1.5 and every other re-release, it's misspelled, saying instead Warner Brothers Hollywood. And that just makes me go, oogly goo! Sorry. Anyways, explaining Kingdom Hearts in Fortnite terms from a guy who doesn't play Fortnite. So Sora, Riku, and Kairi are chilling on the spawn island. They've been a squad for a long time. Scored a lot of victory royales and shit. But then the storm comes in and whacks all of Sora's squad. But he's able to pick up Riku's goated Tommy gun because he's the best Alpha Chad. He responds in restored wields and finds a new squad with Donald and Goofy. And they get on their own battle bus and start going to other parts of the map. Taking out ops left and right, chilling on Mount Olympus, sipping big pots in classy courts. Then this handsome TTV dude starts showing up saying that I'm the most cracked at the game. and that he can stream snipe you at any time.
The most alpha of the chat. They drop on over to Tilted to find out that Riku has joined Ansem squad, and they believe they're going to get the victory royale this time. Sora chokes, and Riku takes away his Tommy gun because he's a little beta cuck, leaving it with just a little pistol. But Sora proves he's the ultimate Sigma. Sora downs himself to save his old team, takes on Ansem on a 3v1. He's a little buffed, but he can take him down with a headshot. Sora, Donald, and Goofy go full send, and they get the dub. He reports Ansem to Epic for the stream sniper that he is. Can you tell I don't play Fortnite? Who owns Kingdom Hearts anyways? It's a question I see a lot because a lot of people don't know. With Square and Disney both being involved, it can get a little confusing. But I'm here to set the record straight. Bucko. Look at the back of any Kingdom Hearts game box and you will see the term Copyright Disney, developed by Square Enix. Copyright-wise, Disney owns 100% of the Kingdom Hearts series. That means the characters, story, worlds, all that stuff belongs to them. Excluding the Final Fantasy characters, of course, that's owned by Square. We don't know specifics, but I'm pretty sure the way it works is that Square is either granted the license or Disney even pays them to develop and create the Kingdom Hearts IP, but in turn, they also get to use original Disney IP as well. Square probably has the exclusive license to develop the Kingdom Hearts series with Disney, if it's not Disney doing it themselves, but in turn, Disney owns all of it. That also means Disney technically has the final say on what happens with Kingdom Hearts. They could say no to something if they wanted to, but they have a lot of respect for Nomura and the team, so they actually let him have the final say on most things. One thing I'm not sure about is how much money Square Enix gets. It might be a 50-50 split, maybe less. They sell a lot of merch to their official website, so they probably get a good chunk of change from it. They've both said they enjoy working with each other, so it must be beneficial for both parties. Does anyone remember this Kingdom Hearts game? Because it seems like a lot of people have forgot. Kingdom Hearts VR Experience was a title that was released back in 2019 exclusively for the original PSVR, and as the title suggests, it's more of an experience than a game. It's basically a collection of major cutscenes and events that have happened throughout the entire series from 1, 2, and 3 in the other games, but being in VR, it puts you in first-person mode as Sora, experiencing the cutscenes for yourself. It's self-insert fanfiction as a game, basically. Axel's right there in your face. That makes it worth it right there. Now, there is some gameplay in this. There's an Olympus Coliseum section where you can fight some Heartless with a Keyblade, but that's pretty much it. It dropped the same day as Kingdom Hearts 3 in Japan, got a big update that June, and then everyone kind of forgot about it. Which makes sense, one, because it's not a game, it's just an experience. Two, it's on PSVR, so it's kind of a niche platform. And it came out around Kingdom Hearts 3, so it got overshadowed. Asked my community what they thought about this, and half of them didn't even remember it. But the people who did play it said that they enjoyed the experience overall for what it was. I'll take their word for it, I guess. But what if I told you there's more to the story than just that? Stay tuned. A lost Kingdom Hearts game has now been discovered. The game is tentatively titled Kingdom Hearts VR and was meant to be a pitch to Square Enix for an official Kingdom Hearts VR game. It was developed around 2019, around the release of Kingdom Hearts 3, but just never ended up happening. That is until I got my hands on it. I made a video a few months ago exploring some Kingdom Hearts worlds in Steam VR, since I had gotten a MetaQuest 2 for Christmas and I wanted to play around with it. And I didn't have a PSVR either, so I didn't get to have the VR experience. But right after I posted that video, I got a message from a developer who wishes to remain anonymous. They told me that while they were working at a VR gaming company, they got a chance to pitch some games officially to Square Enix revolving some of their IP, one of them being Kingdom Hearts VR. Since they enjoyed my video and didn't want this game to be forgotten, they sent me a copy to show off to you. Check my full video in the description to see what could have been. Why is being a Kingdom Hearts fan so frustrating? With a ever-growing complex lore going on and sometimes years between updates when some other fan bases get news like on the weekly, it can be a little frustrating. Like it's an event when there's a port announced. Why is this the case though? Let me explain. Kingdom Hearts as a series operates a little bit differently than a lot of other series nowadays. Tetsuya Nomura is a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. He only wants to show something when they are absolutely 100% sure they're ready to. Whenever news does come out, it's always great and amazing, but there is space in between it. Nomura is also a very busy person. He's very heavily involved in Final Fantasy, doing designs for that and other little projects as well. Kingdom Hearts is also not a multiplayer game, so there's not constant updates adding new content to it and keeping it in the news cycle. And finally, the way social media has shaped our expectations on content and delivery, we want constant dopamine rushes of news and content, but Kingdom Hearts just doesn't follow that. Kingdom Hearts fans are the most patient in the world. Even though it's years between updates, we're always still there. Did you know about these changes between versions of Kingdom Hearts? In the English version of Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora is repeatedly referred to as the Keyblade Master, in kind of a singular context, which doesn't really make sense later on when he's not the Keyblade Master and there's other people who have Keyblades. Led to a lot of confusion. This is a mistranslation though. In the original Japanese, he's more of the hero of the Keyblade, and it seems to imply there's more than just him. My childhood was a lie. In Kingdom Hearts 2, when Daisy reunites with Donald and scolds him, she actually spanks him in the Japanese version. Kinky. In the battle between Sora and Roxas, Roxas states, "Tell me why he picked you." Not really clarifying who he is. But in the original version, it's more of why did it choose you, referring to the Keyblade and not giving it a gendered pronoun. Also in Japan, a lot of times they start counting things at 0 rather than 1. That's why the Ansem secret reports refer to entry 0, or Merlin refers to the 0 district, even though that doesn't really exist in the English version. If you want to go see more about this, check out this great video by the Violet Howler. It was a great help for research on this. This new Kingdom Hearts news is kind of crazy. Tetsuya Nomura recently did an interview with Jump where he shared some details about Kingdom Hearts 4 and the future of the series. Firstly, he describes Kingdom Hearts 4 and Missing Link as resets in terms of story, where we're getting into a new storyline, a new plot, a whole new direction for the series. He doesn't use the word reboot, but it's kind of implied there. There's also a lot of new writers coming in as well, bringing some new perspectives and new ideas. He says that Quadratum, or at least the idea of Quadratum, was thought of back in the development of Kingdom Hearts 1. Over 20 years, they've been planning this direction. He says it's based off Tokyo, but it's not exactly one-to-one with Tokyo, kind of saying it's a fantasy based on reality, which is kind of how they marketed Final Fantasy 15 and Versus 13, which has heavy connections with Kingdom Hearts 4. He admits that even he gets lost on the story sometimes, so he watches YouTube videos on Kingdom Hearts to refresh himself. Oh my god. And finally, he says that they're writing Kingdom Hearts 4 and Missing Link with sequels in mind and an ending to the series in mind. And also, he's retiring soon. Process that news. Will Sora ever come to Fortnite? I'm starting to see a lot more requests and talk about Sora possibly getting a skin in Fortnite, not just from Kingdom Hearts fans. And that makes sense. He's a popular character. He's from a popular franchise. And the hype around Sora getting into Smash was like monumental. And after that deal between Disney and Epic was announced earlier this year, a lot more people were thinking it's more likely now. But do I think Sora will ever get a skin in Fortnite? Maybe. Do you think that deal between Disney and Epic to have IP and experiences go into Fortnite makes it a lot more likely now since they have a direct collaboration going on, and we're seeing the fruits of that with the Dr. Doom map and the Incredible skins? There was a leak from a reliable source saying that he was going to get announced soon, but that didn't happen, so who knows. But there's Tetsuya Nomura, the creator of Kingdom Hearts, who might block it. He's in control of how Sora is represented in other kinds of media and stuff, and he might say no to Sora getting in Fortnite. Sora almost didn't get into Smash because he was afraid of the lore implications. I'm certain they're considering it at least, and I think they should do it. And maybe not just Sora, do a full-on collab. I think it would be a great addition, and I think it would be a great thing for the series overall. Also get some Final Fantasy characters in there. That'd be cool too. Kingdom Hearts Time Travel Explained. Sit down for this one. In the Kingdom Hearts universe, there are 3 ways you are able to time travel. One is if you abandon your bodily form and become just a heart, along with a nobody and a heartless. One way of doing this is extracting your heart with a keyblade, like Xehanort, Terranort, and Sora were able to do. Though in this form, you still need some assistance to actually time travel. Second is to have time travel abilities yourself, like young Master Xehanort does. It was shown in Dream Drop Distance that the rogue figure, aka Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, or Xehanort's Heartless, was able to teach him this ability. Kind of a bootstrap paradox, but anyways. Or 3, have time travel magic like Yensid and Merlin do, which is how Sora and Riku traveled back in Dream Drop Distance. Rules regarding time travel state that you can only travel to a time where a version of yourself is present. You also cannot change events of that time. Everything is predestined to happen. And once you go back to your own time, all of your memories of the events will be erased, but it will be etched onto your heart. That is the super brief explanation on how that works. But if you want to see me make a longer video on that, let me know. So, on the last video that I did on time travel in Kingdom Hearts, there was something I didn't mention, but didn't even have time to touch upon. And that is Timeless River. Timeless River is weird. It is a world in Kingdom Hearts 2 that takes place in the past of Disney Castle, and it kind of skirts the rules of time travel because apparently Sora, Donald, and Goofy can go back there without having their bodies present, and events in the past change events in the future, which you can't apparently do. As far as I know, there is no official explanation as to what's going on here, but there's kind of like 3 main theories and speculations that I found. One is that Merlin used his magic to be able to have all this happen. Since a version of Pete, therefore his heart, is present during the time of Timeless River, he's able to go back there. He wished for a time that he was outside Maleficent's grasp, and so his heart was able to wish that happening, I guess. And Merlin, who actually specializes in time travel magic, was able to summon a door to allow Sora, Donald, and Goofy to go back because of magic. Basically. The fact that Merlin used magic allows him to skirt the rules just a little bit. If you ask Nomura his explanation, that'd probably be it. Secondly, there's this theory from the Violet Howler stating that Timeless River is actually a sleeping world version of Disney Castle. Pete wanting to leave the grasp of Maleficent made him wish for the old days, and that was able to summon this dreaming world. And using the power of waking, or Merlin's magic, they were able to go inside of the heart of the world and do it that way. So they weren't traveling through time, they were just entering the heart of the world in its sleeping form. Merlin did describe it as a world, not a time. And number 3 is Shut up, dude. You don't understand Kingdom Hearts. You don't understand Nomura's vision, all right? Just let the man do what he needs. He messes up sometimes, okay? Just leave him alone. Check out this cool thing I found out about Kingdom Hearts 2. If you're lucky, in this case, to activate Sora's anti-form ability in Kingdom Hearts 2, if you go to a ledge and latch yourself on it, you'll see that he's actually hanging on by his foot instead of his hand, hanging upside down. This looks really funny to me. I don't know about you. Just the way he's hanging upside down there. He's just like, I don't give a fuck. In what order should you play Kingdom Hearts? With there being such a large story with so many games bouncing around the timeline a lot, it can be hard to understand where to start. Well, don't worry, I have the answer. There's kind of two ways to look at it. You can either play it in timeline order or release order. Starting at the very beginning of the timeline with viewing across and back cover, watching those movies, following the timeline from there all the way to Kingdom Hearts 3 and Melody of Memory. But I actually highly discourage you from doing it this way. What you should do is play it in the order in which they were released. Starting with Kingdom Hearts 1, then Chain of Memories, going through how they were released, still ending at Kingdom Hearts 3 and Melody of Memory. That is how the story was developed. That is how the world was developed. The characters were developed. Everything makes a natural progression with you doing it that way. Certain plot points, world developments, and character motivations just don't make sense if you do it in the timeline order. Square Enix also recommends that you play it in this way, at least how they have it ordered in the HD collections. Except they say you should play days before Kingdom Hearts 2, which do not do that, please. If you're new to the series, hopefully this helps. How long does it take to beat the entire Kingdom Hearts series? There's 4 different ways you can calculate this, and I'm gonna go over them all. 2 rules for this. I will use the final mix versions of games and their remakes instead of the originals. I will be using howlongtobeat.com, which I know is not the most reliable resource, but it's the only one we have, so this is a very rough calculation. Also, not everything's on there, so keep that in mind. Also, since the mobile games aren't playable, I'm just gonna count the cutscenes as the time. I crunched those numbers, and here's what I got. If you're playing the games casually just for the story, it will take you around 222 hours to complete, or a little over 9 days. Doing some extra side content will take you 311 and a half hours, or just under 13 days. And if you want 100% everything, it will take you 614.25 hours, or 25 and a half days. But there's one more calculation we can have fun with. What if you beat each game in the current world record time? For this calculation, I mostly use 80% or the shortest time available for each version of a game, also including side content. Some games aren't here, so this is a very rough calculation. If you are like God among men, you can beat the entirety of Kingdom Hearts in 20 hours, 45 minutes, and 51 seconds. The Kingdom Hearts fighting game we never got. There's a game called Dissidia Final Fantasy. It's a Final Fantasy fighting game. You control various characters throughout the Final Fantasy series, have them duke it out in a big arena-style fighting game. Haven't played it myself, but it looks interesting. Well, very early in its development, it started out as Dissidia Kingdom Hearts. The original plan was to have a Kingdom Hearts fighting game, with not only the original Kingdom Hearts characters, but some Disney characters as well. You would see Goofy and Riku just beating the crap out of each other. This was early in its development, though, having eventually switched to Final Fantasy. His reasoning was he didn't want the original Disney characters like Mickey, Donald, and Goofy fighting each other. The original Kingdom Hearts characters had nothing to do with it, though. They were fair game. It eventually led to the multiplayer mode that we had in 358 Days Over 2. I still think this is a cool idea, though, because there's a lot more characters than there were in Kingdom Hearts back when this first started, so they could have a bunch of characters on this roster, a cool Kingdom Hearts fighting game. I would be down. There is a mod out there, though, if you're interested. But part of me still wants to see Riku and Goofy just going at it. Kingdom Hearts 1 is a game. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 1 is a game that I think has aged better than a lot of people give it credit for. It has definitely aged in some areas, like with the camera and the platforming, but in terms of gameplay, aesthetics, graphics, and overall tone, I think the game has aged a lot better than some of the games at the time. And the thing that really makes it special to me is all the cool hidden details that they managed to put in there. There's these small details in there that are hard to find unless you're specifically looking for them, but they're in there, and they put them in there just because they wanted to. It really shows how much love and care they put in just this one game. I've been looking into this over the past few weeks, and I wanted to make a video sharing some of the most interesting stuff that I found. Maybe you've heard of this before, maybe you haven't. Either way, I want to share some stuff that I thought was really cool. So here are the hidden details of Kingdom Hearts 1. Also, shout out to Shady Riku and his Easter eggs and hidden details series. It was a great help for this video, and he's an awesome YouTuber as well. Check him out. Let's go, as the kids say. Number 1, the pause menu timer. This one took the most effort to find out, and you'll see why. In the bottom left-hand corner of the pause menu, there is a counter showing how much money you have and a timer showing how much time has elapsed on your save file, reminding you of how much time you've wasted on a Disney game for kids. Cool timer, right? But the timer maxes out at 100 hours, and once it reaches that, it resets back to 0. Not only does it do that, the timer color also changes. It changes from being blue to like a light green. Light green. If you wait another 100 hours on top of that, it will change again to a light purplish color. And if you wait another 100 hours on top of that, it will change again to red. And if you wait another 100 hours on top of that, the timer stops. 99, 59, 59, forever. I didn't know this before, but apparently this was also a detail in other Final Fantasy games before this. I don't know why it stops at 400 hours. Maybe there's some technical thing that's going on there. Or maybe they just thought that no one would play the game for that long, and they're just like, fuck it, no one's gonna see this. But we did, because we don't have lives. You should know better, Square. Number 2. Sora's Shadow. At the beginning of the Neverland level, Sora is held captive on Captain Hook's ship by Riku, who's in control of the Heartless. Riku, demonstrating his new power, takes away Sora's shadow, turning it into a Heartless, when he is then thrown into the brig. What you might not have noticed after that cutscene, though, is that if you look at Sora, he doesn't have a shadow. Donald and Goofy's are still there, but his is gone. Fighting through the level and its Heartless will eventually get you back to that Sora shadow. Beating him restores his shadow. This one kind of seems obvious in hindsight, but I never noticed this before, and I didn't see a lot of people talking about it either. They didn't draw attention to it. They didn't put a big thing saying, hey, Sora doesn't have a shadow here, but just to keep the story consistent, it's there, and yeah, again, that's why I love this game.
Also, since I heard this, you have to hear it too.
Bring the hostage to me cabin, Smee. Hop to it. Hop to it.
I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry.
Number 3, the menu background. Going back to the pause menu again, for the characters walking in the middle of the screen, there is a striped background that is blurring the actual game itself, so you can focus on the things in the menu. This background's just there, just chilling, nothing to really notice about it. Why did I say that so loud? You might think it's just doing a simple blur of the background and that's all it's doing. No, it has a color to it. The color of the background is purely dependent on what pixel is at the very center of the frame. So we could be in an area like in Agrabah where there's a lot of yellow sand around, but if you go into first person, put these plates at the center and hit the pause button, the color changes to the color of the plates. Further example, here in Wonderland, we have the green going on here, and if we just do a simple pause there, that's all you really see. But getting good old Goof Sr.'s face at the middle of the frame here turns the background to the color of his skin. And when I go over to Donald, I may have discovered something new here, because when I hit the pause button on like in between his beak and his jacket, there's this kind of cool in-between color of blue and yellow. There's kind of like a gradient going on there. I've not seen anyone talk about that, and I've only just noticed this now too, so maybe they added the gradient feature in there too. I don't know. It makes sense for the system they're using in there because you never usually be in first person and have this happen, but sometimes you can accidentally like catch Sora's jacket and it can turn red and some people are confused by that. Even the pause menu has so many cool features. That's so cool. Number 4, the accessory shop fireplace. This is probably the most known one, but I only recently discovered this, so I'll put it in here. In the Traverse Town accessory shop, there is a fireplace on the right side, and at the top of the building, there is a chimney. It's just sitting there, chilling, not doing much. Since it seems that fire does a lot of cool things in this game, you can cast fire at the fireplace and the fire lights up. And going outside, you can notice that smoke starts coming out of the chimney. You don't get any items or unlock any secrets by doing this. It's just there. You can do it. And when you leave the world, go to another one and come back, the fire is still lit. Again, nothing special comes out of this. You can just do this if you want to. Neat. Number 5, Agrabah NPCs. Normally, Agrabah is a pretty deserted place. In the story, it says that everyone is in hiding because of the Heartless going around, and 90% of the time, you don't see any NPCs. That is, besides one very specific point in the game. After completing the world by defeating Jafar and sealing away the keyhole, unlike how it appears to be, right after you seal the keyhole, there's actual NPCs. There's one in the entrance of the level, there's one in the back alley, and there's one in front of the gates. Talking to them shows how everyone else is still hiding in fear of the Heartless and how they wish they could beat them up themselves. The NPCs are just reskins of other character models. The first one is a reskin of this character from Traverse Town. The girl in the alley is a reskin of this girl from Traverse Town. And the one in front of the gates, I think, is a reskin of Wonka. Don't quote me on that, but it looks very similar to him. And this is the only time in the game that NPCs show up. If you leave the world, they do not show up again. Agrabah seems like a pretty deserted place, but there's actual people in there. Believe it or not. Boy. Also, look at this Moogle walk. Look how this Moogle walks. Not really relevant to what we're talking about here, but I just wanted to remind you that this exists, and the world's better for it. Number 6, Pooh's Honeypots. In the 100 Acre Woods, there are 5 minigames that can be played, and it's also pretty well known that if you get a certain score in those minigames, you earn the ability of cheer. It doesn't give an indication of what scores you need to get. You need to find that out by yourself, but there's actually a way you can track your progress on this in-game. If you go to Pooh's house where you talk to Mr. Owl to get the cheer ability, there's a field surrounded with 5 pots. They don't seem that important, but you might notice while playing that some of the pots are filled with honey, and others are not. This is actually an indicator on how many minigames you've gotten the high score in so far. The pots fill from right to left, so if you have 2 pots filled and you go get a high score in another minigame, it'll go to 3. Googling is probably easier, but if you want to know in-game how well you're doing, There you go. Number 7, Wonderland Fireplace. This is one that everyone's been talking about, but I think some people still might not know, so let's talk about it. For the Trickmaster boss at the end of Wonderland, he has his batons that he lights on fire and uses as flame projectiles during the battle. But if you go to the fireplace in the room, go over to the stove, and cast Blizzard on the opening below it, it will prevent him from lighting his batons. So you can prevent pretty much half of the headaches going on in this battle. Some people speculate on whether or not you have to cast Blizzard 3 times, 2 times, once, but I did it 1 time and it seems like that did the trick. That's another little hidden detail there that will actually help you during the game. Here's a quick little bonus. It doesn't Kingdom Hearts 1, it's Kingdom Hearts 2, but I want to talk about it anyways. In the mansion, if you go over to Naminé's room and look at the command menu, the command icons turn to cards from Chain of Memories. Since Naminé is a very important part of that story and it directly leads to Kingdom Hearts 2. Chain of Memories is not a bad game, guys. Has an Easter egg, Kingdom Hearts 2, the best game ever made. So yeah, those are some cool details that I found out that I wanted to share with you guys. Tell me down in the comments below which one's your favorite. Tell me which ones that you might not have known of before, and maybe some other ones that I didn't even notice in this video. Hopefully we'll get back to more videos soon. Life's a little crazy right now. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Whatever that's gonna be. Bye. Should Kingdom Hearts 1 get a remake? Let's talk about it. It has now been over 22 years since the release of the original Kingdom Hearts on the PlayStation 2 back in 2002. Doesn't really need to be said, but of course, it's a classic. It's amazing. People still love it. People still play it all the time to this day, and I think it has even more love now than it used to back in the day. I could go on a big spiel about why this game is amazing and why it's so awesome. I have a whole video talking about it if you want to go check that out, but to put it simply and cleanly, I make jokes on this channel, guys. The aesthetics that they have in this game are just amazing. The graphics still hold up to this day, even if you're playing it on the original PS2. The tone that they set in this game's story with the pure message of light and darkness and friendship and stuff that you'd find in a Disney movie, stuff that even connects with adults nowadays. Gameplay has aged in certain areas, specifically with the camera and the platforming, but I do think it's a great foundation for what the series built off of, and I still think it's very enjoyable. I used to think this game was mid, believe it or not, but then I stopped smoking my Kingdom Hearts 2 crack and went to rehab and got help. It's never too late, guys. Now is 2024. And a lot of stuff has happened, to put it mildly. There's 13 versions of the same character. Your favorite anime can't do that. Suck it, JJK! I don't watch anime. There's now ever-growing nostalgia for the original Kingdom Hearts game as we go further along in the series and the story balloons ever further. Going back to the simpler days where boy hit thing with car key and it died. I think there was a duck there too. And what does the game industry do with nostalgia nowadays? Make you do it again. Consume product or die. The trend nowadays is to wait about 10 or 20 years after original game's release and either do a port, remaster, or remake. Some quick definitions: a port is just ripping the original game's assets and putting it onto another platform. Remaster is where you upscale the original assets into HD, and a remake is just a ground-up new game using the original game as a basis. Kingdom Hearts has already gotten the remaster treatment with the HD remixes. Pretty much all Kingdom Hearts games are available on all platforms nowadays, but Square has really notably got on the remake train, doing stuff for the series of Mana, Star Ocean, and most notably Final Fantasy VII with Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is not really a remake if you dig deep into it, but we're not going to talk about that. Square Enix is also remaking Dragon Quest 1 through 3 for modern platforms in the Octopath Traveler style. The only major series in Square Enix's lineup that hasn't gotten the remake treatment yet is Kingdom Hearts. So people are starting to wonder, will Kingdom Hearts 1 ever get a remake? With all those factors combined together, it would make sense for them to do it, right? Introduce the game and the series as a whole to a new generation and have just a great new game to have in the Kingdom Hearts series. The question is though, will they do it? Let's talk about it. Also, this video was partially inspired by Skyward Wing's video on the same subject. If you want to go check that out, I will leave a little eye up there for you to hit it up. I'm not going to make this video a gush session about why I think a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake should happen and how awesome it would be and why they should absolutely do it and how I'm going to camp out at Square Enix's headquarters until they do it. I'm going to go for a balanced approach. I'm going to present 3 different points going for a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake and 3 points going against one. And at the end, we'll make a determination, the positives and the negatives, and see whether or not they will actually do it and whether or not I think they should do it, because those are 2 very separate things. So, as an Italian plumber once said, down with the bourgeoisie. I mean, let's go. I think that's what he said. Let's start with the positives. Number 1, the opportunity to fix and adapt. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I think Kingdom Hearts 1 is still a great game. It still holds up great to this day, but there are still some problems with it. The camera is not very intuitive. It's kind of clunky, you know, trying to move it around to try and see what's going on. And I think they could have done it a little bit better if they had like a more fixed camera like they did in Kingdom Hearts 2. And that in turn makes the platforming kind of frustrating too, because you have to move the camera while you're trying to do the platforming and it just takes longer to do and it's not very fun. It feels like work while the rest of the game feels like fun. Some other ones like Atlantica's controls are very frustrating sometimes in that entire world, and that has aged not that well. The vines in Deep Jungle and also the gummy ship sections. Controls in those sections suck. I wish they did that better. But if you make a full remake of the game, you can go in and fix those issues and maybe not even have to worry about them in the first place, because they also have the opportunity to make it into a new style of gameplay altogether. A lot of the problems that I just listed are problems that people have with a lot of early 2000s games, because it was the early days of 3D gaming somewhat. So developers were still trying to figure out the controls for these kind of games, the mechanics for them, and how they should feel. And so they were kind of clunky as a result. This was also the first time that Square Enix made a game like this ever, so it makes sense that they would knock it out of the park exactly the first time, but it very much is a early 2000s game. And later Kingdom Hearts games did end up fixing those issues later on down the line. So making a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake with all the adaptations and the fixes that Kingdom Hearts has made over the years, I think it would be cool. I think if they made a game that's kind of a mix of Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3's gameplay with the more fixed camera angle and a little bit more energy into the gameplay itself, maybe not Kingdom Hearts 3 level energy, that's a little bit too much, redesign the levels around that system, and I think it would be a much more fluid experience than it is in the original. I will admit though that it will be very hard to do that, because they'd have to do a ground up remake of the game in that case, because of how much smaller the individual rooms in the worlds are in that game based on that system. So they would have to do a full on just redesign of everything in that game. But if they're going to make a full on remake, why not go all out? And for more modern and younger audiences, they're going to be accustomed to that kind of gameplay style, so it will feel more natural to them when they pick up the game like that. We're trying to market a game towards them. So also Unreal Engine 5 graphics, humna. So I think it would be a great opportunity to address the issues of the original and kind of adapt it to a modern style. Speaking of getting new fans, sorry, Kingdom Hearts fans, I know those words offend you. Number 2, a potential series revival. Kingdom Hearts is in a weird place. I mean, it's always been in a weird place, but it's especially weird now. It's been over 5 years since Kingdom Hearts 3. It's been over 2 years since Kingdom Hearts 4 was even announced, and we haven't even heard news about that game since then. The last big Kingdom Hearts release period was about 4 years ago with Melody and Memory, and Missing Link is, you know, I think we're definitely at a low point for Kingdom Hearts as of right now because of the wait that we have to do for the next game. People are very frustrated with how Kingdom Hearts 3 turned out. I don't agree with that stuff, but that's a big sentiment I see in my comment section. And while you love the story, a lot of people find it a little bit confusing and frustrating, and so they're starting to leave the series because of it. But a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake has the opportunity to kind of revive the series and bring a lot of people back. It will remind them of the good old days, the days when boy hit thing with key and it died. That was it. That's all you had to do. It will bring back a lot of good memories they had about the game as a kid and how much they loved it, and experiencing it in a new light, in a new way, could make them view the series in a different way. Have them start discussing Kingdom Hearts again and bring a lot of people back. But most importantly, it will bring a lot more people in, especially younger people. It will probably have the same appeal that it did to us back when we were kids playing the game for the first time. Because that game, I think a lot of people got in based on the Disney element alone. That's kind of why I did it. Disney and younger people are just bread and butter. They go together perfectly. And while Disney is in a lot of hate right now, I do think a lot of younger people still are really into them. So if they come out with this game, kind of keep the story the same, have a little bit more simpler, just a story about Sora trying to find his friends in the darkness and stuff like that, I think it will appeal to younger people a lot. As long as they keep that story though. Keep that in mind. We can see a lot more energy and newer people get into the Kingdom Hearts series, and in my opinion, that's a great thing. And number 3, money. Cash, moolah, bank, gas, cheddar. There is a reason why remakes and remasters are so popular nowadays. Because it makes them money. Nostalgia in any industry, not just gaming, is a very powerful tool, and if you use it correctly, you can make cash on cash on cash. So if Square Enix went ahead and decided to remake Kingdom Hearts 1, there is the high potential for them to make some big bank on that. They call me Scrooge McDuck with this money pit. They call me Scrooge McDuck when I fuck your Some of these remakes and remasters sell millions and millions, if not even tens of millions of copies. So if they played their cards right when marketing this thing, they could go to the fucking bank with this shit and have it be like the best selling game in the series. Though Square Enix is known for having way too high of expectations for games sometimes, if a game does not sell 7 million copies within a month, they want to take it out back and shoot it like it never even fucking happened. But I think it would be a lucrative deal for them if they went about it the right way. Those are the positives. Now, let's go to the negatives. Number 1, development strain. The Kingdom Hearts team seems to have a lot on their plate right now. They got Kingdom Hearts 4 going on, and that seems to be taking longer than I expected to, at least to reveal something new about the game. So maybe that's in some sort of development limbo right now. Who knows what's going on behind the scenes. They have Missing Link, which we know is going through some trouble right now, whatever the fuck's going on with that. And probably some other unannounced projects that we don't even know about. So if the Kingdom Hearts team and Tetsuya Nomura were the ones to make it, and if there was ever one to be made, I would prefer it to be that way. Adding another thing on top of their plate plate right now may just cause things to go even slower. They'd have to basically be developing 2 large-scale games at the same time while Missing Link is going on at the same time too. Not to relegate it to like the kids table, but you know, it's not the same size. People want a shorter wait time with Kingdom Hearts 4 because Kingdom Hearts 3, there was 5.5 years in between the announcement and release of that game. And we're already reaching 2 years, almost 2.5 years with the announcement of Kingdom Hearts 4. So if they added a full-on Kingdom Hearts remake on their plate, I think that would just make things go even more slower and people would just get even more frustrated. I know you want it real bad, but you gotta realize these things take time. The obvious solution to this would be getting another team inside Square Enix that can do it, have them handle the project, or get another outside studio to handle it while they focus on Kingdom Hearts 4. But Tetsuya Nomura himself also has a lot on his plate right now. Of course, he has to be involved with the project in some way. He's directing Kingdom Hearts 4. He's overseeing Missing Link. He's also co-directing the Final Fantasy VII Remake game. That's a lot of stuff going on for that one man right now. So to add another project on top of that would be a little crazy. And also, if they went with the outside third-party studio on the project, it would cost them more to make it because they'd have to split the revenue with them and pay some fees or whatever. And Square Enix doesn't like handing out their IP to outside studios that often. Check out Final Fantasy Fortress for that. So it probably would end up being the main Kingdom Hearts team, and it would just make things everywhere else just go slower. Number 2, continued confusion. Now, I will say this would only be a problem if they go in a similar direction that they took Final Fantasy VII Remake. As in making a lot of story changes and meta elements to where it's not even on the same timeline anymore. Whether or not that was Tetsuya Nomura's influence, I'll leave that up to you. But if they do something similar with this game, change up a lot of the things in the story, do a lot of unnecessary like meta elements in it and making it connect to Kingdom Hearts 4, or say like this game is in another universe in of itself and they start a new timeline with that and it's somehow connected with the new universe and it's blah blah blah. I think that might be the breaking point for a lot of Kingdom Hearts fans. Again, you may like the story for what it is, you may like deep diving into the story like that, that's on you, but that's not the majority opinion. The ever-growing meme of the complication of the Kingdom Hearts story, adding all of these new characters and story arcs and confusing plot narratives and all this stuff, that's what a lot of people view the series as. And if they go ahead and do that kind of stuff with this Kingdom Hearts 1 remake, make it overly complicated, I think it will just do way more harm than good. A lot of Kingdom Hearts fans might say, oh, well, they just don't understand the story, so they should just leave anyway. But that's not the point of what we're trying to do here. We'll have the exact opposite effect of what they're trying to do. They would not bring back the old fans, and the new fans, they just won't have any idea what's going on, period. Making them very confused and maybe not really enjoy it. They just made a full-on straight remake of the game, no story changes, anything like that, and just did it just for the sake of having an updated version of the game. I think people will just be really satisfied with that. But since we have the HD remixes, I don't know if they could justify themselves doing that. They'd have to do something different. And if it was that, I don't know. Small changes and additions, that's fine. But full-on new timelines or anything like that, no please. And finally, number 3, is it even necessary? Like I mentioned in the beginning, the game still holds up. The game's still great. It is not something that is so outdated and looks so bad in comparison to things on modern platforms that making a remake is just 100% justified. They need to do it. Most of the series as a whole is on modern platforms now. You can buy the all-in-one collection on PS5 or PC and just get the entire series that way. And even though the game released back in 2002, the graphics I think still hold up great to this day. And while there are problems with the original, that doesn't mean it's unplayable. People still play it a lot. In fact, I think they play it way more than they used to back in the day, thanks to the HD remixes. And there's still people joining the series just based off the HD remixes. People buy the all-in-one collection, I think, all the time on like PS4 or PC, and they get to experience the series that way. If they got the games on Switch properly, I think that would have been a great entry for them. But anyways, there's not really a need for a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake, at least right now. If they're gonna do it, it won't be because they need to, it's because they want to. And they may not want to. And that's fine. Unless Disney gives them some mandate that they need to do it. And in that case, they'll need to do it to please the mouse. Now, got that out of the way. I present to you the pros and the cons. And now that we're at the end here, let's try to make a determination. Based on everything we've said, will Kingdom Hearts 1 get a remake? Yeah, I could see it happening. Square Enix is a business at the end of the day. Their end goal is to make money in whatever way possible. And if they look at a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake and see that they could potentially make a big return on investment, they could go ahead and do that. And I do think it would be a lucrative thing for them to do. It would be something to definitely re-energize and rejuvenate the series at a low point, as I've been talking about, and it would get a lot more people in, bring a lot more people back, bake off their nostalgia. Also, the pretty graphics that they have with the Unreal Engine 5. With all that combined together, if they play their cards right, they could make something very successful out of a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake. And I think it would be a net positive in terms of getting more people in and having a new thing at all for Kingdom Hearts, because God, give me something, please. I am desperate over here. Not just because this helps pay my bills, but also just because I just need something else to talk about, man. There are those drawbacks that I listed before, but weighing the positives and the negatives, I do think that Square Enix might see a net positive in doing this, not only financially, but for the series as a whole, so they might go ahead and do it. Final Fantasy VII Remake was extremely successful despite all that stuff, so why not? Though at the end of the day, it's really going to be up to Nomura because he is the director of the series. It's his baby, and he really makes all the final decisions on it. So who knows what he really thinks on it? I didn't find anything about him talking about it. So he may want it, he may not. He's an enigma. Who really knows? Now, for my opinion, do I think there should be a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake? No. I actually don't think there should be one at all. I think the game is perfectly fine the way it is. No need to do anything with it. The aesthetics still hold up to this day. The graphics still hold up to this day. The story, I think, is great. I don't think they need to do any changes to that. The gameplay, while it is flawed, I think that's just one of the quirks of it, and I think that's what makes it so special. It's annoying, but I still love the game regardless. I think it would just take valuable time away from the main games, Kingdom Hearts 4 or Missing Link or whatever comes in the future, and I think that they should just keep moving forward instead of looking back. That's my opinion. But I don't have any say on whether or not they're going to do it or not, obviously. I'm just a YouTuber who does things on the internet. So if they actually went ahead and did it and actually had a good pitch about it, I'd probably be on board. Get it to be something rather than just nothing. I think it would be something that's exciting at the very least, and I do think it would be something that would bring a lot more people in and a lot more older people back. And again, I do think that would be a good thing. But if for some reason I was the one to make the decision on this, I would say no. Let's just keep going with the other stuff. Let's focus on the future. Anyways, that's just my opinion on the subject. Tell me down in the comments below what you guys think about this. Do you think there will be a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake? Do you think there should be a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake? Do you think they would ever do it in the near future? Do you think they'd wait even longer to do it from now? What would your most wanted kind of things in this remake be? Tell me down in the comments your opinion. Also, make sure to subscribe, like this video, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, turn on notifications. Really awesome if you did. This has been Matt, and I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that's gonna be. So yeah, bye. As you all know, we're currently in a dry spell when it comes to Kingdom Hearts. I think that's pretty obvious. No news, no new games, no updates, just waiting. People are literally wanting anything besides nothing right now, especially me. And one of the discussions that I've seen pop up as of recent is remaking some of the old Kingdom Hearts games. I've already made a video discussing one of these possible remakes, a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake, if you want to go check that out. But there's two more that I see people talking about a lot. And those are a Days remake and a Key Saga remake. Each of these potential remakes have their own reasons for why they should exist and why people really want them. And I feel like they kind of occupy the same space because of them both being on handheld mobile devices originally and them having their gameplay not ported onto these mainline consoles or PC or whatever. So I want to go over them both in this video, kind of contrast about the different ways in which people want these things and see which one I guess kind of makes more sense. Only one shall win. I'll make it duke it out. I'll make it like a versus video or something. I'll discuss each one individually, my thoughts on them, and then at the end, kind of get my thoughts onto which one I want more and which one you guys want more. I held a poll with my community to see which one they wanted more, so stay tuned to the end to see what the results of that were. Firstly, let's discuss 358 Days over 2. That's how you say it. The reason people want to remake a Days is kind of obvious. When it came time to make 1.5 on the PS3 back in 2013, they decided to not do a full remake of Days when making that story available on modern consoles. They decided to just make a movie of cutscenes that were in the game and not all of them. For that fact, they left a lot of stuff out. Since it was a movie, it would have been hard to do that, and just remastered the games in the already existing Kingdom Hearts engine they had. And there was a few reasons why it made sense to do this. One, it was much quicker to do. They would have had to remake an entire game from scratch at that point to really put it onto PS3 like that. Two, the dual screens of the DS did make it a little bit harder to port over to a single screen environment. They could have easily translated a lot of those features over to a single screen, like putting the map in the corner or whatever, but there were some cool story things that they did with the dual screens that wouldn't have translated. It just wasn't practical on the PS3. And three, they got to flesh out some of the cutscenes that were just text boxes in the original. It makes sense why they did it the way they did it, but people still really want it. People have a lot of strong memories associated with playing Days on their DS back in the day. It has a very strong emotional core to its story, and and I think people following that along makes it have a much more deeper impact with people. People have a lot of nostalgia for that game for that reason. I don't have as strong of a connection to it as some other people do, but of course I still have great memories playing it. A lot of people like the gameplay as well. Some people think it's a really good port of the Kingdom Hearts battle system over to a handheld, over to like a D-pad kind of device. It limits it in a lot of ways, but people still really had fun with it. I think the gameplay is fun, but there's some aspects that are flawed for me. I really do not like the panel leveling up system in that game. I think it's so stupid, so restrictive. Having items mixed with leveling up is, I can go on a whole rant about that. It is also one of the few games in the series to have an actual multiplayer mode to it. There's a cooperative mission campaign you can do that's separate from the main story, where you could complete objectives in a mission. You can actually play as a lot of different characters in that mode. I never got to experience that because it's a lonely life for me. So I know there's a lot of people who are upset that Days did not get ported over into the collections. So fans have been taking it upon themselves kinda to try to remake Days. I remember back in 2016, there was a project being made by two individual fans. It was called Days HD, who was trying to remake the Days game and I think Unity or something like that. But unfortunately, Square kind of took that down. Nowadays, there is the Melon Mix of Days, which is a heavily modified version of the original game's assets with a heavily modified DS emulator. Adds a lot of cool features like a non-dual screen mode, putting the map in the corner of the screen, upscaled graphics, it looks a lot better than it did on the small screens of the original, improved cutscenes, stuff like that. It is currently being worked on. There's still some features that are missing, but it's constantly improving. There's also Days Final Mix, which is a project that aims to recreate the game in the PS2 Kingdom Hearts engine, being a mod of Kingdom Hearts 2. That one's been in development in the background, so maybe we'll see a release of that at some point too. If you want a remake of Days, that's probably what you want to see. There's also another project, Kingdom Hearts Tears, which aims to recreate the entire game from scratch in Unreal Engine 5. That one's been in development for a while, so look out for that. Fans have been trying hard to really get a remake of this game. In fact, about a month ago at this point, there was a rumor going around Twitter and 4chan stating that there was an official Days remake being made, but it didn't really have that much legs. It provided a lot of shaky evidence to it. I didn't believe it. I didn't report on it. It really got people amped up. It really got people excited for the actual potential of this thing happening because, again, a lot of people really want this. Days has such a passionate community. I see you, Key. I know you're watching this video. I'm here to give you your daily dose of Days brain rot. And personally, I'd like to kind of see it too. I think it'd be cool. Don't get me wrong. I think the cutscenes that they did for the remixes are actually pretty good. I think they did a really good job of adapting that story over and fleshing it out with some more visual storytelling aside from like the text boxes they had for the original. But again, they did leave a lot of stuff out of the story. And without the gameplay there, it just really doesn't feel the same. You need that connection with Roxas and playing him and going through the story like that. You want to have that multiplayer in there that a lot of people had fun with. They can also take some time to make some necessary improvements to the game. They can have a lot more freedom of movement with it being on a console potentially, you know, with an analog stick and not just 8 different directions on a D-pad. You can have Kingdom Hearts 3 style levels with them being a lot more open and spacious with a lot more things to do, and you can have more stuff to do in the missions because of that, and you can have a lot more missions themselves because of that too. Actually having a co-op mode in the single player as well. You have your AI partner come with you for a lot of missions with Axel and Shion and stuff, but if you had your friend come along with you experiencing that story at the same time, and they could also remake all the cutscenes in Unreal Engine 5. Sorry, I think I just made a mess. It would be very cool. But do I think it'll happen? No, probably not. Because they already technically remade it with the cutscenes in 1.5, and you know, honestly, maybe they think that's enough for them. Maybe they just see it as a story vessel to tell Roxas's backstory, and they introduce you to Shion and the organization and stuff like that, and the gameplay's just kind of whatever. It would be a smaller scale project, so maybe they can get it done in like a timely manner, but still, I don't know if they want to spend the resources necessary to do that. They already have a lot going on right now. Why would they add something else to their plate? Now that we have Days out of the way, let's talk about the Key Saga. The reason people are really wanting a Union Cross remake isn't really because of the gameplay, at least from what I've seen. I think it's just because of the story. The Key Saga, Unchained Key, Union Cross, Dark Road is kind of the precursor and the setup for what's going to be happening in the next saga of games. It gives us the backstory on the Keyblade War. It tells us about the Master of Masters and the Book of Prophecies and all these other characters that are set up to be kind of important to the next saga of what Kingdom Hearts is going to be. And what makes it even better is that it doesn't exist anymore. Back in 2021, they shut down the game's servers. It took the game offline. No online features were accessible, with Dark Road's online mode shutting down a year later. They did leave a theater mode offline in the game for you to watch the cutscenes offline, but back in August of this year, they just took down the game entirely from the App Store. you can't download it anymore. Oh, so only the people who have it still on their phones can access it. No new people can access it. The only way to access the Key Saga story is on YouTube with fan translations and fan dubs. And hey, that might suffice for many people, but I do think people still want an official way for them to tell the story that is in those games. Because of how important it is to the next saga of games, a lot of people are also just very mad that an entire piece of the Kingdom Hearts story that is, again, very important to know for the future is just segmented off into another platform away from the other games. And that brings back memories of before the HD remixes, when that was a problem. They put all the Kingdom Hearts games on a bunch of different consoles that had important story elements on it, but they kind of fixed that. All the other Kingdom Hearts games are available on console in some way, shape, or form, except for the Key Saga. But man, what about back cover? It is a segment of the Kingdom Hearts Key story. It's not the full one. It doesn't count. So people are either wanting like a new game with Kingdom Hearts Key story with more traditional Kingdom Hearts gameplay in it, or just support of the cutscenes in the story, and that's it. And in my opinion, they gotta do something story-wise, don't they? As I just explained, you need to know what's going on in this to really understand what's going on in the next saga of games, and they're just leaving it out. They're just leaving it out to dry. Now, I know that everyone has access to the internet and YouTube, and they can just go and understand the story that way, but you shouldn't have to do that. If you just did like a day-style remake of the important cutscenes, combine it with back cover, because that's obviously important to make it like a combo of some sort, explaining the story, going on about what is going to be happening with the Master of Masters and the box and all that stuff, fleshing it out way more than they did in back cover, I think that would be a good way of getting that story out there. Not having these characters that are seemingly going to be playing an important role in the next saga just have like quick cameos like Ephemer and Scold and stuff. Missing Link is going to be expanding on that story, yes, but people still, I think, need that background in some way. Full-on game, I don't see it. I think they should just do another kind of day-style remake of the cutscenes, and that'll be that. Now that we're at the end here, let's compare these two remakes. Let's go back to that poll that I did. After harsh, deep deliberation, my fans concluded that Days One. I mean, yeah, duh. That is a game that a lot more people have nostalgia for. I think a lot of people just want to experience the story of that game in another way again. Union Cross has its fans, but since it's a mobile game, I don't think many people have that many fond memories to it. Now, which one do I want more? Yes, this is something that I've not really thought much about until making this video. I think that if anything, I would want a Days remake more because, again, I do have more nostalgia for that, and I think there's a lot more cool opportunities for improving the gameplay in that game. But I do think the story in Union Cross really needs an updated official version that is very clear on what's going to be happening in the next saga of games. So yeah, either one would be fine with me, but I guess if I had to choose one, it would be Days. Will I think Square Enix do either of them? I don't see it. They're probably focused on the future right now with Kingdom Hearts 4 and Missing Link, and that has some connections to the past. Yes, especially with Union Cross. So, you know, they might need to get that story ported in some way, shape, or form. I don't see them doing a full-on remake of either of these games. I think they're just gonna focus on going forward for right now. Plus, they'd be smaller scale projects, and I don't know if Square Enix would think they'd be worth it. Just do a theater mode of Union Cross on consoles. You know, that would be kind of a cool thing in my opinion. I think people would be sufficed with that if they did that. Just watch Damo's fan dub for right now if you really need to know the story. And there are also several projects going on nowadays to remake Days. So if you're really itching for a remake of Days, just wait for those to come along. Play Mix in the meantime. Nah, but for real though, Recoded needs a remake. Well, we're not ready to have that conversation now, aren't we? But hey, that's just my opinion, dude. So tell me down in the comments below what you guys think. Do you think there'll be a remake of Days or Union Cross? If so, what would you like to see in it? Do you think they'll ever do it one day? Tell me down in the comments below your opinion. Also, make sure to subscribe, like this video, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, turn on notifications. Really awesome if you did. This has been Matt, and I'll see you guys in the next video, whatever that's gonna be. So yeah, bye. I played 2 lost Kingdom Hearts games, Kingdom Hearts VCast and Kingdom Hearts Coded, the original, with the keyboard and everything. This is a dream come true for me, man. You don't understand. How did I end up playing this game? Let me tell you a little story. So I was at PAX West this past weekend. I got to go as part of the media as a content creator, and I've never been to a convention before, like ever. So this was a very exciting and kind of nerve-wracking experience for me, but I had a great time. Got to do a lot of cool things while I was there. Got to play the new Zelda game and Mario Party, and also the new Dragon Ball Sparking Zero game, and a lot of other things like that. Got to attend some very cool panels as well. Got to meet a lot of amazing people that I've known for years online. Met some other content creators that I've been fans of for years, like Super Butter Buns. It's been the highlight of my YouTube career so far. I've been doing YouTube for a long time, and this was kind of like the apex of that so far. Also got jump scared by Freddy. Look at that man. was fucking 15 feet tall. Don't jump scare me like that. I'm sensitive. Anyways, one of the people that I was on the trip with was a YouTuber by the name of Neosai. He is doing a massive retrospective of the entire Kingdom Hearts series. He has part 1 of that up on his channel right now, which I am so lucky to be a part of. Part 1 is already 3 hours long, so strap in. And he does crazy things sometimes. One of them being finding a way to get Kingdom Hearts VCast on a old 2000s flip phone. This is not the flip phone that he has. I just own this because I want to put it on there someday, but we'll get to that. So for those who don't know, Kingdom Hearts VCast was a game that was made back in 2005 for mobile phones exclusively on the Verizon VCast network, which was a service where you could download games, applications, general entertainment stuff, whatever. It was basically an early version of the App Store. The game is technically only called Kingdom Hearts, but of course it's called Kingdom Hearts VCast for that reason. It was developed by neither Square nor Disney, and it has no connection at all to the existing canon of the Kingdom Hearts series. It exists in its own world, and we love it for it. But it was actually lost media for quite a long time. VCast service shut down back in 2012, and along with it went all the games that were on it, including Kingdom Hearts VCast. Very few people still had phones that had it on there, and even if they did, they didn't know how to dump the files of the game onto a computer. But in recent years, people have found out how to do that and transferred it onto another phone and get it to work that way. So a select group of very passionate fans have a copy of this game, including this guy. And just to flex how massive his ick is, he brought not only a phone with Kingdom Hearts VCast on it, but a phone with Kingdom Hearts coded, the original version, on another phone. Just the demo, unfortunately, though. We don't have the full game of that. He was passing it around, letting people play it, and when you have the opportunity to play the greatest game of all time, you can't pass that up. So I jumped on the opportunity and I decided to play some Kingdom Hearts VCast. Editing Matt here, so unfortunately the footage I got wasn't necessarily all that great, and so I tried my best to salvage it as best I could, but I had to edit the footage a lot, and apparently there's a lot of conversations going on in the background, so it may be hard to hear my voice. Sorry about that, but I tried my best. Enjoy.
We going now? Yes, sir. All right, we're actually playing Kingdom Hearts VCast.
Totally.
I played it a little bit last night, so I'm a little bit more used to the controls this time. It's tank controls on my phone, and I'm hitting the jump button. So we are getting through this obstacle course here. It's a little tutorial, I think.
So
my finger keeps slipping, that's why. My finger keeps slipping. That's why.
I was at the chain of memory, sort of.
Okay, so you just push forward, and then it eventually starts going, and then Sora just jumps in front immediately. Okay. That's good. Good that they did that.
Can't hear any of this dialogue.
Is this it for the obstacle course? Oh no.
Biz.
Oh, so this is a whole ass tutorial here. Okay.
Oh, what happened?
I missed.
You opened something.
And we can hang on.
You guys figure out how to do
Okay.
Fun fact, I am the worst Kingdom Hearts coded player in history now, so.
Oh no, I wouldn't. Maybe I should take that count. I mean, he closed the game, so that does count. So.
Well, it makes you feel better. I can't even open the phone. So.
Oh no.
You know.
Why is
crossover content?
this is so hard?
Okay,
come on. When can I get to the island?
Phil is saying things.
You get to finish the tutorial.
I know, but I don't want to. I want to get to the island.
ugly.
Man.
I'll get you straight to the island. I can
Well,
tell you.
Wait,
this
how
is
do I
fun.
attack? Neo, how do I attack?
Good luck.
How do I attack?
One of the numbers probably.
Oh, 0.
How do you throw it again?
Sweet.
How do you throw it again?
No idea, man.
I can't believe I'm playing the greatest game ever made for the first time ever.
Playing Peak.
I'm playing
How many fights is this?
the absolute maximum. Sora, no.
No.
What's wrong
It's
with
like
you,
sometimes
man?
it reads my inputs and sometimes it doesn't.
Sora, where are you going?
I have like what, a 22 combo or something? What we should do next? I just
Oh.
realized that I'm being timed.
You're way better at this.
It's crazy that this is over 20 years old now.
Oh, go for it.
Is this like the first?
Really long time.
Is this like an original world? It's not based off of
That is an
anything.
original world, yes.
Okay.
I didn't complete that, just so you know, because I couldn't. I was at it for like 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Yeah.
Alright.
Can I get up there? Oh no, sword's clipped.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna worry about that right now. We're gonna
Very
worry
hard,
about.
dude. It's stupid. Also, I'm running out of HP.
Okay.
What is this? Is that my magic? That's awesome.
Maybe? I don't know. Talking about the blue
What other buttons can I press
Oh, okay.
here?
I can turn directions in while I'm walking. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're one of the few people who
We got a satanic
experienced this.
ultra
True.
here. What are we doing?
True. Very true. I'm
Heartless.
proud to have this as a Kingdom Hearts experience. I think I'm a true fan now.
Step on the thing, do the thing. I got a crystal.
Are you going?
I guess.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will get a crystal, I guess.
I'm gonna get a real quick photo.
Okay. I've gotten used to the controls.
Actually, I remembered I was half asleep when this fucking happened.
Did I go to the right place?
Oh, wait,
You have no gems.
You can bring up the menu to pause it.
Shut up.
What is this?
But now
Why did I not get the gem?
That's items. What is this?
Debug. Okay.
What is this?
I see.
What is this?
I see now.
Alright, well, whatever. I'm just gonna real quick.
Crystal. Gem. I mean, gem. Big boy. Come on. Ah. Okay, that helps me do something, I'm sure.
Really?
Someone needs to speedrun this game. 80%.
Violin?
Kingdom Hearts VCast.
Violin?
I didn't bring my backpack today because I was so sick of it, and I needed to grab it.
Okay, so there's nowhere. Oh, there's a cave. Let's go in the cave. I think that's what I think it is. Because I remember.
Typing in Polish into my search bar to try to find this is just a weird moment.
No. Where are we at? Okay. Got a flag here. Kite.
Oh, I found the email where I sent it to you.
This takes me somewhere. Yes. Like that. Yeah. Best Kingdom Hearts VCast player. Let's go.
The biggest thing that I might do is I'm gonna go over to
am I fucked?
Maybe.
I think I am fucked.
Oh, 100%.
Wait, I know I just gotta jump. Okay. No, actually, I can't. Because back up, Sora. Oh, come on. He jumps forward. That's the problem with this. Okay.
Yeah, if you want, at some point tonight or tomorrow, I can get put extended footage of you playing it too, if you want to.
I think I'm all VCasted out for now. This has been a crazy experience. So thank you, Dio.
I finally got to play the greatest game of all time, and it is a game. Memes aside, this thing is pretty clunky and outdated. As you saw there, it uses tank controls like Resident Evil to get around, so platforming is a fun time. You may fight some Heartless in this game, but the camera is the biggest enemy in this entire game. It seems like it wants to be in a fixed position, but it just goes wherever the hell it wants, and sometimes you just can't see what you're doing. But from what I played of it, yeah, it lives up to its reputation. But you know, it's understandable because it's a mobile game from 2005 on a literal number pad with a arrow, just using it for directions. So it's understandable why it's like this. It's fun to play just as a neat curiosity, but is it a good game? Obviously not. It's the greatest game of all time, but it also sucks balls. It is the most diverse game ever made. I do have the same model of phone that Neosci has running Kingdom Hearts VCast on, and there is a way to get Kingdom Hearts VCast on here, but I just haven't had the time nor the energy with stuff going on in my life. Ring, ring, hello? Yeah? Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks, bye. I don't know how to tell you this, but you're a massive goon. Video in the future about this. That'll be fun. I just noticed there's a camera on this. I want to see what that looks like.
Kingdom Hearts VCast #1. All other Kingdom Hearts games are dumb.
Kingdom Hearts VCast made me so hyped that I shaved off half my hair and changed my shirt. The next game that I got to play was Kingdom Hearts Coded, the original version of it. I think it's pretty common knowledge at this point that Kingdom Hearts Recoded, that was released on the DS back in 2011, was a remake of a mobile game called just Kingdom Hearts Coded that was released over the span of several chapters from 2008 to 2009. It was released exclusively on Docomo phones, if I'm not mistaken. This one actually really interested me because I didn't play Recoded until last year because I just didn't think I needed to play it because of the story and all that stuff. But you know, I felt like a fake fan, so I went ahead and played it, and I was pleasantly surprised about how much I enjoyed that experience. And if you haven't played that game in a while, I think you should, because it's actually way better than you may remember. So when I saw that he had the original version of Coded, I'm like, okay, I get to play the original version of this, see where a lot of this kind of gameplay and a lot of the ideas for this game possibly came from. Better video was recorded this time. Enjoy.
Playing Coded here, guys.
The
The Lost Kingdom Hearts game. Finally getting to play this for like actual hardware for the first time. This is crazy. I'm sure that stuff said things like that. That says some stuff, I'm sure. We're gonna play the game. All right. I cannot wait to figure out how to play this.
To get back to
Phil. I'm sorry, Phil.
Look at that ding dong.
All right, so I'm pressing the 0 button. I guess that does something. Is it all of it? Oh, no, certain modes do certain things. Okay. 0 hits. 6 dodges. Yeah, I did
Right now I was
good.
playing Coded, but he
Let's
has
go.
Vcast on the flip phone.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I actually am. I was. Yeah, I'm thinking
That too. Oh. Okay. This is. I played Vcast yesterday, and that had like tank control. So compared to this is like a dream.
It feels surprisingly smooth, right?
Yeah, I know. Have you played it?
Yeah, I played it a little bit. He gave it to me
Okay.
when he came over.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You can probably try, like, are you trying to find,
shit.
like modules to
Okay,
play something?
now
I know
I'm
they just
stuck.
released, like, the Final Fantasy 14 tabletop.
That is true.
So you might find some use for that.
So it's like automatic lock on here, I see. Okay.
Fabula Ultima is a tabletop RPG very much made to cater to
Is there any magic I can do?
to the point where
Spells
even like if you look
or
at the equipment
something?
section, all the
Dodge with that,
symbols
dodge with
represent the
9.
equipment are like 8-bit.
Jump with star.
They've got expanded
Hashtag
for
this.
limit break.
Nothing. Oh, that brings the volume up.
It's really cool, and there's a big function where it's literally a mechanic to draw competitions to get people to strengthen your goals.
Oh, the power of friendship stuff. That's cool.
Okay.
That's really
Walk towards the
cool.
enemy to fight it. Come on. This is
Can I
not.
take
This is
a
not
picture of
regular
the
Kingdom
plane
Hearts.
real quick?
Yeah. We played. I ran Fabula Ultimate.
Oh my God, how much is this health bar?
Because when
Jeez.
Rebirth's trailer first came out, it was like the what if scenario.
Thank
where
you,
it's like
Jesus.
never being off the highway. And so I took that and ran with it.
Okay, yay.
Cloud was never in the
We
car.
did it.
Everybody
We're
was
playing
dying
Coded.
or whatever.
I did a thing.
And now that I've gotten to play the second greatest game ever made, what are my thoughts? It's alright. It's clear that there was a major evolution between Vcast and this. They clearly figured out how to do controls on a mobile game, at least with the number pad back then, and they got to make a much better gameplay experience overall, at least from the little slice that I played. Having physical buttons on a phone in 2024 just feels strange. The placement of the buttons actually feels pretty natural. It feels more accustomed to what you found on the PlayStation controller because you play the game with it in landscape mode, so it's actually shown like a regular Kingdom Hearts game, at least in some form. And they kind of map the buttons that you would find on a regular PlayStation controller or whatever onto the buttons down there. So it actually felt natural to actually fight these enemies and have a lot of things that you'd find in a normal Kingdom Hearts game. The graphics obviously a lot better. There was a big jump in technology in those 3 years. From what I understand, the story between Coded and Recoded is basically the exact same, so nothing really changes between that if I ever got to see that, which we didn't. This one actually had involvement directly from Tetsuya Nomura and the Kingdom Hearts team, so this actually feels a lot more like Kingdom Hearts. It's not just a little thing they put somewhere like with VCast. And if I ever got to play the extra chapters that they ever got to release, I think it would have been a really great experience if I got to do that back in the day. But unfortunately, I was 7 and lived in America. I just watched Kingdom Hearts AMVs when I was 7. That may not get to happen, but maybe one day. This demo is available online if you go searching around, and you can play it on an emulator if you want to, so you can kind of experience this demo for yourself, but it's just not the same as playing it on an actual phone. But overall, for a mobile game in 2008, I think it was a good experience. So yeah, playing the 2 Lost Kingdom Hearts games. It's so strange that I may be the only person in the world that has played the most Kingdom Hearts games out of any fan because of that VR demo that I was sent, that only I was sent in confidence. And, you know, that was going to be somewhat of an official pitch of a product. Didn't play Kingdom Hearts Mobile though, but no one has really played that. So suck it. Maybe sooner rather than later, I'll put that thing on that phone and we'll figure out how to do that. But yeah, bye.
So for the past few years now, there's been a trend of YouTube videos that are like, how fast can you touch grass in X game? Me, being a connoisseur of grass myself, I spent a lot of time in it, guys. I always find these videos a fun little way to explore games in ways that you didn't think of before. And about a year ago, there were a lot of Kingdom Hearts themed ones that were being posted. And you know, those videos are fine and all, but I don't want to touch grass. Why would I want to touch that green Look at that. Oh! I've spent too much time on this planet walking around, playing outside. I no longer want to be a functional member of society. Who do you think I am? The fucking Lorax or some shit? I just want to stay inside and avoid the smell of petrichor. That's the smell of wet grass, by the way, if you didn't know. I'm a smart guy. So I'm going to be playing Kingdom Hearts for you guys today, but if I touch grass, I quit. This was a fun little experiment. I've been playing the Kingdom Hearts games again. This was an opportunity to kind of mess around in them. And to my surprise, and probably yours too, you can actually get pretty far in these games without touching any grass. So yeah, let's get on with our POSA prevention. I'm such a smart cookie. Oh, I've done that like 13 times and it's giving me a headache. Before we get into that, a few rules. 1, non-interactive elements like transitions and cutscenes don't count. If I'm not directly in control, it doesn't count. 2, no mods, no cheats. We're playing it as you would play normally. And 3, no timer. Not really the point of this video. Just wanted to have some fun and explore the game a little bit. I will have an approximate time of how long it takes to touch grass in the game, though. Just so you know which game you should and should not play. We're doing important information in this video. Also, Jordis and Nathaniel Bandy were inspirations for this video, too. Shout out to them. So, yeah. Let's go. Let's see if this works. It did not. Let's start off where all good stories start. A third of the way through with Kingdom Hearts 1. After watching the intro again for probably like the millionth time, playing 1 second to avoid a copyright strike, we are greeted with the tutorial section and dive into the heart. And I'd say we're off to a pretty good start for this challenge so far. No grass in sight, just glass. 1 letter off. Choosing which thing we want to prioritize throughout the game, I naturally choose the sword or strength because I'm a buff bully. And yes, I know that's not the best choice to get the best abilities throughout the game, but we get through the tutorial pretty easy with Mickey shouting in our ear the whole time. That's Mickey, by the way, that disembodied voice that you see there. The only thing that comes close to grass is that vine thing on the glass there, but again, it's glass, so it doesn't count. We then make it to Destiny Islands, where we get on our mission to collect the items in... Alright, so throughout the course of making this video, I had to ask myself a question that I never thought I'd have to ask myself several times. What is grass? Because that's a green texture right there. That is implying grass, kinda. But is it grass? It's on the sand, so it could be more considered moss, I guess. And you know, there's trees around there too. You know, the trees count as grass. You know, they're plants. And for the other Kingdom Hearts videos showing grass as fast as possible, they just go to that green part. But this green thing in the middle, does that count? Well, after some thoughtful and deep research, and, you know, also just thinking about it for a second, that's probably not grass. Probably just kind of a moss thing that's collected on the sand, like, over time. But just for the sake of the challenge, and just to make it a little bit more fun, I'm going to be avoiding the dark green spots. Also trees, they don't count. At least the wood part.
Everybody got that? Good.
Let's go. First day on Destiny Islands is pretty simple. Just going around collecting items that we need to build the raft. Since the walkways are pretty wide and there's several ways to get around the island, this is pretty much a breeze. We're climbing on the wood here, but again, we're touching grass, not plants in general. This challenge would be pretty stupid if otherwise. The only sore spot is possibly when you're trying to get the log from Riku, and people like to jump on top of the hut there. But again, we ain't touching grass here, so we're just gonna go through the other way. Items collected, day's done, watching the cutscene, them laying on the trees, having fun. Yeah! Look at Goofy laying in the grass right there. Look at him. He's taunting. Start our second day off right. I don't know how Sora jumps like that. Now we gotta get some food for our adventure. Getting into the first cave is a little bit tricky though. You gotta have to maneuver around some of that green stuff a little bit. As I make my way to the other side of the island, I realize this is where our journey with this game comes to an end. We need the water bottle from Kairi to get the water. The only way to get the water bottle from Kairi is to complete the Riku race. The only way to complete the Riku race is to touch the star on that platform. And the only way you can touch the star on that platform is if you touch the grass on it too. I thought about going the other way through the trees, but yeah, you gotta step on grass doing that too. And even then, there's not enough momentum in Sora's jump in this game to get you to touch the star, go over to that cave. So our journey with this game comes to an unfortunate short end. And I like this game too. I was looking forward to playing it a little bit more, but... Alright, what's the next game? Oh, fucking bullshit. Chain of Memories! The best game in... Yeah, Chain of Memories is probably one of my least favorite Kingdom Hearts games. That's the dichotomy with this game. You either love it to death or you fucking hate it with your guts. The card system, I just can't get on board with it. This was the game I was least looking forward to playing, but we gotta do it anyway. I will only be doing re-channel memories because 1, looks better, 2, easier to record, and 3, is basically the same thing anyways. Also, I will be throwing my chair in frustration a little bit less. Let's go, baby. After the opening cutscene introducing us to the world of Castle Oblivion, we are then thrust into the card system. Get through the long as hell tutorial. Why is the tutorial so long? He just keeps on yapping. We're then let loose into Traverse Town, where the only grass that's present here is around some of the light poles, so as long as we just avoid them, we're good. Once we get through our card-slinging, backstabbing, box-throwing shenanigans, we get to the world boss, we beat its ass, 5 asses, I guess, get through the Axel boss fight. Got it memorized. I got it memorized, sir. Yes, I do. We're then free to choose which world we go to next, and because of that, we can get pretty far in this game. Agrabah and Olympus are just sand worlds. Monstro is just an animal, so of course no grass there either. In Halloween Town, you can kind of technically count some of that as grass, but for the actual playable parts, you're just on stone. You can get pretty far in this game. Really, do I have to play the whole thing, man? Do I really have to play it? I went in the order of Olympus, Agrabah, Monstro, and Halloween Town. It took me about 2 hours to get through those worlds. I will say, playing through this game for this video again, I like this game just a little, just a little bit more. Just a little bit. Kinda. I don't know what it is about it that's making me like it a little bit more, but I'm having a little bit more positive feelings towards it. Maybe it's just because I spent a little bit more time organizing my deck, but still, I find the card system annoying. Also, the bosses in this game, annoying as hell. Especially freaking Oogie Boogie. Fuck that boss. Oh my god. Anyways, we get through those first 4 worlds, then we get to Wonderland, which is where our grass-free adventures in this game come to an end. In the first room of this game, there is a door that is covered by some vines. The only way to break them is to break the corresponding vines on top of this platform, which is covered in grass. No way to get around this either. Can't really do it from jumping height because it's too far deep into the platform. You gotta touch the grass. So, let's just get the inevitable out of the way. Yes! Yes! I did it! Finally! I can do it! I can finally kill myself! Oh, thank you, Jesus. We're done with that. What's the next game? Yeah! Like Kingdom Hearts 2! Yes! 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 It's the GOAT. Bad! Bad! We are playing the best game ever made. I cannot wait. Let's fucking go! I may have overreacted just a little bit. Finally, we get to my favorite game of all time, Kingdom Hearts 2. We're gonna have some fun time playing this. I cannot wait to get into it. We get another blessed intro for us. Another second of footage to prevent from getting copy struck. And you and I, there's a new land. After that, we get introduced to the big goat of them all, Roxas. He's my favorite character in all media, like, period, in case you didn't know. Oh yeah, we're gonna go to Roxas City today. That's a real place, Roxas City. I always put dirty words wherever they put the blanks in the speech there. Did you do that too? All our ball gone? Huh?
You can't save
dick.
Why not?
First day in Twilight Town is just simple tutorials. Walk up, lock on. That's all you really gotta do. No grass to be seen here, folks. Yes, I'm so happy we get to play Kingdom Hearts 2. We then get to our next tutorial, the battle tutorial. I didn't know what save files used to be back in the day, so I always just like played this tutorial over and over again, so I'm used to this Cypher boss battle. I know it by heart. We get our equivalent to the Kingdom Hearts 1, choosing our power, and I usually go with just the middle one because that's just how... Oh, wait. Roxas has to chase the nobody, and to chase he has to go through the... No! It can't be true. It can't be. You can just skip that part, right? You can just skip... I didn't want to have to do this. Okay, fight the boss, fight Cypher, beat his ass. Cool. Here comes the nobody. He's coming to lead us to the mansion. In order to get to the mansion, you have to... Ah! No. No, I don't want to believe it. I don't want to believe it. It's not true. It can't be true. Okay. Here we go. Ah! No! 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 Don't talk to me right now, man. Don't talk to me. I wanted to play Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't get it. All right. Now that we've ripped the band-aid off, gotta go over to the next game. Now, what's the next game? Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. Okay. I think I'm ready to move on. Kingdom Hearts 358 Days over 2. That's how you say it. And it is 358, not 358. Kingdom Hearts, fun with words. I do like this game a lot, and it does feature my boy Roxas for the entire thing. So I'm happy if you're happy. We start on day 255. Slow down. Now I'm just playing. We get to see Roxas and Axel's friendship and where it's at that point. And then we go all the way back to day 7. Okay. Getting to play Roxas a little bit for the first time. That D-pad is a little bit hard to get used to because I've been playing on the analog stick for everything else here. Using a D-pad in 3D space. Always a recipe for success. Emphasis on the suck. You eventually get used to it, though. It's fine. Say hello to Organization 13, everybody. Hi, Xehanort.
Hi, Xehanort.
Hello, Xehanort.
Hi, Xehanort.
No, I'm Xehanort.
Hi, Xehanort.
Hello,
No,
Xehanort.
Are you Xehanort?
I'm
What's up, Xehanort?
Say hello to Shion. Roxas has a monologue. First mission in Twilight Town and the train station. Not the bad part like that. We don't want to go there. It's easy enough, and all the rest of the missions are just tutorial missions with each member of the organization. Marluxia is a and Larxene is a cunt. You probably noticed that I've not mentioned grass at this point, and that's because all of this stuff takes place in Twilight Town. The beginning missions are mostly 1 or 2 rooms, and there's like things that block you off from going to other sections, so even if we wanted to explore Twilight Town, we could. There is some grass stuff in the sandlot with like the trees and stuff on the side there, but that's super easy to avoid. And even when we're in the town square, the access to the mansion is mostly blocked off. The game's like, nah, bro, I feel you. I'm gonna give you something from last time. That was shitty of me to do. Just don't be gooning, okay? Is there finally a game that I really like that we can actually start playing? Holy shit. We get through the tutorial missions, and I don't like how they spread these out over different days. It's kind of making the game drag a little bit, but still. We're actually playing a game this time. We gotta listen to Sayax give us our missions every time. And fuck you, Sayax. I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to listen to you and your 5 triangles, maybe? Getting a little bit more free reign with the missions. We get to choose which ones we get to take now, with story important ones with keys on it and optional ones without it. I try to focus on the main story ones so I know that we don't have to touch grass in them. And, you know, I just decided, you know what, why don't we just do one for the sake of it? Let's see what happens. I got Marluxia with me. We going around the town square. We getting heartless fucking killed, and then we get... Oh. It's open now. Does that mean I have to go into it? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have chosen this mission? Oh, wait, we can abort the mission. Day saved. We just skip that day and go on our merry way. Not before I fix my blocks. I hate the blocks in this game. I could go on a whole rant about how I hate the block system. Not today. Because we got to get to some Disney worlds. And in this game, you don't get to choose which world to go to. You're just assigned it when you get a mission. And it just so happens the first Disney world we go to is Agrabah. It's like it knows. The developers 15 years ago knew that I was going to make this challenge, and so preemptively made Agrabah the first world in this game. And yeah, hey, I appreciate it. Missions in this world are surprisingly difficult. You have to do a lot of different things to go through it, and that Pete one, oh my god, that one's stupid. You gotta stay out of his line of sight, but his line of sight is fucking huge, and you have a D-pad, so you don't have really granular control, so you end up getting caught a lot. Some of the puzzles in this world are a little bit annoying too, just a little bit. Get around Pete, jump on the platforms, go in the cave, beat the shit out of some enemies, and we get the first round of Agrabah stuff done. Shion has plot shit to do, so she goes off and we're just left alone. With Axel, though. He's still there. Our next Disney world is Beast Castle, and... Wait. If I'm remembering correctly... Oh, please don't let that be true. Please don't let me... Oh, fuck. What I thought. So in order to get into Beast Castle, we can't just go through the front door. It's locked. The only way to get into Beast Castle is this crack on the side of the castle. And in order to get to that, you gotta walk through the grass. When you first see it, it doesn't look like grass because it's purple, and that's not what grass usually looks like. It's at night, and when you walk on it, it makes a grass sound, so it's grass. Got to day 73 with this, and it's much farther than I thought it was gonna be. It's not as far as Chain of Memories, but we actually got to play the game in actual Kingdom Hearts combat. It was on a D-pad, but I'll take it at this point. Still butthurt, though, over Kingdom Hearts 2. Why'd you have to take my bet? Nah, but seriously, that would be so cool. Birth by Sleep. It's a cool game. This is a game I was relatively late towards because growing up, I did not have a but playing it later on, I still love this game, so I'm pretty excited to get into it. As the intro plays here, let me talk about what I like about this game, the command dash system, which is the system that I think the cards should have been, because Chain of Memories, the cards are tied to everything, you know, including basic attacks and stuff like that, not just special and items. And I think that in this game, automatically refilling your meter and tying it to special attacks and items only was a good decision. I think it's what really made this It's everywhere. There's no escape. There's no escape. He can't leave unless he touches the grass. All right, let's get the inevitable done. Again? Seriously, again. Why is it with all the games that I really like, it's so short? We didn't do anything in this game without touching grass. It's over. It really is over before it even began. What the fuck, man. Poor Ventus, man. They put him through so much. We didn't even get to see Aqua. Aqua fans, they're crying in the club right now. Okay, maybe Recoded will give us something more to do. Not playing Coded, obviously, because that's a mobile game that I don't think anyone can even play at all at this point. I mean, you can, but not really. Maybe someday. Continuing in the DS line, we got Recoded. We get our second dive into the heart, and DS quality, same deal as this time, sword, bite me. And it's fitting, because this is an excuse to play Kingdom Hearts 1 yet again. How fun. We're popped straight into Destiny Islands yet again, and it's the same deal with this game that it was in Kingdom Hearts 1. Avoid the dark green spots. You should be good. There are some difficult spots here, like the Tidus fight here. There are some dark splotches that are around here, and of course we get knocked back whenever we get hit, so we had to be careful to attack them when the time was right. Make sure to not get knocked back. Fuck you, Tidus. Trying to get to the cave is a hell of a journey of itself because of these ramps here that go right into grass, and there's some dark splotches around there as well. I did do some training to make sure I was prepared when I was recording this video, and this ramp right here, goddamn, there is a green splotch right at the top right there, so I have to jump in the right spot. Ugh, it was frustrating. I got that shit down. Fuck with your boy. There's another little green spot you have to skirt our way around, and there's like this green part converging out right before the entrance of the cave, and since the D-pad is very bad with directions, we have to be very careful. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh, I gotta avoid that too. Oh, yeah, okay, good. We're good. Our first boss shows up, and this is actually, for this challenge, the hardest boss in the whole video. Even harder than one that's coming up. Because there's grass laden throughout this whole thing, and knockback in this game is pretty bad. Directional buttons, not that great. So any wrong move or wrong attack could lead us straight into it. First phase is alright. All you gotta do is attack his hands, and then watch out for the block explosion attack that he does. There's a pattern that you eventually get for those blocks, so you can avoid them. Second phase is pretty much the same, except there's more blocks this time, so we have to be a little bit more careful. That third phase, though, that's where you get a little bit tricky. Because it's just blocks, electric blocks, that knock you back so far, and the only thing you can attack is in the middle. And the only way to get to the middle when the blocks expand. And you have to be in the right spot when the blocks expand, or else you get knocked back. And there's only a specific window you can do it, and the window is random, so you just have to hope you're in the right spot that doesn't knock you back in the grass. Ooh! Do I reveal the sauce? Fuck it, I'll reveal the sauce. I use save states for this one. I'm sorry, okay? This one was like really hard, and I wanted to have a good, fun video and challenge for you guys, and I just wanted to get it right. I retried this boss like, I don't know, 10 times to get it right. I just kept on getting knocked back into the fucking grass because of those fucking electric blocks. Whatever, we retried a couple times, and eventually we get it done. I had to cheat a little bit, but it's worth it. We go to Traverse Town yet again, and it's the same story as it was in Enchanted Memories. Except there's clear grass textures on the wall this time. Let's just not touch the walls. Bada bing, bada boom, we get it done. By the way, I love how many different gameplay elements are in this game. Like, once you're in a side-scroller, and then you're in this shooter section, and then you're in the spot. It's really cool. But we do not get to choose the worlds that we go to in this game. It's a linear progression. And the first world that we get outside Traverse Town just so happens to be Wonderland. And it is grass right away. So I'm still hurting from Kingdom Hearts 2 just a little bit. It's starting to go away just a little bit, but getting flashbacks. Recoded, our journey has come to an end. I like you for what you are. People dismiss you a lot, but I still love you, okay? You're my baby. Mwah. Dream Drop Distance. DDD. After a brief tutorial boss fight, we are led into Traverse Town yet again. Same deal as this time, just avoid the poles in the center of town. We should be good. But actually not, because there's a lot more to Traverse Town this time. We'll get to that. First, we gotta get introduced to the World Ends With You characters. And the fact that this game has the World Ends With You characters, it makes this game... It makes this game...
goated with the sauce.
And also, we have two playable characters now. We have Riku and Sora dropping at different times. So we just got to avoid grass at each one of their little things. They explore the same world, so we should be good. Right? Like I said, there's a lot more to explore with Traverse Town this time around, but there's not that much grass in there. It's just mainly buildings. There is some grass here and there, but we can just avoid that pretty easily. It's not that big of a deal. Sora is the first character that we play, and there is a drop meter there, yes, but if we're careful, we should be able to manage. So we get to get through Sora's story in Traverse Town pretty easily. We get through that monkey boss. I'm not going to say a joke after that. And we get introduced to our first three worlds. The Grid, Prankster's Paradise, and Cité des Cloches, I think that's how you say it. Naturally, we go to the Grid first to avoid all the grass, because that's where all the good grass-avoiding people stay. Computers, it is the hardest world out of all of these. It's probably the one you should pick last to play, but we have a challenge to do, so damn it, we're gonna do it. I'll only get a little bit into it before I drop into Riku and continue his story in Traverse Town. Same deal as Sora, go through Traverse Town, avoid the grass, and then get to the monkey boss. And Okay, so I tried thinking of ways to fight this boss without trying to touch the grass. At first, I was like, okay, I'll just stay in the corner here and hope he comes over to fight me, and that didn't happen. I'll try to go forward and fight this boss, but then he removes the stairs, and I didn't dash in time, and Did I pause in time? I think I did. Yeah, I think I'm good. Well, we're in a predicament now, aren't we? If I unpause this game, we're dead. But if I drop back to Sora, who's in the grid, we should be fine. And knowing how dropping works in this game, it drops you at the exact point where you dropped initially. So if we ever go back to Riku, we would just be ending up right there again. I don't think it works the same with bosses. I'm not too sure, but I'm not risking it. So yeah, drop back to Sora. Let's continue our adventure only as him and no one else. I start grinding a little bit because I know it's a little bit of a harder world, so it takes a little bit longer for me to get through this world, but once I get to a Moogle, I bought as many drop me knots as I could get. And since that pretty much restores the entirety of your drop meter, we should be good for the rest of the game if we just have this. We then get to the Tron boss battle, and god, this thing is hard as shit if you're not prepared. I think I tried it like 5 times until I just said, fuck it, I need to grind. So I started grinding a little bit. I think I did it a couple more times, and eventually I got it. The next world is Prankster's Paradise, and yes, there is a lot of grass in this world. There's thankfully pathways to all of the important parts of this world. So all we have to do is just follow the pathways, and then we're good. All we have to really do is be careful when we do the roller coaster thing trying to get Pinocchio. If you jump down the wrong way, we could end up in the grass. After getting through the carnival section, we get to the water section. And this one was a little bit tricky. Because there's these little seaweed things that are sticking up in the ground there. And since they're coming out of the ground underwater, they're derivative of grass. I'm going to count it as grass for this time. So I had to be very careful maneuvering around this world. There are enemies spawning everywhere, so if I started battling them, I could accidentally bump into the grass again, so I made sure to avoid all of the enemies in this area. Ah! Stop spawning. Oh my god, stop spawning. Eventually we get to the world boss, which is probably the most annoying one in this game. I do not like this boss. Fuck, I'm just going to call it Hunchback World is next. The world is mostly pavement and stone in this one, so pretty easy to get through. And this is the lowest level of the worlds. So since we've been grinding in the higher level ones over there, this world is pretty easy to get through. Navigation just can be a little weird sometimes. Find a few dream eaters here and there, get through the door, and oh, I guess we're done now. We did get pretty far in this one, and it was a lot of fun dealing with the challenges. This one was probably the most interesting one out of them all. So yeah, our journey comes to an end. There. Good game. Not the best game ever, but still a good game. Moving on. Next up is... Oh, wait, yeah. They took these offline, didn't they? I can't play them. Yes. Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep 0.2, a fragmentary passage. In the collection, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8, Final Chapter Prologue. Some people might not even count this as a game. It's just a Kingdom Hearts 3 demo, but I count it. We first start our journey at... Oh. Alright, this one stumped me for about a month. I could not determine whether or not that freaking texture right there was grass. Because there's clearly a open pathway, kind of like Kingdom Hearts 1 thing, where it looks like moss a little bit, but it has the texture of grass. Honestly, I was stuck on this one for quite a while. I had to phone a friend. Hello, Mr. Key, or at Key of Time 15 on YouTube. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I heard you need some help.
Yes, I need your help. Desperately. I have a question for you.
Okay, yeah, ask away.
So, I'm making this video about grass, alright?
You're finally touching grass?
Dude, shut up. Alright. Is that grass? Because I can't tell.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's grass.
Fucking bullshit. I was really wanting to play this one, too. I really was. You know what, fuck it. You all heard what he said. He said that's not grass. That's what he said.
Wait, that's not what I said.
So we should be good. As long as we just jump on those places where there's clearly rock there, we'll be fine. Totally. There are some rocks with some grass highlights on it, but there's a path that you can take while we jump across it, and yeah, it's fine. Once we get out of that patch, there's a pretty clear path for us to get to the first fight of the game, and this one can be a little difficult. Because as we'll see in Kingdom Hearts 3, the rocking and attack speed of this game is a lot. It throws you pretty far. So I have to put myself in a place where there's not much grass surrounding it, so I don't get either one, knocked back, or two, try to attack an enemy and get flung into it. Thankfully, this one does have a little pocket that you can do that in, and I'm able to get rid of the Heartless with ease. Jeez. Aqua's already level 50 in this game, so she's pretty OP. Another battle vignette, this time with an even bigger opening with no grass, so this one's pretty easy. We then stroll our way into town where we gotta fight some clocks by Coldplay. It's pretty much the same story as Traverse Town. There's a little place where there's a tree and grass surrounding it. As long as we avoid that and some of these other like flowers and stuff that's hanging on top of the windows, good. There's enemies spawning everywhere in this town, but usually for this game, I just ignore them. But there was one time I was around the poles and I did get knocked back by an enemy and I was very close to touching the grass right there. I did get through the tree a little bit there, but thankfully I was able to land. Whatever, we get the clocks by Coldplay done, and we're able to cross the bridge. For Aqua Trauma later, we get to the mirror section. No grass at all in this section, so we just play it like we normally would. After our platform shifting, staircase grifting, and mirror flipping duties are done, we beat Mirror Aqua, give her some more trauma. It just never ends in this game. We get to the next section, and yeah, I can't front for this one. That's grass. I can't get around that. I'm sorry. There's a little bit of dirt there. It's grass. It's grass. So, last game. But after getting through all those games, we finally get to the big kahuna, Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, baby! Get to one of my other favorite games in the series. You're crucified in some parts of the internet if you say that. Another classic intro. Yes! Give me more, Mr. Skrill. We get our third Diamond to the Heart for this video, and it's looking better than ever. Oh my god, look how pretty. Unreal Engine 4 does wonders for this game. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to play this game. What am I doing? Choose our options, beat the boss, simple as pie. Sora back to level 1 yet again, so we gotta get Sora back on that grind set. Sora booking flights to Florida, because he going to Gainesville.
The planets were edging.
We arrive at Olympus to get our first taste of proper game. Oh, come on! Really? Wait. There's a rock right there. If I could just, like, jump immediately onto that rock, then let's go. I originally recorded this thinking that was the end right there, and that was going to be it, but I literally didn't think to look to the left of me onto that rock. So we can actually play Kingdom Hearts 3. A little bit, if you know what I mean. Sora's jump is pretty high and far in this game, and you have the dash ability immediately when you start the game. So as long as we just jump onto the rocks and avoid the grass parts, we should be good for the most part. Jumping our way over to the introductory battle, we have to be very careful with this one because there's some little grass patches here and there that if an enemy could knock into us, especially that big boy, it could knock us into the grass. So I just selectively attack enemies when I feel the time is right, and I get through it pretty good. And also, Donald and Goofy sacrificing themselves to touch the grass literally saved my skin a couple times. So thank you, Donald and Goofy. You're actually useful. Wait. Is this actually the first time we're using Donald and Goofy in this challenge? I mean, we have the cards in Chain of Memories, but I don't know if that counts. Holy shit, this is the first time we're playing with them during this challenge. Let's go! It spawns me in the grass again. But again, jumping right out of it, we're good. Sora's walk in this game is also pretty fast too, so if we don't time our walk just right, he could dash right into the grass. But again, jumping on the rocks when we can, and being as slow as we can when necessary. We meet Hades, he throws us deeper into the city of Olympus, and the city is mostly made of stone, so we should be golden, right? Wrong! Well, we were able to make it through, but still. Wrong! There are 3 parts to this section that involve grass. If we do a little wrong move, we could be in trouble here. The first time we see some more grass is trying to save this woman on the pillar. There is a pathway that is blocked out for us to completely avoid the grass. Just be careful with those enemies. I smack on your bitch with the water. I fuck on your bitch with the water. Water literally saved my life. The second tricky spot was this hill right here. And of course in this game, you slide down hills. You don't just walk down hills. So you have much less fine control of where Sora goes with this. One wrong move and we could be out. But if you look at it a little closely, there is a very narrow path that we can follow to avoid all the grass. So we just got to position ourselves right before we slide down. We got it. The third one is, well, it's just intimidating me at this point. Look at it. Come on. You know you want to touch the grass, Matt. Have a life. Hercules. What are you doing? Get out of that. You're making me look bad. With Sora's jump and his dash, right across it. Being careful on this path and jumping before we enter here, we get to the Rock Troll. Boss is pretty easy. I did select Proud Mode for this because I know Proud Mode is basically like standard mode and any other Kingdom Hearts. Huh? What? Game. What the fuck just happened? This is not a joke. This legit happened while I was recording this. Like, it didn't close the game. It just closed the window and changed the resolution of my monitor, so the windows got messed up. This legit has never happened to me before while playing this game. Is the game trying to stop me? I ain't gonna be stopped now. I'm way too deep into this shit to be stopped now. A silly game can't do shit to me. Or maybe it knows what's coming. and is trying to prevent me from doing it. And in that case, I appreciate your concern, but we gotta finish this, man. We're too deep in now. Beat the rock troll, see Meg, and yeah, I knew it was coming. The game knew it was coming too, apparently. Nowhere else to jump, nowhere else to move. There that goes. We didn't get far in this game, yes, but at least we got to play some of it. Unlike the other numbered titles like 1 and 2, we just barely got to do anything in those games without touching grass. Wish we got to play more, but we did something. That's better than nothing. That's the last game, isn't it? Oh, wait. Melody and Memory. And wait. This is just a rhythm game. You just walk on a flat plane. You don't touch grass at all in this game. Yes! Yes! I can play a Kingdom Hearts game without stopping anymore. At least for this challenge that I've self-imposed on myself. Let's go! We did it. Beat the challenge. This game saved my goddamn life. You're a transmission from God. Isn't that so fitting, though? Ending the video off with a game that you can play forever without touching any grass. That's what it's all about, isn't it? The whole point of this video at the end of the day was to show how far I can't even fake it. So that was the video. That was fun, wasn't it? I put a lot of my soul into this video. I know it sounds like a stupid thing to put a lot of effort into, but I just wanted to try out so many new things with this video. I just had so much fun making it. Now, hopefully you guys enjoy it too. This is a style that I hope to revisit in the future. And, you know, maybe we can do some other game series as well. Hope to see you guys in the future. And remember, touching grass gives you cooties. Grass is the new cooties, guys. Don't even get in. Don't even get in. I'm going to be playing a Kingdom Hearts game that was lost to time, never to be seen. That is, until today. So earlier this year, I posted a video called Exploring Kingdom Hearts in VR. Exploring some fan-made maps in the world's feature in Steam VR. I had recently gotten a Quest 2 for Christmas, and I wanted to make some content with Kingdom Hearts around it. There is an official Kingdom Hearts VR experience, but that's only on the PS4 with the original PSVR, and no, I'm not doing that. So this was obviously the next best thing. Video came out, didn't really do so well. I blame Tom Hanks. I don't know why, but I blame him. Whatever, usually I just move on from that stuff. But all of a sudden, things got very interesting. A week after I posted that video, I got a message from a developer who wishes to remain anonymous. They revealed to me that while working at a VR gaming company, they got a chance to officially pitch some games to Square Enix revolving around some of their IP. None of which ended up happening, but one of the demos that was created was for a Kingdom Hearts VR game. Not an experience, but an actual full VR game. And since they really enjoyed the video, they sent me a copy of this demo to play around with, and also to show to you guys. You know what? They actually gave me a summary of the events that led to this, so let me just say it in their own words. In 2019, I developed a Kingdom Hearts VR demo, initially envisioned for a presentation to Square Enix. This demo was part of a larger ambition to create a comprehensive Kingdom Hearts VR game, inspired by the original Kingdom Hearts. Regrettably, the project encountered setbacks following an unsuccessful pitch of a Final Fantasy VII Remake VR game to Square Enix. Further discouragement came with the cancellation of Square Enix's internal project on a Final Fantasy VI Magitech Armor VR game. Oh my God, that was so cool. These events led to a loss of momentum, resulting in the discontinuation of the project. Despite these challenges, the project did yield a partially completed Olympus Coliseum Cup demo and a fully explorative Traverse Town level. My inspiration stemmed from experiencing both the official Kingdom Hearts VR experience and the Final Fantasy XV Monster of the Deep Final Fantasy XV VR game. Both of these titles, in my view, did not fully capitalize on the potential of adapting the Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy series into VR. With this project lying dormant on a hard drive, I decided to bring it to the light for the Kingdom Hearts community. It's an opportunity for fans to witness what could have been a deeply engaging and immersive Kingdom Hearts VR experience, showcasing the unexplored possibilities of this beloved franchise in virtual reality. They kind of made a comparison to Fragmented Keys, a game that was in development by an external studio that didn't end up happening. Although that one was under the direct involvement of Disney, this wasn't, and probably why it wouldn't have ended up happening. But I'm really excited to show it to you guys because this thing is freaking cool. But before we dive in, 3 more things to keep in mind. 1, this is just a demo, not a full game, just a pitch for what a possible game would have been like. It's a little bit bare bones and it's a little bit glitchy, but that's okay. 2, this will not be made available for download to the public. I wish I could share this with you guys, but for legal reasons, I can't. And 3, if you want to see the full unedited raw gameplay of this demo, I will leave a link to a video in the description and the little eye in the corner right there that you can go check out if that's what you want to do. And for those of you who are asking, yes, I did do my due diligence and research when it came to this to make sure it was legit, and they are a trustworthy, reliable source. So yeah, no more further delay. Let's go. I moved to a different spot. All right, let's open up Steam Link so we can get this little thing started here. Also, sorry for the shitty audio quality of recording this off my iPhone, and I didn't think of a good way in time to record my voice for this, so. All right, guys, welcome to Kingdom Hearts VR, the somewhat official, almost official Kingdom Hearts full-fledged VR game that was gonna be pitched, but it didn't end up happening. Still though, pretty cool. As you can see, we are in Traverse Town here, at least the first district of it. You can hear the music jamming in the background and the whipping sounds coming out of my keyblade. Doesn't like what I'm so vocal with my hands, I'm sorry. Like they mentioned in that statement, this is a fully, somewhat fledged version of Traverse Town in Unreal Engine 4 in VR. And while it may not be like entirely fully fledged here, like you can't enter any of the buildings in here, can't go to the other districts, this is just meant to be a concept pitch showing what a Kingdom Hearts VR game could be like. Very early, very rough, but it really does show what a Kingdom Hearts VR experience fully would be like. And experiencing it here myself, oh my god, this is so cool! The map that they recreated here is kind of have that Kingdom Hearts 1 feel, so it's not like entirely realistic or anything, but that's Kingdom Hearts. This is what I experienced growing up, and it's just a brighter, colorful, just super awesome version of what I already grew up doing. Like they mentioned in the document, this is only one of 2 maps that came with this, the other one being Olympus Coliseum. But I wanted to start off in Traverse Town just to give you a little bit of an introduction, a little bit of a tutorial on how Kingdom Hearts VR works. First off, let's go over some of the controls. So you have some basic controls like left stick moves you around. When you move right stick, it's supposed to move your camera, but I have not gotten to that to work, so pressing the button like that usually helps me out, so I've gotten that to work like that. You have your A and your X buttons on the Oculus controller, and these both jump. Whee! Whee! If you press A and hold it, then you're able to glide. Whee! Really nice quality of life feature. They do have a lock-on system in here, and you press either B or Y to lock onto something, and there will be a health bar on top if it's an enemy. You have your triggers and your grab buttons, and those do what usually is done in VR. Those are the basic controls. Let's go over the special features of this demo. So on each hand, you have this cool glowing watch kind of thing. This here is called the Gummy Watch. The Gummy Watch, ladies and gentlemen. Look at it, behold it. The Gummy Watch is basically the UI you would see in any other Kingdom Hearts game. It has your health in green, your magic in blue, and your drive meter in yellow. Kind of obvious, but when you get hit, the green meter goes down, and when you use magic, the blue meter goes down. And there are some logos in there that we'll see in the next demo. It is on both hands again, so you can just flick on over to see what your stats are. That's the left hand. The right hand has the
big, girthy keyblade.
Look at that. I'm Sora, guys. I am the real Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I'm Mr. Disney. You can attack by just flinging the thing around. Obviously, it's been making the sounds as I've been moving my hands. But there's more to combat than just that. So in order to start using magic, what you gotta do is take your left hand, hold it over your right hand, grab it, and your Keyblade will light up. Obviously, it's going orange-red, so this is fire, and there's 4 different magic in this game. There's Cure, Fire, Lightning, and Ice. To use your magic, you just point your thing forward and just shoot like that. And Sora does this little ad-lib there. As you can see, the magic meter has gone down. Let's run out the magic here in a minute, and there we go, turns pink. We're refilling our magic here for a second. You can also shoot upwards, and it will rain fire, or whatever magic you use, down onto the enemies. So, there it is again. Woo! Yeah! That's so cool! Again, just turn the Keyblade to switch your magic. Boom. Another cool thing that you can do is if you hold the grip button on the right controller, and you can do that. You use Sora's famous Keyblade throw ability. Something they didn't mention in the document, but I have noticed, is that if you just do a little flip like that, it just switches out like that. But if you do a hard flip, it goes way out like that. That's so cool, momentum-based stuff. Oh boy. Also, left button dodges. Forgot to mention that. So that's Kingdom Hearts VR in a nutshell. Pretty freaking awesome, pretty freaking cool. I want to start exploring Traverse Town a little bit. Let's go. Let's go over this chest a little bit. This is one of the cool things in here. Just like you do it in the game. You just tap it twice like I'm a child. The big old sign saying Traverse Town, in case you forgot where I was, like a saloon kind of thing. Let me in. Let me in. I kind of mentioned in the last video, but in VR, you notice a lot more things than you did before in the last one. Oh, I touched grass. I gotta quit. I'm sure a lot of these signs are custom made, but I did really take a notice to the full signage that is on the item shop, the Duck Family item shop. Let's go get some potions real quick. Huey, Dewey, and or Louie, I want to get some potions, please. Can I enter? Oh, that's where Sora starts with Dream Drop Distance on that balcony right there. I think this is actually based off of the Dream Drop Distance Traverse Town. So, hey, where's Neku? Neku, my friend, where are you at? Where are you at? I want to talk to you. I want to have a fun time. I want to live out my childhood dreams, please. Accessories. Sid from the hit game Final Fantasy VII. Really detailed a lot of the stuff here. I really appreciate that. That's really cool. We even have this back alleyway here. Oh, what's the posters for? Mr. Pirates, Pirates of the Caribbean. Is that a fist? It's like a fist almost, like is this a revolutionary poster, or is there a mutiny in Traverse Town? Whatever the heck that says, they did not like that, whatever that was. That was some shit. You're not getting the gig in this town again, buddy. Oh, there's the ship again. Was that in the game? Was that in Kingdom Hearts 1? If that was, there's, oh man. Mr. Geppetto, I've come to your shop to do some stuff. I would hit that so much if this was real, and they would probably hate me, and they'd kick me out. I would be banned from Traverse Town. Hey Noogles, I want to make the ultimate weapon. I know I don't have the equipment, but can you just help the boy out for once, please? The menu! Let's see what's on the menu for today. That, oh, ice cream, I can see that says ice cream. I guess that says ice cream. And that is 2 X's. Inflation is out of control, guys. Oh, there's the window panes are so cute as well. Oh man, I love it. I love it so much. Let me in. Let me in. Never noticed how it looks like a man, like a Dr. Robotnik or something. Oh, let's get it in there right. Oh, open. Damn. Oh yeah, I forgot to show what cure does. So if you hold up while doing cure, it doesn't like drop down like this. It does that. Again, just the first district of Traverse Town for this map. Let's go to the other map. Start getting to the real juicy stuff.
But before we get deeper into it, I kind of want to discuss the Kingdom Hearts VR experience for a little bit, just a little bit. I put up a poll on my community page asking some of my followers what they thought about Kingdom Hearts VR experience, and half of the responses were, wait, what? Lots of people forgot about this thing or just didn't even know this existed. Which is kind of understandable, to be honest. For one, it's a VR game. It's more of an experience, like it says in the title. And it wasn't really promoted that much. It came out around the same time as Kingdom Hearts 3 and it kind of got overshadowed by that. It was just a cool little extra on the side. I didn't get to play it, but the people who did play it said that it was a cool little thing to experience these cutscenes and be there with the characters and the story and all that stuff. But again, not really a game per se. There was a part with Olympus Coliseum where you could flick your Keyblade around or swing the controller around like a toddler. There's nothing inherently wrong with that if they build it from the ground up to be an experience. That's a cool thing, and it does that job well from whatever. But ladies and gentlemen, what we're about to see is an actual Kingdom Hearts VR game. It has gameplay, it has combat, it has interesting mechanics, it has movement, and also just a general vibe of you actually playing Kingdom Hearts in VR. I did another poll on my community page asking people if they wanted a full Kingdom Hearts VR game, and the response was, well, maybe this can change your mind?
Alright guys, let's go. Phil Cup, 9th seed, 5 little guys. Here we go. There's Donald and Goofy. Hi! Hi Donald, hi Goofy. They're fighting alongside you. This is like the game. Okay, let's flash and start fighting. Come here, fuckers. Get out of here. Shoo. Shoo, I say. Shoo. Let me use my Keyblade flip here. Oh, look how much damage that does. It does like 30 damage. And while you hit him with like the regular Keyblade, it's only like that, like 8. Woo! Okay, we just jumped real high there. Yeah, the physics in this demo are a little bit weird. Get in, come over here. Get over here. Ah, there you go. They even have the pellets in this game to give you your health back and the magic and all that good jazz. So it's all here intact. Let me look onto an enemy here real quick and show you what. Whoa, okay. See, we have an HP bar right there and showing how much health they have and stuff like that. Yeah, the camera even locks on when you glide around there, so you can keep your eyes on it. Come here. I'm a poke your butt. Wah! That happened again. I'm just gonna use a magic on this. Hey, come here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Fire! Fire! There we go. We did it. Goofy, are you okay, bud? Do you need some cure? Even does the victory sound thing, you can recreate it. Like, yeah! Yeah! But we gotta keep going. Fill Cup, 8C, little big dudes. Alright, Goofy, I need to give you your health. Oh yeah, they can, they don't necessarily die in this demo, but they just kind of like kneel over and just act all sad and shit. Let me switch my magic up here. Because you can freeze enemies, and they actually like freeze in place like that. They can't move, they can't do anything until I fuck them up. Get out of here. Oh wait. Oh, I used it on the wrong one? No! No! I'm an idiot. I should probably lock on to you, see how much HP you have. That's a good idea. Hey, come on. Come and get me. Come and get me. You think you could get me like shit? Come on. Be a man. Be a dude. Come on. Beat the fuck up. That's what I thought. Let me heal my man. And it heals them. Ah! Not me though. Oh, I got some pellets. Yeah! I don't know I can't see what I'm doing. I don't see what I look like. If I look like cringe, I don't know. Oh, we got 10 of them now. Uh-oh. Alright, let's get back to fire there. Oh, now I'm dying, okay. Can I get a cure, please? Yay! I'm cured. You can't die in this, but I'm just gonna pretend like the stakes are high like you would in an actual game. This would be so fun. Fire. Got you. Can't spam the shit out of that. Your magic meter will go down. Play the game like you're supposed to, Matt. Ugh. That momentum feature is really good in this because it can get you very far with this. That Keyblade throw. And it does so much damage too. Kind of broken, honestly. Oh yeah, you can have the crown on the gummy watch now, so you're Sora for damn sure. Oh wow! What the fuck was that? Why did he jump at me like that? Disrespectful. And you can even hit him on the ground, I think, when they're in that ground state with that Keyblade throw. This thing's so broken. Yeah. You get lost so far when it hits you. It's kind of fun though. It is kind of fun. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Goofy. And you're frozen. As you can tell, I'm just frozen like this. Big guy gang. Oh, we got 3 big guys. Let's fuck them up. Let me get a different sound effect for Sora to do. Thunder. And it does that lingering effect too. That is so cool. Does it? I haven't seen if does it like automatically redirect. No, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, it's so weird. They're the same size as me, this Heartless. I can imagine now why Sora has a red demons in front of my face. I can see why Sora is so fucked up by them right now. That takes away all your magic if you do it like up like that, I think, so you gotta be careful to not do that. Wow! I just want to beat the level, man. Yeah, she just shot over to and came right back. Hi, Goofy. Yeah! Me and Goofy are best friends. Oh, Donald, are you okay, bud? You okay, bud? Okay. Let me help my friend. He's like, they're still trying to fight, but they can't. You see what I mean? Yeah, that did it. Oh, okay, but you need some more. I will get you in a second, Donald. I will help you in a second. I need to help myself too. I'm gonna die. And can I help my good friend? Can I help my good friend, please? Give me some magic. Yes, thank you. Oh, I'm dead. That's bad. But me and Donald will heal together. But I'm dead.
But I'm still going. I'm a zombie.
No matter. I'm Sora. I'm the greatest that ever did it. So, respectfully, like, fuck off. Wait, does he still do that? Oh yeah, that's right. So when you like die in this, technically, you have unlimited magic. So dying in this is actually kind of a good thing. Especially when we're trying to get this bad boy up here. How'd you get up here, my friend? You shy? Are you scared? Are you nervous? I'd be too, man, if you were dealing with this motherfucker who literally is dead right now, but is still kicking your ass. I would be too, my friend. Just keep on doing that, and we'll get the guy. There's a lot of times where they've been behind the cage too, so I've had to use the magic. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! What are we on now? I think it's C5 or C6? C4. Big henchmen. Big boys. But I'm dead, guys, so I can just spam magic forever. Okay, let's be serious. This is so cool. I'm actually playing Kingdom Hearts in VR, unlike that other kind of thing where it was just like a cutscene basically, and you got to do a little bit of interactive elements. It wasn't Olympus Coliseum 2, but I think it was just, just very bare bones, very on rails, But this one, you can actually move around, you can actually flick your Keyblade out, you can use your magic, you can do all this stuff. This is a really great basis for what a full Kingdom Hearts VR game could be like. In terms of what it could have done, they could have done like a total recreation of a lot of the worlds in Kingdom Hearts 1 specifically, I guess. They could have done, Olympus Coliseum, like a full Olympus Coliseum VR game. That would be so cool if they actually got like the bosses of Hades and Sephiroth and all of that stuff in there too. That would be so much fun. I'm just geeking out right now because I'm having so much fun with this, and I'm so happy that this is actually kind of a thing, and I get to own this, and I get to play around with it whenever I can, and I'm going to take advantage of that whenever I can. Alright. Wait. Yeah, that. Bro tweaking on there. Another victory for the OGs. Ha! Where am I pointing? I am pointing the exact wrong way. Yeah, I'm like this. Seed 3. 7 shadow, 3 big. Alright, let's go. But again, like I said, this is just a demo, so there are some things that are broken, there are some things that are off about it. Again, like I'm dead right now and I'm still moving around, that's just something that I haven't programmed in, the death animation and the whole programming for that. Some hit detection can feel a little bit weird, this magic thing can be a little bit wonky sometimes as well. Not work sometimes. But this is, again, made by one person, and I'm so amazed by what this person can do. This just shows how good of a vision they have and how good they understand Kingdom Hearts, of the magic and the Olympus Coliseum and the Keyblade and just the overall experience of Kingdom Hearts, feeling like you're in a Disney movie, playing with Donald and Goofy, having this fun time. You are just right there with characters, and especially with this. So whenever I say there's a problem with this, it's all in good love. It's all in appreciation, and if this was ever turned into a full thing, I'm sure it would have been a badass thing. So, thank you so much for sending this to me. I'm very appreciative of it. This is an awesome demo. Let's keep going. Another victory for the fucking OGs. Let's go. Nothing to it, that's what I say. Yeah! Second seed, alright, we're almost done. So we got half big, half little. Alright, let's fuck them up, guys. We are the greatest. Since I have infinite health now, let's cure everybody. Can I save you, Goofy? Or are you guys, fucked up? Beyond belief. Hey Donald, you okay, man? You need some help? I don't think I love this so much. Does it change the amount of hit points that it is too if I do like a flip? Okay, yeah. Yeah, it does. That's even cooler too. I'm discovering things every time I boot up this game. Get out of here, boy. Get out of here, boy.
I'm glad that they're still fighting too, even though that they're basically dead. Oh yeah. Last one. Let's make it count. Big showdown! Exclamation point, exclamation point. Alright, I'm on. I'm on something today. I'm on something today! Get on my foot! Fuck with me! Fuck with me! Get out of here! I'm getting close combat today. Get out of here! Fuck off! Yeah! Fuck off! Yeah! Get out of here! Y'all not ready for me today! Let's get out. Let's get on. I'm defending my fallen brethren who are still fighting with me today, but I'm still gonna avenge their deaths. Yeah. I'm ready. Oh, I'm getting sweaty over here. I'm getting into this. Whew. Come on, let's go. Let's do a blast for the last one. Get him out. Oh yeah. Oh no, wait. There's the last one. There's the last one too. Okay. We're going out in a blaze of glory. We're going out in a blaze of. Get out of here. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Yeah. Fuck. 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 Yeah. Oh no. You ruined my victory animation. Alright. It doesn't do anything after this, it just kind of stops. Hey guys. Don't feel so down. We won! We won that shit. Sorry that you guys died. Just didn't have enough power of keyboard, but we won despite that. We're all zombies now, we're gonna live forever, and it's a existential nightmare that we're about to live in, but at least we got to use together. Love you too. That was fun. So that was Kingdom Hearts VR. Big thanks to the person who sent this to me. I am forever grateful. Sorry it took so long to get this video out. I just want to say thank you so much for creating this thing, for sharing it with me, and letting me be able to share it with everyone else in the community. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you got something out of this and saw what a cool product this would have been if it was officially released. I don't know how well the Kingdom Hearts VR experience did, but apparently there was a little time where Square Enix was experimenting with a lot of VR stuff, and this might have been part of that. So, cool little piece of history, nonetheless. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that's gonna be. And yeah, bye. Opinions. People have them. They have them about Kingdom Hearts too. Kingdom Hearts fans, I would say, are one of the most passionate out there, at least in gaming. Kids people bought the games when they were kids because of that Disney logo on the box, continue to play it throughout their childhoods and adulthoods. They have a connection and love for the series that goes very deep. That makes them very passionate about the Kingdom Hearts series as a whole. But, you know, also because of that reason, Kingdom Hearts fans are very opinionated. Well, I decided to ask the Kingdom Hearts community what their opinions are on certain things, and hoo boy, did I get some good responses. This is gonna be fun. You've probably seen that I have done some polls on my YouTube page. I want to do some Kingdom Hearts polls to get opinions from Kingdom Hearts fans, because that's what I mostly talk about on here. No one else was doing them. I'm the most original YouTuber out there, okay? I've been doing them over the past 2 months, and they've been pretty successful, I would say. I've done about 35 polls so far, and over those 35 polls, over 450,000 votes have been cast. I thought, you know what, I've been doing these so much that I might as well make a video kind of discussing it. The ultimate compendium of Kingdom Hearts fans' opinions on certain things, of questions that I thought to ask. Yay! I'm just gonna go over what the poll is, what the results are from the poll, and kind of give my opinions on it, and sometimes show some comments that I think were interesting. I'll leave timestamps to all of the questions in the description, so if there's a certain topic that you're more interested in, you can go down there, look at it, and just skip to that part. I also had some non-Kingdom Hearts polls as well, so if you want to see the responses to those, I'll leave some of those at the very end. But yeah, no more delay. Let's go. All right, first poll. Best Kingdom Hearts intro. Numbered titles. Before we go any further, I just want to clarify that I do separate polls for the non-numbered titles because you're only allowed 4 options on YouTube polls. So just to allow them to have their space and also to allow people to express their opinions on those certain topics, I created ones for the non-numbered ones. But anyways, yes, best Kingdom Hearts intro. Of the numbered titles, Kingdom Hearts 1, Kingdom Hearts 2, and Kingdom Hearts 3. And the winner is Kingdom Hearts 2. By a big wide margin. 70% of people thought Kingdom Hearts 2 was the best Kingdom Hearts intro, and 1 and 3 are pretty much tied. I mean, you know, Kingdom Hearts 2's intro is
an absolute classic. Kingdom Hearts 2 was the first Kingdom Hearts game that I got, so I have a lot of nostalgia based on that, and I know a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia based on Kingdom Hearts 2. There's a lot of bias towards it, rightfully so, in my opinion. I think it does a really cool recap of the first game in Chain of Memories. I didn't know what was going on. I was 6, granted, but I do think it was a really nice way to kind of introduce people into the next story of Kingdom Hearts, and that rocks part at the end. I'm planning on making like a Kingdom Hearts opening retrospective video at some point, so look out for that. And you know, Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 3's intros are fucking amazing as well. I love them to death, of course, but you know, Kingdom Hearts 2, just the song, the visuals, the story, just everything combined together, it's great. I love EDM, so it's Kingdom Hearts 3 for me. Now let's do the non-numbered ones. We have Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, 0.2, and Days. The other games don't really have one, so I just went with that. So for the non-numbered ones, the winner is Birth by Sleep with 49% of the vote, almost half the vote, which I think is big bullshit. Honestly, I prefer Dream Drop Distance because of just the way they kind of did that with the orchestration and stuff like that, and I just think it's a really cool thing and concept that they did with that. So me personally, I would choose Dream Drop Distance, but I understand why people choose BBS, and you know, that's a perfectly valid choice. And 0.2 is really pretty, but you know, the way they did Dream Drop Distance is really great. Dang, 0.2 easily is the best. Not enough people like EDM. When do you think Kingdom Hearts 4 will come out? I think this is the only poll that I did without any images on it. And the options were 2024, 2025, 2026, or even longer. And the winner for that is 2025 with 48% of the vote. And I would personally probably agree. I do think that this game is going to come out sooner than Kingdom Hearts 3 is in terms of the timeline of development. Started development in 2012 and didn't come out till 2019. They are reusing a lot of the same technology from Kingdom Hearts 3. They're not going in a new direction with that. They're going for a new art style, but I do think that using the same engine tools will be very, very beneficial for them. It's Unreal Engine 5, not 4, but it's using a lot of the same technology. I do think that will make development shorter, and I would say probably mid to late 2025 is my personal guess. But you know, something could come up in the meantime that could cause it to get delayed to like 2026, or the second biggest option shows even further. I do think it's going to be a quicker turnaround than what Kingdom Hearts 3 was. Hopefully. When we have 7 other side games building up to it.
You think it's so fucking funny, huh? Funny.
Pray, my friends, pray. If we all pray, it will be shorter.
I think. Best Ultimate Weapon in the Kingdom Hearts series. Numbered. Didn't put that there first, sorry. 1, 2, and 3. The winner is Kingdom Hearts 3 with 57% of the vote. This is not something that I can personally talk about that much because I've never gotten the Ultimate Weapon in the games. I'm sorry, I'm a fraud, I know. I don't play Kingdom Hearts to be the best or to get everything or 100% or anything like that. I just play the games because they're fun and I like playing them. And so, you know, I don't go for the top at everything, and so I've just never gotten the Ultimate Weapon before. I've gotten close in Kingdom Hearts 1, but I haven't got it yet. In terms of overall design, Kingdom Hearts 3's, I would say, is the best. All the Ultimate Weapons were spiky, but there's a lot more spikiness on this, and more spikiness means more happiness. I do think they progressively got better, as the poll shows right here. I do think Kingdom Hearts 1's, I don't like the yellow color of it, I don't know, which I think Kingdom Hearts 2 blue looks better, and the red just looks so much more badass. So I think this checks out. I think this is a accurate choice. Boo-boo. PP. Best Ultimate Weapon non-numbered. Chain of Memories, Birth by Sleep, Recoded, Dream Drop Distance. Again, we're gonna have the problem of not something I can really comment on. In terms of this poll, the number one results is Birth by Sleep with 56% of the vote. Recoded, Chain of Memories didn't get shit. I don't have anything to say except, yeah, that's the result that people chose. Democracy. Oh boy, this one got people riled up. Best worlds in a Kingdom Hearts game. Numbered. I said mainline in there. I'm sorry. So for the numbered games, what has the best worlds? Kingdom Hearts 2 with 67% of the vote. Guys, I love Kingdom Hearts 2. You love Kingdom Hearts 2 as well. We all love Kingdom Hearts 2. But come on, man. Kingdom Hearts 2 worlds aren't like horrible or anything. They're good. They are good. But they are pretty much always. Kingdom Hearts 1s are kind of the same like that, yeah, but there's a lot of charm that they put into each individual room. Kingdom Hearts 2's ones is basic hallways, pretty much. Kingdom Hearts 3's, they're much more open, so there's a lot more stuff to explore, and there's a lot more stuff to do. And I know you might say, well, there's a lot less focus in that case, but I do think the bigger area to explore in Kingdom Hearts 3's worlds are much more fun. It's much more enjoyable. It's much more seamless than the previous Kingdom Hearts game. So if I was to choose, I would choose Kingdom Hearts 3 personally. World choices, as in the movies that they chose, I'd probably go with Kingdom Hearts 2, but world design overall, Kingdom Hearts 3. Yeah, this one got people in a tizzy. This had 191 likes and over 250 comments. This is how I know y'all are BSing. Let people have their biases, okay? I'm biased to Kingdom Hearts 2 sometimes. Give me a break. Here's the best worlds in Kingdom Hearts games for the non-number titles. Again, I'm only allowed 4 options here, so I was limited to what I could do. So I had Days here, Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, Chain of Memories, and the winner is Birth by Sleep with 60%. I think Dream Drop Distance's world choices are better, especially visually, like the Tron stuff. The Fantasia world in of itself could probably put it at the top of this list. That's like top 5 worlds in Kingdom Hearts, period. You know, me personally, I would probably say Dream Drop Distance is my favorite out of this list. Birth by Sleep, I think it's really cool that they went with a lot of classic Disney fare for the worlds in this game, because of course it sets earlier in the Kingdom Hearts timelines. I think it just being 3 separate campaigns and having to experience the stories of the worlds in 3 separate parts. If you're not playing it in the right order, it can be very confusing. And I know it's the same in Dream Drop Distance, and I don't like the drop mechanic, but I do think the way they told it in Dream Drop Distance was better. Days worlds are just, it's fine. And Chain of Memories are just basic retreads of Kingdom Hearts 1, so it's just nothing too special about it. Out of these 4, only BBS has Zack. No contest. Best in the Destiny Islands trio: Sora, Riku, and Kairi. What's the best way? Sora. I don't think I have to do a build up to that. I'm just playing. There's some debate to it. Sora got 75% of the vote, Riku got 20%, and Kairi, bless her heart, only got 4. This is, again, overall not the specific game, like Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, or whatever. Sora's, is the main character, especially in the first game. I think he's a very great reflection of, like, a whimsical child and a person who's, all about exploring and stuff. Kingdom Hearts 2, he gets a little bit more mature. In Kingdom Hearts 3, you could argue that he didn't get mature enough. And over the years that the series has been going on, he didn't mature in the way that he should have. For me, Riku is a very close second. His story is the tragic one. He's the emo guy. His story about his battle with darkness and how it overcame him and how it's affected him over time and how he's been able to deal with the consequences of those actions. Out of the Destiny Islands trio, I think Riku has the best story, but overall, I think Sora is the better character. I think they're pretty much like a tie for me. Sora, Riku, and aren't the coolest trio, but definitely the most iconic. The big thing nowadays is that is hated that nobody stole her fucking name. How could they? Up to the next trio, the Seesaw trio. Which one is the best in that trio? Roxas, Axel, or Xion? And the results show Roxas was 71% of the vote. So Roxas is, hold on a second. So Roxas is probably my favorite character in all of media, period. Really great box cutter, by the way. His whole story is just so tragic, such a relatable thing for me personally throughout my life. He's the nobody of Sora. He only exists because Sora killed himself in Kingdom Hearts 1. Led to him to being manipulated by the organization, led to him being lost, it led to him being betrayed and separated from his friends, and taken through this whole journey of discovery and becoming his own self and, just learning to be a person. And I think that's something that I think a lot of people can relate to. People who feel lost throughout their adolescence and feel like, they don't belong. I live with Tourette's, and so I'm a person who, felt very different and very separated from other people. So I can relate to his story a lot. And so I have a very deep connection with Roxas, and that's why he's my favorite character, of all time. Axel is kind of a badass, very smooth, very suave, but, the story, I think, is very much there with Roxas. And, Xion shares a very similar story to Roxas. You could claim that her stuff is even more tragic because of just her circumstances. That ending to Days is just... ugh. I think they just gave a lot more cooler development and story to Roxas, so I think I would heavily agree with this. Best in the Wayfinder trio: Ventus, Aqua, or Terra. So who's the best in the Wayfinder trio? Apparently it's Aqua, with 62% of the vote. Here's my thing with the Wayfinder trio, alright. They're very mid to me. I'm sorry. I don't know, maybe it's just because I played BBS much later than the other games because I was disconnected from Kingdom Hearts for a while and I didn't own a PSP. Missed out on BBS when it first came out. I don't think there's an absolutely horrible character in Kingdom Hearts. Out of the options that were given for these trios, these are probably my least favorite. That's just my thing. Aqua, I'm just gonna be honest here, I think it's because people think she's hot. I get why people didn't like the other two as well. Ventus is Roxas if he was an actual baby. I know that's kind of the point, that he's innocent. I think they're trying to emulate Sora in that case. I think just Jesse McCartney's voice was just a little bit too lower to kind of get that across because he'd gotten older since Kingdom Hearts 2, and it doesn't really convey that childlike voice. And Terra, no. No. Am I experiencing the darkness? Is this what the darkness feels like? Don't let the darkness consume me. I don't know what Jason Doring's directions were in the booth, but I don't know if he was given the best ones. I know Terra is just supposed to be this very dark, and he's supposed to be the Riku of the group, but I think it's just, he's just so low energy. I don't know, man. And yeah, I guess out of this listing, Aqua would probably be up there for me, but I do think a lot of this is because she's hot. Story-wise, I think Terra's story is better, but just the way he is as a character, I just don't know. Aqua Sweep, Aqua Sweep, Aqua Sweep. And so finally, to conclude this trilogy, what is the best trio in the Kingdom Hearts series? And the results are the Destiny Islands trio with 54% of the vote. And yeah, they're the most nostalgic. They're the most remembered ones. Sea Soul trio is a close second, only just because Roxas is in there. Wayfire trio at the bottom, I guess that kind of makes sense. You're probably starting to notice that I do agree with a lot of the opinions in these polls. The Orphan trio, the Emo trio, the Daddy Issues trio. Tough choice. So we're going to go into the next kind of related series of polls here. So best Sora design. Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, and Dream Drop Distance. And the winner is... Who would have thunk it? Kingdom Hearts 2. Starting to notice a pattern here. I don't really know what my favorite would be, honestly. All the designs are so classic. Tetsuya Nomura is one of the best artists in gaming, period, and every design that he makes is so fucking badass and great. Part of me likes his Dream Drop Distance design because I think it's a very good mix of the 1 and 2 design, and those are my favorites. If I had to pick a favorite, it'd probably be 2. Kingdom Hearts 3's designs is kind of muted for me. I don't know, maybe it's just because of the images that I chose for this poll. The colors on the new designs are a lot more muted. Stuff going on doesn't automatically mean good, but if we're talking about Kingdom Hearts, gotta go all out with it. Gotta go crazy, and I think Kingdom Hearts 2 design does the best with that. But Kingdom Hearts 1's, it's a close second. I love all of them. That's the attitude to have, guys. Best Riku design. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, and Dark Riku. Out of these options, the most popular one was Kingdom Hearts 3 at 45%. I can see it. I know I just complained about the yellow and the Ultimate Weapon, but the yellow that they chose for Riku designs, I think it's really cool. Kingdom Hearts 3's design is... I do like the checkered pattern on there, and I think it's really cool, but it's not the one that I personally choose. Hate to be that kind of guy, but Kingdom Hearts 2. I just like the beltiness of Kingdom Hearts 2 designs. I don't know. So many belts. He looks like he just got back from a boxing match or something like that. He seems like he's battered. He's been through battle. He's been through a lot. I really like that design because of that. Card key keyblades. Interesting, though, isn't it? He drives a really nice Prius. I don't know why Dark Riku is so low, though. I think his design is really cool. That's why I put it in here. Completely nerfed my boy's drip. Best Kairi design. Out of 1, 2, and 3, the best is Kingdom Hearts 3 with 55% of the vote. Yeah, I'd probably agree with this one. There's a lot more cooler stuff going on her design here. Kingdom Hearts 1's design, you know, I think it's supposed to be just a very childlike design. You know, it works best for that, but I don't really prefer it. Kingdom Hearts 2 design, kind of an evolution of that, but I do think that the stuff that they did with the Kingdom Hearts 3 design for Kairi, I think it's really cool. I like all the buttons that it has. I like all this cool, intricate details that it has. If they gave her Kingdom Hearts 2 hair and this outfit, I think it would probably be just way over the top for me. But yeah, Kairi's design, Kingdom Hearts 3, really great. Sucks to how it ended up, though. Screw Kairi's clothes. I want her personality back. All right, Roxas or Ventus? Which one is it? Roxas by a fucking mile. Poor Ventus, man. He gets the short end of the stick, man. But Roxas, again, is my favorite character of all time. I just think if Ventus wasn't as just, I don't want to say annoying because that's just mean, but annoying. I think it would be a little bit more even, but the Kingdom Hearts community has spoken, and they have buried this man compared to Roxas. Democracy. I kind of alluded to this earlier, but which one has the best story in Birth by Sleep? Out of the 3, apparently Aqua has the best story with 64%. The main part of her story is pretty good. I think going through the worlds is much better with her. For the majority of it, I think that Ventus ending and stuff like that, I think it's really sweet. But I just do think Terra's character arc, if he wasn't as boring, I think he'd be much higher on this list. I think that ending is really great. That boss fight can eat a dick. I do think his story is the better in terms of just his character, but I think overall maybe just Aqua edges out just a little bit. I have to say
edging, didn't I? And yes, I do agree that some of this is probably because people think Aqua's hot. Everybody commenting about how amazing Terra's story is, but Aqua has the most votes for some reason. Best secret boss in Kingdom Hearts 1. Xemnas, Phantom, Kurt Ziza, or Sephiroth. And the best is Sephiroth with 70% of the vote. Now this is one that also I can't really comment on as well because I've never actually beaten the secret bosses in Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 1 is not a game that I personally have a lot of time in. Grew up a lot more with Kingdom Hearts 2. Have played these bosses before. I'm a person who just sucks at Kingdom Hearts in general, so I've never beaten these bosses. I think they're a lot of fun. I think they're really cool Easter eggs that they put in there. Kind of a Final Fantasy tradition with these secret bosses. And these bosses are really nice and creative, and One Winged Angel during the whole Sephiroth boss is just... So yeah, I think this makes sense. Best Kingdom Hearts Dearly Beloved / title screen numbered titles. And the winner is Kingdom Hearts 2. Why do I even ask these questions? I know what the answers are going to be. Again, I have to agree. Again, no disrespect to any other Dearly Beloveds. They're all amazing in their own right, but we have to pick our favorite child at some point. I think the very somber nature of the Dearly Beloved on the title screen and the image that they used on that, I think, is a very fitting one. The stakes and the emotions in Kingdom Hearts 2 are much higher. I think the title screen and the song reflects that. Kingdom Hearts 3's is probably second for me because of just that Dearly Beloved, that piano on fire meme that just... She went off on that one. I don't know if I would say it's better than Kingdom Hearts 2's Dearly Beloved, but whew, it's pretty close. I guess it's also because I didn't spoil myself with the Dearly Beloved before I played the game, so that was a very magical experience when I first played Kingdom Hearts 3. And Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 3 are tied on this list. I wouldn't agree with that personally. I would put Kingdom Hearts 1 last. Kingdom Hearts 2, it edges out for a reason. We're doing a lot of edging in this video. I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 4. Dude, Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to be fucking insane. At least it better be. Or else I will write a very angry letter to Yoko Shimomura explaining how upset I am. All right, for the non-numbered titles, we have Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, Melody of Memory, and Days. Again, sorry, I can't. I'm only allowed 4. The winner is Birth by Sleep with 44% of the vote. Now, all of these could probably be tied, in my opinion, because all of these other ones are just so amazing. Because Dearly Beloved is such a good song. No matter how you interpret it, it could be amazing. If I had to choose... Honestly, I might pick Melody of Memory. I just like what they did with it, okay? I think it's just really cool. The jazziness of it, I think it's really nice. I'm a music nerd, okay? I think it's really cool that they went with a different direction for it and matching the musical theme of the game and just doing a lot of cool stuff with it. I think it's really nice. Birth by Sleep, it's very similar to Kingdom Hearts 2's. I think the tone of the game matches that. All these match the tone of their separate games. I just really like what they did with the Melody of Memory one. And also the art in the background of Melody of Memory 2 and just having that kind of memory kind of topic in there. I think it's really cool. Ooh, this one I have a lot of opinions on. Let's go. Should Kingdom Hearts 1 get the remake treatment? And this is one of the most popular ones with 21,000 votes on it. And by remake treatment, I mean the like a Final Fantasy VII remake kind of thing. Just a full-on recreation of the game. And people said yes. 72% of people said yes. Now, I don't agree. I think Kingdom Hearts 1 is fine the way it is. Kingdom Hearts 1 has not aged all that well in certain places. We'll talk about that at the end here. It's the first time they attempted a style like this, so of course it wasn't going to be perfect the first try. The platforming and the camera are the biggest complaints with this game, and those are my biggest complaints too, and that's why I didn't play the game as much growing up, coming from Kingdom Hearts 2, obviously. I do think overall as a game, it holds up, and you know, it's already been kind of remade for the HD remixes, so, you know, it doesn't necessarily need a full-on remake. I think if they made a Kingdom Hearts 1 remake, it would take away valuable time for continuing the series, for new games. I think if they tried to do a lot of stuff they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake and do a lot of different things with the lore and try to create a whole new universe, it would just be a mess. It's not aged in certain areas, but I think it's something that you get used to and you get over it after a while. I have a whole video on it if you want to go check it out. I'd rather have a game that takes place during Kingdom Hearts 1 through Riku's point of view. That would actually be fucking badass, though. I would agree with that. Which of these Kingdom Hearts games do you think should get console ports? Days, Recoded, or Union Cross / Dark Road. Days and Recoded were infamously not ported over in the HD remixes, they were just cutscenes, and Union Cross is the big mobile game with a bunch of story stuff in it that's been left out. And in terms of this poll, people agreed that Days should get ported over, with 74% of the vote. Days, Me personally, I like Recoded better than Days in terms of gameplay. Story-wise, Days is better. Gameplay-wise, Coded is better. You could go either way with that. I do think that there's a lot of story stuff in Union Cross and Dark Road that needs to be told, and they tried to do something with that back cover, but it just didn't work. I think if they tried to do some more story stuff on console and not try to keep it exclusive to these mobile games and not have people try to look up cutscenes on YouTube for it. Personally, I would like that to get ported, but Days, they did some improvements to the gameplay. I think it'd be a really good thing. Oh yeah, I forgot that the Wii U has a DS emulator on it, so you could technically get Days on there if you try hard enough, so do that if you want. Best Kingdom Hearts ending number titles. And the winner is, why do I even ask anymore? Story in Kingdom Hearts 2 just raises the stakes overall and just does so many more cool things, and I think the ending is a really good one with them going back to Destiny Islands and completing that arc from 1 to 2. They might only be there for a little while until King Mickey says, hey, motherfuckers, I need you. I do think it's a satisfying ending. A lot of people don't like Kingdom Hearts 3's ending. That's one of the biggest debates here. I'm surprised it's at number 2. Remind did redeem a lot of that, so that's why I put the with Remind on there. So maybe that's why it's a little bit higher than Kingdom Hearts 1. Remind did fix a lot of it. But so yeah, I think this list pretty well sums up my opinions. I think Kingdom Hearts 1's ending, it's a very good build up into a next thing, but you know, Kingdom Hearts 2 very neatly ties all that up. Now for the non-numbered titles, we have Enchanted Memories, either one, Days, Birth by Sleep, all of them combined, or just another ones because I just wanted to cover all my bases on this one. And the winner of this one is Birth by Sleep, with 58% of the vote. Yeah, combined all together, I think the ending is probably the best out of these. Keyblade graveyard scene is just altogether really, really nice. The way that they left this off for each of the characters to have their stories be a very tragic altogether from where it started, I think it's a very cool thing. 358 over 2 days, just the way that story was told, I think is the best way they could have ended that. So it could go either way with that one. But people chose Birth by Sleep. Democracy, bitch. Best secret ending time. Ooh. Another Side, Another Story / Deep Dive, The Gathering / Birth by Sleep, or Yuzura. And the winner for this poll is Another Side, Another Story, Deep Dive, with 58% of the vote. I would agree with that, Stu. The way they did it, the way they rendered it, the way with the aesthetics and the rain and the city and stuff like, it's just so fucking badass, man. I've always been interested to see what Roxas looked like under that hood in this ending right here. The Gathering is a very interesting one. It's very cool. It always creeped me out back in the day whenever I looked it up on YouTube, as it was called Kingdom Hearts 3 at the time. The aesthetics with that is really cool, but I think it's just way more badass with Another Side, Another Story. And who knows how much will get paid off with the Yuzura one. We'll just have to wait and see. Best Kingdom Hearts secret ending non-numbered. This is the one with the least amount of votes, so I don't know what that says. Blank Points, A Fragmentary Passage, Signs of What's Next / Destiny, and Another Guardian of Light. And the winner is the Birth by Sleep stuff. You're starting to notice another pattern. I don't really have much to say on these ones. They're not like pre-rendered, fancily animated or anything like that. There's just Jesus Terror's the next game. That's all you can really say. That's all I really have to say on these ones. There it is. What? Oh boy, this is a big one. Should Sora be a Keyblade master? Yes or no? Ooh. 87% of people said yes. 13% said no. So I think in terms of overall story progression, he probably should be a Keyblade master at this point. This motherfucker saved the world like 3 times already. Yes, he's done some very irresponsible things with his powers, like using the power of waking to try and find Kairi and, you know, leading to the whole mess we're in now. So, you know, that could be a very big hit against him. My guess would probably say yes. I would probably want him to be Keyblade Master at this point. Maybe that would be something they could end Kingdom Hearts 4, or maybe like Kingdom Hearts 5, or whatever they choose to take the series in for the future. That could be like a satisfying ending to wrap up the whole series like that. But, you know, it just depends on how deep we're in the story now. That would probably be the way to end the story. Just how the story's gone on. But I understand why he hasn't got it yet, because he's been kind of irresponsible in some cases. Was Flow Motion a good addition to Kingdom Hearts? And the people said yes. 85%.
said yes. I asked this question because I know it's controversial with some people. I never really got that though. I think some people just think it's like way too fast or something, but I always thought it was very fun. I thought it was very, creative. I thought it added a lot more elements to exploring the worlds and stuff, and it added a whole new element to the world designs and everything. That's one of the big things that I like about Dream Drop Distance. It may go overboard in some places, but I do think they did a very good job on that game. And I think they did a very good job of implementing it as like a basic feature in Kingdom Hearts 3. I think they did some really cool things with that. Let's not forget, Sora created the dab. He did, though. Ooh, I had a lot of fun with this one. What do you think of the card system in Chain of Memories? I like it. Or no! Mash X to win! And I guess it's because of the way I phrased this that made it a little biased, but 72% of people said no. They did not like the card system. Now, I'm a person who likes simple things, all right? I'm a simple guy. I like to mash X to win. I know Kingdom Hearts is not just mash X to win. It's a meme, okay? Calm down. People took this way too seriously. Simple combat of Kingdom Hearts, it works for what it is. There's a lot of customization to it, but at the very end of the day, it's very simple, it's very easy to grasp, and it's very fun. Adding the whole card system into it is it's just not fun. It's just not fun. Some people like to just, if I don't die every single time I go into a boss battle and it kicks my ass, then the game's not worth buying. There's a strategy to it, but usually you're in the middle of battle, and you have to strategize in the middle of battle while everyone's trying to attack you, and things are going on, and it can get very hectic and very confusing and very just not fun, especially during those boss battles. That Larkscene boss battle can eat my She cheats. She freaking cheats, I swear. It's not the worst system in the world. There's worse systems out there, and it's not like XCOM or anything like that, but I just think the way they went about it, especially with it being a Kingdom Hearts game, didn't work for me. Just didn't work. It's not a horrible game. It's just not a game that I play often. And I guess it's mainly a Chain of Memories kind of thing. On the GBA, it made more sense, but when you put that combat in 3D, it just didn't work. And if anyone says skill issue in the comments, you're a big meanie. The cards should return. No, they should not. No, they should not. Should Kingdom Hearts get its own show / anime? And 83% of people said yes. Those 17% of people, I don't know who pissed in their cereal that morning, but what's wrong with you? I think the direction that they were going to take the original pilot was the best way to go. Having a new world each episode, having it ultimately end with like a 13 episode or 14 episode season like that. It would be so cool for a kid's show. It would also be a very enjoyable just show in general. I think a lot of kids would have enjoyed that growing up if they went through with it. And in anime, I think if they wanted to connect it to the lore and they wanted to go into the more mature themes and do a more deep dive in it, I think going the anime route would be a much better choice. Either way you slice it, it would be great. So yeah, those 17% of people, what are you thinking? Get with it. This one was kind of interesting and kind of fun. Who would win in a one-on-one against Xehanort? Ansem, Xemnas, or Braig / Lucio? I've been seeing a lot of posts about like Star Wars stuff saying like, oh, if you went against Darth Vader, which of these villains would win? I've always thought those were very fun, putting villains against villains. In this list, people thought Xemnas would win against Xehanort with 65%. His lightsabers and his whole laser aesthetic would just be really cool and awesome. Xehanort's a very OP guy, so they'd have a lot of trouble going up against him, either one of these people. Anyone in this list that had a chance, it'd probably be Xemnas. We haven't seen Lucio at his full Keyblade power. That's very true, so, this list could change. Which of these one-time Kingdom Hearts worlds would you like to see return in full? Deep Jungle, the Land of the Dragons, Disney Town, or La Cité des Cloches? I think that's how you say it. Hunchback World. That. And people wanted Deep Jungle to come back with 36% of the vote. Now, I know it can't come back. I made a whole video about how that can't come back because of legal shit. And a lot of these worlds were only in there for one game because of, good reasons, except for Deep Jungle 1, and that's legal shit. But I don't think these will come back because they're just not that interesting. If out of these, I'd probably want Deep Jungle to come back in a world where that could be a possibility, or the Land of the Dragons, Mulan. That would be really interesting to come back. I forgot to put Timeless River in here. I'd probably replace Disney Town with Timeless River, but yeah, if this was on this list, that'd probably be number one. All right, here's the one with the most votes. Has Kingdom Hearts 1 aged well? Yes, no, kinda. And 62% of people said yes, 30% of people said kinda, and 8 said no. I'm in the kinda category. Like I already kind of went on a rant about that before. Just the platforming in the camera. That's the only thing that really aged bad about that game. If they just fix those things up and like maybe a new remaster, if that's ever gonna happen, that would be a really cool thing to have. I'd have to change a lot of the level design though, and they probably couldn't do that, so that's gonna be a big issue, and it'll probably stay like that for any future releases that they do. The story, the combat, Just the overall feel of the game has aged very well, and with that HD remaster, the graphics have aged very well in most parts. There's some places where it hasn't aged all that well, but that's very few and far between. Best combat. Don't fight me. I don't care. I will fight you. All right, we've finally made it to the last poll for Kingdom Hearts. As of recording this video, this is the last one. Would you like to see the MCU in Kingdom Hearts? And 57% of people said yes. 43% said no. I don't think I did this poll well. I think I phrased it the wrong way. Would you like to see a Marvel character have its own world in Kingdom Hearts? That's the better question I should have asked. MCU is not in the best place right now. Diminishing returns in the box office, losing fans all the time, a lot of complaints going on about it. I'm not really invested in it anymore myself. I stopped around Quantumania because I was just, I can't do this anymore. And so having the MCU in Kingdom Hearts might be a bit of a gamble. In terms of, specific characters, you could have like a Spider-Man world in there. That would, if Spider-Man gets in Kingdom Hearts, the whole town would be hearing about, have like an Iron Man or a Wolverine or something like that. Would be so cool. But, MCU in particular, having all those characters in it, I don't know about that. I mean, in terms of just appealing to the most people, they might go down that route. And we do have Big Hero 6 in there already, so we do have one Marvel property, but, General Alliance, that doesn't really count. Marvel and Kingdom Hearts in some form, whether it be, just an individual character or MCU, I think it would be a cool idea, but I think MCU in particular probably wouldn't be the best option there. Star Wars. That's what we need in Kingdom Hearts.
Shit. Here we go again. Hey guys, Matt here again. What's up? I'm back with another Kingdom Hearts discussion / opinion based video for you guys today because, of course, I have the best Kingdom Hearts opinions in town. But yeah, I haven't done one of these kind of videos in a while, and I thought, since I'm doing a lot more to improve my content as of recently, why don't I kind of do one of these videos again? I know some of you may be saying, hey, Matt, you've already done this video before. And yes, I did. I really shouldn't have, but I did anyways, so here we are. Yeah, that video has not aged well. Let's put it lightly. I do not like it at all. One, look at the recording quality of that, the lighting, dude. Like, I recorded shit on potato back then. And two, I mean, just look at that list. I was in a weird spot when I made that video. I was low-key kind of like getting out of Kingdom Hearts at the time. I was in school. Some other games were taking a lot more of my interest during that time. I hadn't played a lot of those games recently at that point, and so my opinions were kind of skewed based on bias from my younger self. I just don't think they are very fair judges of those games the way I was talking about them in there. But that was 4 years ago. Lots of stuff has changed since then. My chair's blue now. I'm 24 instead of 20. I have my own place. I pay my own bills. I'm a goddamn adult now. I hate it. But I have been getting back into Kingdom Hearts recently, and I've been playing these games again for that reason. This is the official lowkeymatt Kingdom Hearts game tier list. Let's go. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you can have both the power of God and anime on your side. So I have this tier list pulled up here on tiermaker.com from Sidekick. Got the games down here. We're ready to go. Just a few things before we get into it. We're going to start at the bottom, make our way up to the top. Remixes are listed on this thing, but I will not be including those on here because, of course, those are just collections of games. Also, I'm not going to do separate ones for the Final Mix versions of the games. If I talk about a game, it has a Final Mix version. That's the version I'm going to talk about. Hi, Editing Matt here. Just a few more things. If a game has an HD version, I'm going to talk about that version specifically, except for Chain of Memories. I'll get to that. This is also my list, so my opinions. Feel free to disagree if you want. My opinions change like any other person over time, so this list could be different like a year from now. This is just my list as of right now. Also, this is not a scripted video at all. This is just me spitballing, giving my bare opinions on the game, so it's not going to be an in-depth analysis of each game or anything like that. But I do go into detail as much as I can for each of the games, so there it is. Let's go. First section is didn't play, as in I haven't played these games. First one is Kingdom Hearts VCast. Of course, I haven't played this game. 99% of people probably haven't played this game either. Some people might not know what this is, so if you don't know, brief explanation. Back in the early 2000s, Verizon had this service called VCast where you could download games and other things like that onto your phone. It was pretty much a primitive version of the App Store that we have today. This is before the iPhone or anything like that, so we have the number pads and shit, and we got by with that. And one of the games on that service was Kingdom Hearts. It was just called Kingdom Hearts, but of course you just call it Kingdom Hearts VCast. You can look at some gameplay online. It was a pre-iPhone, early 2000s mobile game with all the tank controls that God intended. Looks like them trying to put Kingdom Hearts on a phone back in 2004. That was a rough time, I bet. But the VCast service shut down, and along with it,
with this game. So it was lost media for quite a long time, but people have been able to dump the files of the game online, but there's not an emulator to play it as of right now. So yeah, I can't really give my opinion on it. I'd love to play it though. It's kind of legendary at this point. If there's ever an emulator that is able to play it, I'd love to play it. But from what I can see, it's jank, but it's understandable jank. The best kind of jank. The other game that I'm putting on this is Coded. Not Recoded, just Coded. The original version of Coded was also a mobile game that was exclusive to Japan. I think it was exclusive to Docomo phones, if I'm not mistaken. Same deal with this. Service went offline a long time ago. Haven't been able to play it. That is, until I was right about to record this video, 13th Vessel put out a tutorial on how you can play the demo version of Coded on your computer. There's apparently an emulator that is working that can play at least the demo version. You can find out how to do it on your computer and have some fun with it. You can only get so far in the demo, and I don't think there's a way you can use a controller with this emulator, so you have to use your mouse to manually click the buttons yourself. So it's not a fun experience, I would say. I technically have played it, but not really. If I had the full original version of it with the phone in my hand, then maybe I could give an opinion, but as of right now, no. So with those two out of the way, let's get to the actual juicy stuff, the stuff that I actually have stuff to say about. So we have F tier right here, and I guess just to clarify before we go any further, I don't think there's an absolutely horrible Kingdom Hearts game that exists. F tier on here is about like a 5 out of 10 in my books. Again, this is my tier list, so I'm going to do it how I want. There's only one game that's going to go here. Wabam. Union Cross, Dark Road, Unchained Key, whatever you want to call it. It's my least favorite Kingdom Hearts game. And it's weird because I used to be really into this game. When it turned into Union Cross and the way for Kingdom Hearts 3 was becoming very, very frustrating. And you know, there was a story in this game that you kind of needed to know to get the full context of the Kingdom Hearts series going forward, so you better play this game, dude. And so I was into this game for a while. I got to a pretty high level. I think I was like 180 or something like that. That is until I got to one boss. I can't remember which one it was. I did not have a good deck of medals or whatever to get past this boss, and pretty much the only way that I could get past this was to give Square Enix money and go into the gacha system and hope that I got a good medal. And I was just like, nope, I am not a person that really spends money on microtransactions at all. I spend it sometimes, but the only time I've ever done like a loot box was in CSGO, and that was one time, and I was like, nope, never doing that again. So I put the game down, and I was just like, I'll just watch the story cutscenes on YouTube. And I think that's how the majority of people experience the story in this game, was on YouTube. And that's what made it really frustrating playing this game, because one, story updates were very few and far between for quite a long time. There was like months to even like a year between major story updates sometimes. And two, the American version was way farther behind the Japanese version of the game, and the Japanese cutscenes were translated literally hours after they were released and put on YouTube. That just made playing this game even more frustrating. The gameplay itself, it's there, really just there. I mean, it's a mobile game, so I'm not expecting like console quality tactical RPG gameplay or anything like that. But, you know, it's just basic. Swipe your medals, tap the screen, kill the enemies. You win! Standard mobile game stuff, but that doesn't make it good. It's just very monotonous and boring, and it really just feels like filler to get you to the cutscenes. And I know that's rich coming from Kingdom Hearts, but it really feels like the gameplay is just there. It's just a vehicle to get you to the cutscenes in this game. Way more than any other game in the series. And I know what you people are typing, oh, but it's a mobile game, it's free to play, so of course they have to charge some money in some way. You know, I understand that, yes. But that doesn't make it fun. Don't get me wrong, I think the story in there is intriguing. You know, I think it sets up a lot of cool mysteries about the Kingdom Hearts universe, and it really does a deep dive into some of these cooler concepts that's going on in here. And the art style that they went for this game, I think is really cool. I think that little cartoony stuff fits the Disney aesthetic very well. So there are some redeemable qualities of this game, but overall, just nah. Dark Road, I think, did a lot better job with the gameplay, with the card system that I brought back for Key. Also put Key in the didn't play. I didn't really play that game either. I think bringing that system back was a little bit cooler, but still not enough to where I could say it was fun at all. And you can't even play this game anymore. They took it offline. At least Union Cross. I think Dark Road is still playable, but I think it's really weird, that situation with that game. Literally the only way you can experience this game now is on YouTube, or when a community revival project comes along at some point. I'm hopeful that Missing Link is going to do a better job with this. They're going for a more traditional style of gameplay with this. I just hope the mobile game stuff does not bog down the experience too much. It has to be there, I know, but, you know, it just sucks that it has to be there. Union Cross, going in F tier. That's the only game I'm putting in F tier. Now let's move on to D, as in D. There's two games in this tier, and I'm going to put them on at the same time. Bop, bop. Chain of Memories. Both versions. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. For any of you people who love this game, who think this game is great and all that stuff, good for you, but I just can't. The card system. I just can't. I'm sorry. I've listened to every single reason and excuse that defenders of this game have given over the years, and I've tried to take that into account every time I've tried to play this game. I've tried it many times to see, like, okay, what is it I'm missing here? What is the thing that will make this finally click for me, and I'll start liking this game? But every single time I do it, every single time I try, I just feel the same way. I just do not like this system. Nothing will convince me otherwise. I swear, I have given it a chance. It just does not work for me. And I've even played the GBA version, because in my original tier list video, I couldn't place that anywhere because I hadn't played that version of the game yet. Now I have, and I still feel the same way. Maybe I like it slightly more in the GBA, but not by much. I think the thing that really gets me about the card system is that basic attacks are tied to this battle system. Everything revolves around these damn cards. I think the way they set it up was just wrong, because I think they could have done this system right if they did two things. One is not type basic attacks to it, just keep it special attacks and items. And two, automatically refill your cards when you're out. Don't make you stand there and recharge the cards yourself. I think those two things would have made it work, at least for me. It really just isn't fun. It's not fun. Again, at least for me. At least compared to the mainline Kingdom Hearts game. I get that some people just like to have a little bit more strategy and a little bit more of intricacies into their battle system, and that's why they like this game. And hey, if you like it for that reason, go ahead. That's really good. But again, if they fixed those problems and just made it to where it was an accessory to the actual main battle system of just, mashing X and basic attack buttons, I think it would have been much better, but they didn't do that. The GBA version slightly edges out just a little bit because I think I like the pixel art style, and I don't like how they just directly translated the GBA versions of the levels into 3D, exploring these box worlds and stuff like that. I just don't like it. But of course, there are some things I like about this game. The story, I think, is very interesting. I think it's a really cool way to expand the Kingdom Hearts lore from Kingdom Hearts 1. It sets up a lot of good mysteries, little breadcrumbs of story that you can follow into the next game. I think that's really nice. The ability to choose what kind of room you're going into next with those cards, I think that's a cool system too. A cool way to use the cards in there. And having Riku's story in there is a pretty awesome addition too. I like that they got to expand his story a lot with that addition. But again, the main battle system with the cards, I just can't do it, man. I'm sorry. Call me basic, call it skill issue, whatever you want to call it. I just don't have the patience for this game. Again, I really gave it a shot, but at least as of right now, it's going in D tier. Those are the only two games in D tier. Let's move on to C. C! First game going in C tier. Well, bam. Kingdom Hearts 0.2, Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage. Say the whole name. Now, I get some people would not even call this a game per se. It's more of just like a Kingdom Hearts 3 demo. I'd like to talk about in this video because I talked about it in the last one and I have changed my opinions a little bit. So I'll talk about it here. In my original video, this was in B tier. I have lowered it to C for this time around. And I think that's mainly just because, again, it really is just kind of like a Kingdom Hearts 3 demo. There is some cool stuff to play in here. I think it is a very fun experience. Kingdom Hearts 3 is a fun game. If you don't know, this was originally, I think, supposed to be a part of Kingdom Hearts 3 itself, but they took it out, made it its own thing, put it in 2.8 for people to have like a Kingdom Hearts 3 little demo experience. I mean, I agree this probably would have been a little too long as like a little prologue or a section of Kingdom Hearts 3. So I think it's cool that they actually let us do this and play this. But yeah, again, just basically a Kingdom Hearts 3 demo. It's not long. Oh, you can beat it in about 2 hours. I think it would have been lower if the, Kingdom Hearts gameplay wasn't as good, but I like Kingdom Hearts 3's gameplay a lot. I'll talk about that more when we get to Kingdom Hearts 3 itself. 0.2 is an overall good game. It's a good game. It's a good teaser for Kingdom Hearts 3. But what really drags it down is, one, the length kind of comes out one year and out the other. It's not really a memorable experience. When I was replaying it for this video, I forgot a lot of things about this game. The voice acting also in this is not really great. I'm not a big fan of how Aqua was acted in this. It sounds like she was just, oh, what is this? What is that? That's how she says it. Not the best performance, I would say. And the story, it's just weird at first, especially the ending of this thing. It is weird how they try to connect it to Kingdom Hearts 1. If there's ever a Kingdom Hearts hater out there that wants to show how awfully plotted the story is, you can use the ending of this as an example, because it just shoehorns Aqua into the story for no reason. We could just know about Aqua because he didn't see her. He didn't see her. And Mickey didn't say anything about Aqua this whole time because, like,
Oh, but I thought you'd go in there and try and find her. Oh, that's rich. Why does it get rid of his clothes? What you could have just had him in his regular old clothes the whole time. I get that I had to work it in somehow, but why even try? It still baffles me how that works. If there's someone who can explain how that works and actually make it make sense and not seem like it's a retcon, please let me know, because it's one of the strangest Kingdom Hearts decisions that's ever been made. Cool that it led to Kingdom Hearts 3, but the story was just not there. It might be controversial to be putting it on this list at all, but I do consider it its own little experience, so I'll count it. Next game in C tier. Making these tier lists, there's going to be some stuff where some people are going to disagree, and I think for this video, there's going to be 2 placements that will fill that role. This next one's going to be one of them. Well, bam. Dream Drop Distance, DDD, Kingdom King D. Yeah, this might be controversial to some people. I think a lot of people put this a little bit higher than this. Let me start off this one with the things that I think are really good about this game. Gameplay is really fun. The flow motion addition to this game, I think it's a fun feature. The levels are designed around it, so it's fine. And the way they designed it made it really fun to play around with. It's not like they just straight up ported worlds from Kingdom Hearts 2 and just put flow motion in them. No, that's not how they did that. And I think it was a necessary change as well, because I think going into this next generation, like Kingdom Hearts 3, the worlds were going to get a lot bigger, and there's going to be a lot more stuff added into it. And so you had to put a lot more space and a lot more movement into the system to really make it feel good, and I think that's what they tried to do, experiment with in this game. Combat, is standard Kingdom Hearts combat. I think it's fun. I think it's great. They brought back the command deck for this game from Birth by Sleep, and as I'll talk about in the Birth by Sleep segment, I think it's a cool system. I think it's all right. Dream Eaters were something that I was really skeptical on for a while, but I think that Dream Eaters, playing around with them, I think it's a fun feature. I think it's a really cool thing to get connected with them, and I do feel like a genuine connection and love for these things when I'm playing around with them. And they kind of did like a Nintendogs, Tamagotchi kind of thing with this, and they're helpful in combat in certain situations. I think Dream Eaters are pretty cool. The world selection in this game is great too. It's only like 5 worlds, but the worlds they do select in here, they put a lot of effort and time into. They went with a lot of worlds that were not used in other Kingdom Hearts games. Tron, I think, is the only returning one. Fantasia World alone that puts it in like S tier of worlds. The world ends with you characters being in there. But moving on to like things like the story, it's just kind of doesn't really leave a huge impact on me. It sets up Kingdom Hearts 3 a lot. It's Kingdom Hearts teaser number 1 out of like 5, and it shows what kind of direction they're going to take for the bigger main plot of this game, and kind of reveals a lot of crazy things that are going on with like the real Organization 13 and Xehanort and how he's controlling people and stuff. I think there's a lot of cool reveals in this game. I don't know, it just doesn't really stick with me. It's just not really something that left a huge impression on me personally. The drop mechanic can be a huge issue. I think it's a stupid system. If they wanted to do multiple different campaigns, why didn't you just split them up into separate campaigns like you did with Birth by Sleep? Just doing 2 separate campaigns, have them meet in the middle, that, and not trying to have this dumb drop mechanic or anything like that. I would have appreciated that. Also, those drop things before you go into a world, I don't even know why they put those in there. They wanted to do a pun with the 3D, so they had to make an excuse with the pun, and so they put the drop mechanic in there. Again, it's just something that doesn't really stick with me. I don't know. Maybe it's something that I'm missing in this too. Again, I've been playing Kingdom Hearts games recently. This is the one that I've played the least. Nothing really makes me go back to it, but it's still a good game. I like a lot of the elements in it. I guess it just doesn't leave as big an impact on me as a lot of the other Kingdom Hearts games did. Like emotionally, story-wise, I don't have as much connection with the things that happen in this game that I did with some other games. The HD version, I think, is better because I think on the smaller 3DS screen, doing all that flow motion stuff, really, with the smaller view, just wasn't as good. I think blowing up the screen to a bigger size is a better way to do that. So yeah, I think it's a good game, just not as much of an impact on me as some other games. Moving on to B tier, and I got a lot of stuff to put in B tier, so this is going to be exciting. First game going in B tier is BBS. Big bullshit. No, I'm just playing. Birth by Sleep is a game that I was relatively late to. I did not get a PSP to play this game. I was kind of out of Kingdom Hearts during the release of this game, and so it just kind of passed me by. I just didn't really think about it. Then 2.5 came out, and I played it, and I think it's a great game. I think it's a really great game. Has some flaws, but I think overall it's a great experience. They did another little change with the Kingdom Hearts gameplay style in this game with the command deck system, and I personally think it's cool. This is what the card system should have been. This is exactly what I would have wanted it to be in Enchanted Memories for them to fix it. Tie it to items and special attacks only, and automatically recharge your stuff. That's what the command deck does, and I think it's a much better game because of it. And to make it that much more special, the special attacks that they have in this game are very, very cool. There's good customization in this. There's a lot of cool things that you can do with your command deck if you get it
just right, and it's actually fun to organize to see what the other kind of things can do. And they also introduced the shot lock system, and that adds another cool element of the gameplay right there, where you can just gather up enough focus, shoot your shit. Really cool animations, really cool style going on with it. I think the gameplay in this game is a lot of fun. It's smaller because it was on the PSP, but translation to the HD versions is not that bad. I think it's a good transition. Story in this game, it's not one that I think is like S tier, but there's still a lot of great stuff in there. There's a lot of great dramatic elements of it. It expands the lore. It takes you back to see the origin of a lot of stuff that you've seen in the series so far. It explains a lot of things, answers a lot of questions, raises a lot more questions, yes, opens up the possibility of a lot of cool things down the line. Pretty much the main introduction to the major plot of the Kingdom Hearts series, with the introduction of Xehanort and his obsession with the Keyblade War. Also, this story is so fucking tragic, too. You know, just the way it ends, it's just like, it's an Empire Strikes Back fucking ending. No one's in a good place. No one ends up in a place they want to be. It's even worse than Empire Strikes Back because there's so much more time and story that has to be told before any of that stuff can be fixed. The worlds in this game, I think it's really cool that they did a lot of classic Disney fare for this, because we're going back in time in this. So they went with a lot of older Disney movies, and I think that's a really neat idea that they did there. It is in B tier, so there are some things that are holding it back for me just a little bit. One, splitting the story into 3 separate parts can be a little confusing, especially if you're not playing it in the right order. You choose the wrong campaign to play first, and, you know, experience these stories out of order. It can make it very confusing for you. You can just look up a guide nowadays, I guess, so it's not really much of a problem. I don't like Terry's character that much. I think he's a very, you know, bland and boring character, especially the voice acting doesn't really sell that a lot. And it sucks because his story is probably the best out of all of them. His story is basically Revenge of the Sith, and he's Anakin Skywalker. Ventus can be annoying sometimes. I know the whole thing is that he's a very innocent, childlike character, but, you know, Jesse McCartney's voice acting, he's a little bit older at that point and not as young, and I don't think it sells it as much. The command board, that board game, mini game they have in there, I don't really use it that much. It's just there when I need some more commands to get me through the game, and then I'll just move on. Don't really think about it that much. Maybe it's just because I didn't grow up with this game and I didn't have as much of a connection to it that really made it not over the top for me. If this game's in B tier, it's like an 8 out of 10, and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, I'd rate it an 8 out of 10. It's a great game, just with a few flaws that hold it back just a little bit. Next in B tier. See, I'm singing because it's a music game. Melody Memory. I love this game. It's great. It's a rhythm game. It's not a mainline game, so putting it this high may seem a little weird, but I just think it's a very fucking fun rhythm game. I mean, I was skeptical like everyone else when this first got announced. I was like, yeah, it's a rhythm game, you know, with important story elements, I'm sure, at the end. But, you know, I gave it a shot. I think this game is very fun, and it's very addicting, too. It is a little bit basic. There's only 3 controls. Not much to it. But simplicity doesn't mean bad. I think it's fun. It's not like Guitar Hero or anything like that. Press the button once if one enemy comes up, 2 if there's 2, 3 if there's 3. Jump hit. That's pretty much it to the gameplay there, at least for the walking sections. The boss sections and the dive sections have a little bit of different gameplay, but still kind of the same idea. I'm a person who doesn't think simple is bad. You know, some people are just like, if my game doesn't have 50 million customization options and it doesn't literally bust my balls in front of me, then it's not worth buying. God, I'm destroying my voice in this video. I've been talking way too much. But I think it's fun. I have a lot of fun playing this game. Whenever I play this game, I play it for longer than I expect to. You know, I want to play Melody of Memory. You know, I want to get more towards that platinum. So I sit down and play it, and like 3 hours later, I'm still playing it. Especially when you learn to play all the songs on Proud Mode. Learning to play the game on Proud Mode and really get into the game itself, that is something that's so rewarding. I love how there's different teams on this, and you can level up each team individually, and so, you know, it gives you a big incentive to keep on replaying the game. There's a lot of replayability factor in this. The music is just great. They stuffed this game full of all of the classics, except for the Tarzan stuff, because they legally couldn't put that in there, but everything else is pretty well represented. Kingdom Hearts music is just great in of itself, so, you know, that's an A+ right there for this game. It gives you a whole new connection to these songs. It really lets you appreciate the songwriting and the structure of Yoko Shimomura. She's insane. Get the piano off of her, she's gonna burn down the goddamn building. But my problems with this game kind of boil down to, one, it's a rhythm game, so it's not a full-line, mainline Kingdom Hearts game. It's not on the level of the other stuff. The story stuff's kind of shoved in at the end a little bit. It's kind of weird. It is something, again, that draws you in and lets you play all for a long time, but it can get a little bit drawn out if you play for long play sessions. There's not a big story or emotional element that really connects me to it, but I still have fun playing this game whenever I have the chance to play it. Some people like to forget about it. I like to think it's a very fun experience. It's on Switch, too, so, you know, it's something you can pick up and play wherever you want to play. Melody of Memory. B tier. Bitch. Next up in B tier. 358 over this. 358 days over 2. That's how you say it. So this is going to be an interesting one to discuss because this game is going to be it's going to have the complete opposite reasons why I love it from the next game I'm about to talk about. They're like yin and yang almost. But let's talk about this one first. I guess it boils down to story is great, gameplay, good. It's good. Roxas is my favorite character of like all media, period. And yes, I go to therapy. And to have a whole game starring him is a great thing. You get to learn more about him, you get to explore his background and explore his whole situation before he led into Kingdom Hearts 2. Don't play this game before 2. By the way, please play it in the order it was released, like a normal person would do. Roxas is such an abused character. He really is. You know, he's a person who's brought into this world, not really feeling a sense of belonging, technically even shouldn't really even exist. He's hopeful but naive, and that's how the organization manipulates him throughout the story. It is such a tragic thing to see. There's only one person who was really by his side the whole time. Axel's really the only person that's by his side other than Xion, and, you know, to see their connection, to see their friendship, to see how they connect based on different factors, and Lee's backstory and stuff is just, oh man. Xion is also a great character too because he's even more tragic than Roxas because she shouldn't be existing at all. She was an experiment gone wrong. It's such a tragic story for all of the characters involved, and it shows how, you know, easily manipulated all of these people are. Having a better connection with Roxas and learning about Xion, learning about Lee is just, oh man. Grand tier story here, grand tier. In the gameplay, it's good. I think they did the best job they could adapting it to the DS. You know, there's only a D-pad on there, so you can only move in 4 directions. It can be a little bit hard sometimes because of the difficult controls and stuff. That really does hurt the gameplay in that aspect. The controls can be a little bit awkward sometimes. I have a 3DS, so my recent playthrough was on the circle pad, so maybe that's cheating. I don't know. The thing that really drags it down, though, is the fucking slot system. I hate that. That's one of the worst leveling up systems that I know for a game. You have to have slots in this game in order to level up. And some take up like 5 fucking slots, and some have like these empty slots that have to take up space too, and you can only put specific stuff in that slot to build up that specific thing, and you can't level up this thing because you didn't unlock enough slots yet, and you have to just rearrange everything. It's just Also, it being separated into days can make it a little bit monotonous sometimes and make the story a little bit drawn out. Still in B tier because I love that story, and I think the gameplay is good. It's good. It's good. I've been smoking for 50 years. I think I put it in like D tier before. Oh, I thought the gameplay was much worse, but on the recent playthrough, I think it's a lot better than I thought it was back then. Another big change from that list. How fun. There's another game in B tier. This is the last one, I promise. This is the second one that I think some people might think is controversial. So here we go. Recoded is actually a pretty good game, in my opinion. Don't look at me like that. Yeah, I know this is like the black sheep in the series a little bit because of the people seeing it as like a worthless entry, and you don't need to play it in order to understand Kingdom Hearts as a whole. And that's true. Besides the data worlds, that's going to be very important going on. But anyways, as I was saying with the days thing, I love these two games for like the complete opposite reasons. The story in this game, it's there if you want to listen to it, but you don't really need to. No, I guess that's just a symptom of it being ported over from a mobile game, which, you know, can't really stuff too much stuff in the mobile game at that time, at least. I think the story is like a straight port of the story from Coded. You don't have to memorize it. You don't have to learn everything about it. It's just, it just comes and goes, basically. And, you know, if you want to skip the game for that reason, go ahead. That's the reason I skipped the game for the longest time. I only played this game this year. I was avoiding it for a long time because I knew the whole stigma around it being a useless entry. I watched the movie in 2.5, and I was just like, okay, I got what I need to know from this. Gameplay-wise, it couldn't be anything special, right? Well, I was wrong. I think this game's really, really fun. I really like how they do a lot of different kind of gameplay elements in this game. There's a lot of cool things to explore. There's a lot of cool things to do. You know, you're playing standard Kingdom Hearts fare in the first part, and then you're in the side-scrolling section, and then you're also in the shooter section as well, and then you're in the stealth minigame in Wonderland. You know, there's a lot of cool things that they do in this. The side-scrolling sections can be a little bit difficult sometimes, but it's something where you always want to retry and always want to replay it. The cyberspace levels, too, are really cool as well. And they have their whole little system in there with leveling up. The level up system in this game is much better than it was in Days. You don't have to sacrifice anything. You can just keep on going and make straight progression through stuff. Those sacrifices have to be made for the most part. I think it's really creative how they did that with the whole computer chips. Maybe it's just recency bias,
making me put this here. I don't know. Call me crazy, call me whatever you want, but I think this game was really fun. And if you haven't played this game in a while, I recommend you pick it up again, see if you like it, see if you don't, maybe see if there's something you're missing. Maybe you could be me, Enchanted Memories, and you don't find exactly what you're looking for, and I get that. Like I said, my opinion changes a lot, so this maybe could go in C tier later. In my opinion right now, it's going in B tier. Suck it.
But Matt, didn't you put it in C tier in your video about it? Here's the thing. I didn't really put much thought into that specific tier list. I just put it together just to have something for the video. Also, this might seem like a crime that I put this over Dream Drop Distance of all things, but as of just right now, that's how I'm feeling. Again, it might change in the future, but as of right now, it's B tier for me. I can't help that. I'm a fucking tool. I'm sorry.
All right. Now we're in A tier. Now we're at the big Chungo Wungos. There's only 3 of them left, and you can tell which ones I left for last. Let's go with the one that my opinion has changed the most on, I would say. Bam. I used to put this game in C tier. That's probably the most controversial opinion from my original tier list video. And my reasoning was like, yeah, it's a good game, but it's really dated. So, bad. And I mean, I agree with that still to a certain extent. But now I think this game is a fucking awesome game. I love this game so much. It finally clicked for me recently. A huge part of why I guess I felt that way was because I played 2 before this game. Playing 2 before 1, that's always the eternal sin. You know, I was 6. So how the fuck would I know? So maybe that's probably why I looked at it in a different lens than I did the other Kingdom Hearts games. And, you know, even on subsequent playthroughs throughout the years, I was like, yeah, I'm not too fond of this game. But I replayed it again recently. It finally clicked for me. I found out what I was missing. And I think the thing that I was missing was me just appreciating this game for what it is. They were able to pull off this concept surprisingly well. On paper, this concept is strange. Disney, in a Final Fantasy game? Sound the alarms! I don't know exactly how people reacted at the time, but I'm sure it was a weird sell at first. But they were able to pull it off surprisingly well. I guess the first thing I want to talk about with this game is the aesthetic. I love the fucking aesthetic of this game. Honestly, it might have the best aesthetic in all of the Kingdom Hearts series. I think they nailed it the first time around. The way they did it in this game, it is exactly like a Disney movie, especially around that time. Those cel-shaded graphics have aged it so well. I mean, in certain areas it's a little bit but in most areas it's aged like fine wine. It seriously looks like you're playing a Disney movie. The original worlds, especially, where they were able to combine those Final Fantasy and Disney elements, there's just so much creativity in them. The worlds themselves, how they want to explore all of these different movies during this game, and I think exploring them as different worlds and experiencing the stories themselves as own separate things was a great idea. I think it was a great thing for them to do that. It is the most innocent and least complex story in the Kingdom Hearts series, of course it being the first one and have it not being developed at that time. Especially with the stuff we have now, I can take a little bit simplicity. It's basically a Disney movie plot. You know, you get separated from your friends, eat good versus evil, but having those high fantasy elements to it to make it a grand story. Designs for the characters in this are great too. They implemented that Disney style so well throughout all of the worlds and all the character designs. Gameplay, yeah, it's dated in certain areas, but I still think it's fun. The only places it's really dated is the camera and the platforming. It's the first game they were making in this kind of style. There's gonna be some growing pains with it. There's gonna be some parts where it wasn't gonna age all that well. There's gonna be some jank in it, but you know, it's understandable jank, the best kind of jank. And it doesn't get in the way of the experience too much for me anymore. I think they did some improvements for like the Final Mix versions and the HD remixes as well. Kingdom Hearts is a great introduction RPG, not making it turn-based and having it just to be a straight-up action RPG really benefited this game, and I think it really helped, you know, appeal it to children and younger people specifically. It's a standard RPG. You got your level up system, you got your abilities, you got your potions and magic and stuff like that. Go out in the field, have some fun. Super fun gameplay, super fun mechanics. Just it has aged in certain areas, yes, but that does not get in the way of the experience for me at all anymore. The only places that I don't really like are like the Gummy Sip sections. I think that was not done well in that game. The villain is introduced a little bit too late in this game. I wish they introduced Ansem a lot earlier in the game so we could have more time to get him and not just read his notes, or get him to know him as an actual character. I saw what I was missing, and it's clicked for me now, and now it's an A tier. Fix that problem. All right, we're only down to 2 more games, and there's 1 more game left in A tier. Don't look at me like that. I'm basic and I'm proud. Kingdom Hearts 3, A tier. Love this game. You are crucified in some areas of the internet if you say that, but I don't care. I think this game is good. I think it's the culmination of the entire series at that point coming to a head, and them combining all the great elements that made the previous games work, put them all in one package,
balance them out, and make it a fun experience. I think you've been noticing that I mentioned the word fun a lot in this video, and that is one of my main factors as to why I play games. I think some people don't like this game because it's now Kingdom Hearts 2 for one. They had astronomical expectations going into this game after years of build up and hype, and that's not directly their fault. Square Enix drawing out the way for that game was a huge part of that, but because of that, they did not keep their expectations in check, and they kind of went in expecting this game to literally suck their dick. I realized that before I went into it. I pumped the brakes. I went in this with a clear mind, and I came out liking it. The major complaint I see is that it's like too easy. I'm starting to agree with that a little bit, especially with the attraction flow. I think that's one thing that kind of didn't need to be there. I do think everything else is fun. And like I said 100 times, that standard Kingdom Hearts gameplay, it's just a thing in my brain for me, and it's here, and it's in full force. They've just added a whole bunch of energy to it, a whole bunch of stuff to it. These environments are a lot more bigger this time around, so, there had to be a lot more energy and stuff packed into this to not make it feel like you're just a small toy in this little toy box. Some people don't like that, but I think it adds a lot to the gameplay, and it makes the bigger environments balance out. They don't have a lot of crazy cool spells in here, but the spells they do make a visual spectacle out of it, and it's really nice to see, and it's really fun to use. The world selection in this game is really great too. It's up there with like Dream Drop Distance. They went with a lot of the newer CGI movies. With it being an Unreal Engine 4, they can finally do that kind of stuff now. This game looks fucking gorgeous, man. I'm still amazed that this runs in Unreal Engine 4. They match the aesthetic of modern Disney pretty well. CG Disney is kind of what I grew up on low-key, so I'll take it. It's great. In that Pirates world, dude, a lot of the complaints that this game does have, I do sort of agree with. The ending, at least initially, was not satisfying. I think there was a lot of stuff to be desired from that ending right there. Remind fixed all that stuff, but sucks that they had to, split it up into two separate things. And, having it be the ending of the whole Kingdom Hearts story, I think anything would have been disappointing, honestly. I don't know if it's the ending that the entire Kingdom Hearts series at that point deserved. Worlds don't really serve much of a purpose in this game. They're just kind of there to get Sora's strength up, so they do technically serve a purpose, but it's not really anything that's worth fighting for in there. It's just to get to the end game. And again, attraction flow, you can take that out, and that'd be fine. And I just don't use it in the game. I just kind of ignore it. But that doesn't really get in the way of me feeling like this is an amazing game. I didn't think it was a 10 out of 10 masterpiece or anything like that. But I really love this game. I think they were going for more of just a go wild experience. Tell me why it's not like Kingdom Hearts 2 all day, but that's just how I feel. I have a shirt for it and everything. See? All right, S tier. Do I even have to say? I'm just gonna put it there. Yeah, we're just gonna get that out of the way. Duh. Everyone thought I was basic the whole time for wearing this Kingdom Hearts 3 sweatshirt, but you were fooled. I was wearing a Kingdom Hearts 2 shirt this whole time. You thought I was basic, but turns out I was a basic bitch. Do I even have to say anything? Do I even have to say anything? It's Kingdom Hearts 2. One of the best games ever made. My favorite game of all time. Been that way ever since I got it, and it's probably going to stay that way for quite a long time to come. I'll say my kind of standard line when it comes to this. Kingdom Hearts 2 is the perfect sequel. This and Toy Story 2 are like the perfect sequels, in my opinion. They do everything that the first installment did right and just cranked it up to 11. Everything that was done right in Kingdom Hearts 1 was done 10 times better in Kingdom Hearts 2. The gameplay, so much more faster paced, so much more stuff going on. There's so much more room to breathe. You're not really grounded and heavy like you were in Kingdom Hearts 1. There's so much more tightness and rhythm to what you do in this game, and it rewards you heavily for the time that you invest in it. The story, the stakes are higher, the characters are better, more characters that are introduced, the world is expanded so much, and it shows you how big this universe actually is. The world, so much more to do, so much more to explore. Actually, the worlds aren't necessarily my favorite. I guess that's one complaint I have. There's better world selection, I guess, in other games. The worlds in this game are great, don't get me wrong, but they can be a little bit of like hallways sometimes. The music. Fuck the music. Literally. I wish, I'm gonna stop right there. At least once a day, a Kingdom Hearts 2 song gets in my head. Either the dun 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 or the or the dun dun or the dun 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 dun. If I'm feeling really emotional,
Dun, 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 dun. All Kingdom Hearts music is great, don't get me wrong, but Kingdom Hearts 2 music, my sanctuary, my sanctuary. The visuals, while I like Kingdom Hearts 1's aesthetic better, are so much more cooler. There's so much more just edginess to it. I love the edginess of this game. The characters, the pacing, it's just all 10 times better. Perfect sequel, in my opinion. Not much else to say. Kingdom Hearts 2 is what showed me what games could be. This Disney game with Mickey Mouse on the cover that I bought because I thought Mickey Mouse was cool made me cry. How the fuck does that happen? I would not be here making this video if it wasn't for it, so thank you so much, Kingdom Hearts 2. You made me a nerd. That's my Kingdom Hearts tier list. I've been recording for almost 2 hours. Let me know your tier list or ranking of Kingdom Hearts games down in the comments below. Love to hear what you have to say about it. This has been Matt, and I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that's going to be. So yeah, bye! These are all the Kingdom Hearts Special Edition consoles. One of the coolest things a company can do for their game release is release a Special Edition console alongside it, decorating the console with all the cool iconography from the game to celebrate the release of it. There's some really cool ones out there, like the Yakuza PS3, the Hey You Pikachu N64, the Majora's Mask 3DS. There's some clunkers out there, like the Marlboro Atari Lynx. That's the best game right there. Lung cancer. And a lot of Kingdom Hearts games have had special edition consoles released alongside them as well. And pretty much all of them, in my opinion, are pretty freaking cool. So I thought I'd make a video compiling them all together, showing them off to you guys. I'll do an overview of the console itself, give you a little history about it, how many were made, and how much they sell for nowadays. I unfortunately don't own any of these but I'll try my best to show them off. Huge shout out to consolevariations.com. It's where I got most of the information about these consoles from. So if you want to go check out some other cool special edition consoles, go over there, do some research. Really cool. So yeah, let's get it. Boy. The first special edition for Kingdom Hearts is the Chain of Memories GBA SP. It's a standard silver GBA SP, except on the top shell of it, it says It has a very unique, edgy design for the Kingdom Hearts logo on there that I don't think has been used anywhere else since. It's as if Kingdom Hearts was a black metal band. This would be the logo of that band. Probably fronted by Remake, Dance Water Dance being their most well-known single, you know the words. Dance Water Dance! But it isn't just on the top shelf. If you open up the console, it is actually black inside, and on the bottom of the console, you can see Art of Sora mirrored on either side. It was a Japan and Europe exclusive, so nothing over here in the West for us, unfortunately. There was around 50 to 100,000 of these consoles made, so not too rare, but it's still very valuable, going for around $150 loose to $400 in box. I even saw a sealed one going for $900. This is the one that I actually want the most because I'm in love with this design so much. I think it's super freaking awesome. It's so simultaneously cool and simultaneously funny how close it is to black metal shit. Next up, Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. That's how you say it. There's technically two for this one. First up is the actual DSi itself. It comes in a black color and it comes with the famous checkerboard Kingdom Hearts pattern that a lot of us have seen at this point with the various logos. This was actually my computer background for quite a long time, this pattern here, but this was Japan only. That's going to be a theme throughout this video. You're going to see Japan gets all the cool shit. That's what you're gonna learn from this video. There was also around 50 to 100,000 of these made, and a loose one goes for around $150, and a complete in-box one goes for around $300 to $350. But the second one isn't a console itself, but rather a shell or case for it. It features the Sea Salt Trio, Roxas, Axel, and Xion, with another little checkerboard pattern there and the logo for the game itself. I think this is slightly cooler than the actual special edition console itself, though. If they were able to put that pattern on a actual console, dude. And as far as I can tell, this is also Japan exclusive. How fun. Next up, for the release of Birth by Sleep, there was a special PSP 3000 model. This one kind of features a similar design to the Days one, except for the checkerboard pattern tilted to make it look like a diamond shape instead of a square. Has a lot of the same icons on it, like the mouse, ears, and the heart, and the crown, but we also get the Unversed logo and Master's Mark symbol on it. Most of the stuff is on the back, with there nothing being on the display itself. I don't think there was ever anything put on that. But on the front, under the face buttons, there is some icons on there too, with it saying Kingdom Hearts on it. I'd really like that they added that touch there. There was only 5 to 10,000 of these consoles made, so this is pretty rare. Like the others, it's around $150 loose to around $250 to $300 in box. I like this one too. PSP Special Editions had a hard time fitting stuff on there, so it was nice that they got some stuff on there, and even a little bit on the front too. That was cool. But guess what? Also, Japan exclusive. But don't worry, we did kind of get this over here because there was a bundle that you could put this art on with stickers. We got stickers, guys. Next up, we have the Dream Drop Distance
3DS, or the DDD. Continuing the pattern-like designs of the previous consoles, we have a lot of the same logos on here, except the 3-meter logo is on here as well. But one of the crowns on the logo is pink, matching the pink aesthetic that they went for this game, with the Kingdom Hearts copyright Disney below it. On top of the console, you also got special Dream-meter AR cards that you could use in that little program that they had. I always lost my cards, so I would have lost that shit in a heartbeat, but that's still really cool. Again, 50 to 100,000 of these made, and as always, exclusive to Japan. About 150 to 200 loose, and about 250 to 350 in box. And just like the Days Edition, there was also a special shell that was released for the 3DS itself. It came with the Mark of Mastery Edition if you pre-ordered that. This decal is to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts, which was happening in that year 2012, and it features Riku and Sora in a heart with some logo sparks flying behind it. And shocker, this one came out in America too. Yeah, the Mark of Mastery Edition came out in America as well, so Americans can finally get something cool for special edition stuff. That's rad. Yeah, for the 3DS itself, I like that they added that little pink element in there to specifically reference this game. I like that they went with a pink aesthetic for this game overall, though. I think it's really cool. But I do like that decal more, and it's really cool that it came out in the US. I don't have it, obviously. But I don't have my old 3DS anymore. I sold it, so I unfortunately cannot use this. Sucks. Next up is the Kingdom Hearts 15th Anniversary PS4 Slim faceplates. This one isn't technically a console, it is just a faceplate for a console, but it did come with a bundle and it is official, so I'll count it. It was, of course, to celebrate the 15th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts that was happening in 2017, but it also released the same month as Kingdom Hearts 2.8, so they kind of coincided. There's two ways you could get this cover. One was with a console bundle that came with a PS4 and a theme for it. Unlike previous bundles, though, this did not come with a game because this was not specifically for 2.8. Or it could be purchased individually for 3,000 yen, which was around $25 back then. By the way, Japan, are you okay? As you can see here, it's reminiscent of that Dream Drop Distance one. I think it has the exact same pattern on it, but there's some unique elements to it, like some of the elements are lighter than the others. There's a lot of things going on in the bottom there with like a whole collection of the icons. It is very shiny and reflective, so that can lead to fingerprints, but if you just clean it up often, I don't think it will be that bad. This was also my background of my desktop for a few years as well. And do I even have to say it at this point? There was around 10,000 to 50,000 of these covers made, and I couldn't really find an accurate price on it, but the cover itself from the sales that I've seen go for around like $60. It's not a full console, so it's not as valuable as some of the others, but I still think it's really cool. I made it my desktop background, obviously, but I have a regular PS4, not a Slim, so I didn't import it or anything like that. Thinking of buying it just by itself, though. But there are two more left to go, so let's get to that. First is the Kingdom Hearts 3 PS4 Pro. This was the first one that got released worldwide simultaneously. They finally fixed that problem. Square learned to be fair, if you know what I mean. This one has the coolest design of them all. There's so much stuff going on here. You know, there's the standard logos, but there's also keyblades. It looks like it's vines almost. Very interconnected and very intricate, this design here. I love it. Even in the bottom left-hand corner with the Kingdom Hearts logo, there's a lot of stuff going on with that too. They really went into full gear with design on this one. I like it so much that it is my current desktop background, if you were curious. It also came with a special DualShock 4 controller, which had some fancy designs on the touchpad and had the heart and the crown on the up and down buttons. And it's just pure black instead of the kind of black and gray that the standard DualShock 4 has. Again, simultaneously released worldwide to everybody, but at least here in the US, it was a GameStop exclusive. Only around 10 to 50,000 were made of these. If it's been out of its box in use, it can go for around $250 to $300, but if it's still in its box, it can go for around $700 to even $800. And I remember wanting this one so freaking bad because it was the one that was first released outside of Japan, but since I did not have enough funds at the time and I already had a PS4, it didn't end up happening. And lastly, for this video, we have the Kingdom Hearts 3 PS4 Slim. This is a similar situation with the 15th anniversary one. This is just a faceplate, but it did only come with a bundle this time. It didn't come separately. This one features yet another checkerboard-like design, but the icons are spaced out a little bit differently this time. 10 to 50,000 made of these, and there's surprisingly not a lot of sales going on for this one, but the ones that I've seen are just generally going for around $400 to $450. Cool design and all, but the thing that I think is most cool is the box it came in. Just look at the box. It comes with that design on the background there with Sora with his crown on his throne. Dude, I just want that box. Seriously, all I want is that box right there. Someone is willing to just send me that box so I can just have that in my collection. That would be so cool, dude. But there's also the fact that it is also Japan exclusive. They got one more little thing in there. So there you have it, all of the Kingdom Hearts Special Edition consoles that have been released so far. Who knows what they might do for Kingdom Hearts 4? We don't know the whole design terminology yet for Kingdom Hearts 4, so maybe we'll get to see something that we haven't seen yet if they do a Special Edition console for a PS5 Slim or the PS5 Pro, if that's something that's real. Please don't make it Japan exclusive, please. I want cool things, okay? If you let me give you money, I will do it. Tell me down in the comments below what you guys think about these consoles. Which one is your favorite? Do you own any of these personally? Do you have like a collection of them or something like that? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Also, make sure to subscribe, like this video, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord server, turn on notifications. Really awesome if you did. This has been Matt, and I will see you guys in the... This is the most obscure piece of Kingdom Hearts media that I've ever seen. Now, that may seem a little bit hyperbolic. Yes, I know some people definitely know about this, but I've just not seen that many people talk about it that much, at least nowadays. In the vast sea of Kingdom Hearts videos here on YouTube, there's not one video talking about this at all that I've seen. People just don't really bring it up anymore. I think it's something that's very, very cool. They put a lot of effort into this one little thing, more than they needed to, and I think it's just really, really endearing. And I just want to show up with you guys in case you haven't heard of it yet. So let me introduce to you to Kingdom Hearts, the Scepter, and the Kingdom. I've either said something you've never heard of or unlocked a very core memory for a very select few group of people. What exactly is the Scepter and the Kingdom? There's no Kingdom Hearts in the first part, we just scratch that. So the Scepter and the Kingdom is a Kingdom Hearts comic book that was released back with the original Kingdom Hearts back in 2002, making it probably the first Kingdom Hearts comic, manga, anything like that, at least to my knowledge. It is Italian in origin, and it was made exclusively for this thing called the Kingdom Hearts Official Game Magazine. Not to be confused with the strategy guide or some other kind of promotional material like that. This is its own separate thing. Apparently, it was sold in several kiosks around Italy and other parts of Europe during that time to get some details about the game to hype it up for people. From my research, it seems the person behind this comic is a man by the name of Fabio Saloni. He's an Italian artist who mainly does stuff for Disney over there. And this guy is pretty freaking legit. Like, his art is really, really good, especially his Disney stuff. If you look it up, he does a lot of more detailed, kind of cooler looking drawings of Disney characters. Look up some of his stuff. It's really, really nice. It was then localized into Spanish and then distributed by Game, which is pretty much the GameStop or EB Games over there in Europe, which included the magazine as a pre-order bonus for people who pre-ordered the original Kingdom Hearts, where it went under the name, excuse me, El Citro y El Reno. I said that so wrong. But they eventually translated the magazine into English for Australian people. It is harder to find that version, though. The more readily available version does seem to be the Spanish version, unfortunately. But you can find the full English version of it if you do a little bit of digging like I did. But what exactly is the Scepter and the Kingdom, you may be asking? Well, I am glad to tell you because it's very interesting. So believe it or not, this is actually kind of like an alternate universe version of Kingdom Hearts in a sense. Like, it doesn't follow a lot of the same conventions. It doesn't involve any main storyline or a snippet from the main game. No, it's its own kind of little universe kind of thing. It's only 12 pages long, but there's some very interesting kind of cool stuff packed in those 12 pages. Just even looking at the first page of the comic right here, you can tell that it has a lot of stuff ingrained with Kingdom Hearts, but it's kind of going for its own little thing. It's a lot darker. There's a lot of shadows in it. There's a lot of detailed drawings in it. They put a lot of effort into this small little promo comic that only a few people would see. And why do I say like alternate universe, that kind of stuff? Well, let's kind of go into a story synopsis and see what I'm talking about. This is not going to be a full reenactment. I would like to do one day. I think that'd be really cool. So if that's something you're interested in, hit me up. It starts off with this creature that is not exactly a heartless, per se. It doesn't describe it as a heartless, it just calls it an evil creature, stealing this thing called the Fairy Scepter inside of Disney Castle. Goofy tries to defeat the monster, but he's defeated, and the thief says that with the power of the scepter, he'll take the sword off the stone. Of course, referencing the Disney movie, The Sword and the Stone. This makes this the only appearance of that movie in the entire Kingdom Hearts series, outside of Merlin, you know, just existing in the games. As Donald rushes in to see what's going on, Minnie says that the scepter is a symbol of the absolute power of fantasy, meaning that if the thief learns to use it, he will have the power to do absolutely anything he wants. Apparently, Sora and Riku are just chilling in Disney Castle because they just walk in saying that they're going to chase after him and take back the scepter. If you remember the Arthur legend, whoever pulls the sword Excalibur from the stone becomes king. So they determine that the thief is trying to become king of ancient Britain. Okay, Sora and Riku, knowing about ancient Britain. Chill. So Donald uses his magical powers to send Sora and Riku to the world of the Sword and the Stone. Not using the gummy ship and not calling it by its own world name like Camelot or anything like that. Nope, just the world of the Sword and the Stone. That's what they call it. I guess they go by Disney movies in this universe. Sora and Riku don't have the best of entrances, landing on someone's tent in the middle of the street. And when they unfurl the tent, it turns out it's Frollo from the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Donald sent them to the wrong world. This also makes this the first appearance of, how do you say it again?
La Cité des Cloches.
There you go. In the Kingdom Hearts series. Donald, seeing all of this stuff in his magic ball, asks Goofy to go get some magical herbs to send Sora and Riku back. Frollo, confusing Riku and Sora for wizards, starts attacking the pair as they go ahead and hide, while Esmeralda looks down at the streets, dismayed at what's going on. After a brief fight with the guards, Esmeralda offers Sora and Riku a place to hide. Meanwhile, Goofy returns from his trip looking for the herbs, but he only returns with regular herbs and vegetables, not the magical herbs, leaving Sora and Riku still stranded. Esmeralda then introduces herself to Riku and Sora, with Sora asking if she's the princess of this kingdom. Esmeralda just laughs it off. Sora and Riku meet Quasimodo on top of the tower, describing how you can see the entire city from there, and maybe if they look hard enough, they can find the door that will get them out of there. Suddenly, the gargoyles intervene and show them the way to the actual door that will lead them out of there. Sora unlocks the door with his Keyblade, and they finally enter the world of the Sword and the Stone. They encounter the thief with the scepter in hand. They engage in battle, but Archimedes the Owl comes swooping in to take the scepter from his own hands, after he does a little slapstick slipping on a bucket of water, which just so happens to be spilt by Wart, the main character of the Sword and Stone. Sora and Riku thank him for his help and then ask Donald if they can finally be brought back. However, Donald forgets the formula and is not able to bring them back. Riku angrily yells at Donald to bring them back, and Archimedes jokes that Donald is not such a great wizard, but they know a much better one, that being Merlin. Donald tries one more time, but as he looks behind them, Sora and Riku are back with the scepter in hand, bringing back balance to the world of fantasy, I guess. Thus, ending the comic. And there you go. The Scepter in the Kingdom, at least a summary of it. Again, I would like to do a full reenactment. If that's something you want to help me out with, like a voice actor or something like that, hit me up. It's very strange looking at this, with it being 20 years removed and knowing what Kingdom Hearts really is now, because this does not follow a lot of the same conventions as Kingdom Hearts. Obviously, there was no gummy ship in there. Donald just magically sent them to a place, and Donald and Goofy didn't even follow them with them. It was just Riku and Sora. It features a world that wasn't going to be featured in the series until 10 years later, and one that still hasn't made it in yet, except for Merlin, of course, because Merlin's cool. And there's probably a couple reasons why there's a lot of differences in here. One, they probably didn't give them that many details on what to do. They maybe just gave them some character models and some basic outlines of what they wanted, saying, hey, go wild. And probably they did this earlier on in the development of the game, because, you know, these things don't just happen overnight. Because you can see some elements of the beta for Kingdom Hearts in this, like the logo is very reminiscent of the beta Kingdom Hearts logo. They're in Disney Castle in this, which was supposed to be a world in Kingdom Hearts, but it was cut, and some slightly different costumes for Donald and Goofy. They don't show Mickey Mouse in here either, which I think is also part of the agreement that they had with Disney at the time, because apparently Mickey Mouse was supposed to have his own special little game, and they didn't want that competing with another game, so they only had Mickey show up as like a silhouette in the main game and nowhere else besides that. So I think that's part of what's going on there too. You know, outside of that, not really much to it. Again, just 12 pages, only there to promote the thing, not canon to the actual Kingdom Hearts story in any way, shape, or form. It's its own little separate thing. But for some reason, I have a lot of fondness for it. I don't know why. Like, if you look at the drawings, you can see that they put a lot of effort into this with like the shadows and the lighting of it. It's very unique and very, very atmospheric looking, and they put way more effort into making and shading this comic than you would for any other like promotional thing. And then they also went to the effort of making original worlds for this comic that weren't featured in the original game and kind of doing its own separate little thing. And I think it's very admirable, and I think it's very cool that they kind of did that. Again, it's kind of like an alternate universe version of Kingdom Hearts that we didn't get. That's why I think it's really cool, and I think it's something that more people should know about, so I'm making this video. But then Kingdom Hearts was released, and since this was only in one magazine that was available in only certain regions of the world, it quickly got forgotten and it became obscure. And then no one really talked about it for quite a long time. The earliest mention that I can find of it on the internet at all is a forum post back in 2011, stating if anyone remembered it and if they had any copies to share. I first became aware of it back in around 2019, back when around Kingdom Hearts 3 was first coming out. I was a lot more focused on Kingdom Hearts around that time, obviously, and this came up as a neat little tidbit of trivia that I came across. But there didn't seem to be any high-quality scans or copies of it online, so I just kind of forgot about it. Fast forward to about a year ago, and I suddenly remember that it existed, and suddenly I was really wanting to find this thing. I started digging around, started looking for this thing. I started doing multiple pages back on Google searches just so I can find anything on this, and I had no luck. I eventually came across a YouTube video with 10 views with a suspicious Google Drive link in the description that contain high-quality scans of the comic in English, because all the copies that I had found up to that point were in Spanish. I did see that someone else uploaded the entire magazine in English itself onto Reddit, so I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to go read that if you want. Don't be like me and risk your privacy online. Speaking of risking your privacy online, this video is sponsored by Absolutely no one. But yeah, at the end of the day, just a promotional comic to celebrate the release of the first game. Not much stuff in it, but again, I find it endearing with the amount of stuff that they were able to include into these 12 little pages, and I think more people should know about it. And so here I am presenting it to you. Have fun. Also, as a side note, I want a copy of this freaking magazine. I have been searching all over the internet for this thing, and I cannot find a single copy for sale at all. All I've found is pictures and some scans. I've been looking into the Scepter and the Kingdom shit for so long that I want an actual copy of it at this point. So if anyone has a copy of this and is willing to hit me up, let me know. So tell me down in the comments below what you guys think of this. Have you ever heard of this before? Did you even have a copy of this growing up? What is your guys' thoughts on this? Did you think it was cool? I would like to hear what you guys' thoughts are. This has been Matt, and I will see you guys in the next video, whatever that's going to be. So yeah,